business of the year. So celebrate this new year with a fuller head of hair and get 250 free hair grafts and $250 off. Schedule your free consultation at 425-449-8185. See what meeting your New Year's resolution could look like with the before and afters at advancedhair.com. 425-449-8185 or advancedhair.com.
Be advised, this is your opportunity to save up to 40 to 80% on a hot tub or swim spa. This weekend only, Friday through Sunday, Linwood Event Center. Be advised, this is your opportunity to save up to 40 to 80% on a hot tub or swim spa. This weekend only, Friday through Sunday, Linwood Event Center. 18-month interest-free financing. Our factories have demanded we sell 1,000 hot tubs and swim spas this weekend. Linwood Event Center. Huge factory incentives, factory rebates, this weekend only. Linwood Event Center. We can remove your old hot tub. Free delivery of your new hot tub. Hot tub starting at $2,999. Linwood Event Center. Free delivery of your new hot tub. Just relax and enjoy. Linwood Event Center. Friday, 2 p.m. to 8 p.m. Saturday, 10 a.m. to 8 p.m. Sunday, 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. Free admission, free parking, free delivery. Linwood Event Center. Call 833-SPA-SALE or visit hottubandswimspasale.com.
Storms can be overwhelming, but you're not alone. We're here 24/7 to secure your home and give you peace of mind. Justin Shirley, CEO of State Roofing and Exteriors here. From your roof to your siding, windows, and deck, we'll handle it with care and get your home back to better, quickly and safely. Call 866-ROOF-ROOF or visit stateroofing.com today. We're here for you when it matters most. State Roofing and Exteriors, held to a higher standard since 1968.
State Roofing, the best roof you'll ever need.
Your favorite Seattle sports show is available anywhere you go through the Seattle Sports app. Brought to you by Fred Hutchinson Cancer Center Proton Therapy. Full shows and interviews, exclusive video and articles from the home of the Seahawks and Mariners.
What's your holiday tradition? Now, if you're like me, it involves gathering around a big meal to celebrate. Well, what if there's no food on the table? Hey, it's G. Scott. This year, help someone less fortunate celebrate the holidays by supporting Nourishing Neighbors. The Nourishing Neighbors program provides grocery cards to the people who are the most impacted by food insecurity. So make a donation next time that you're at Safeway and help make sure everyone is welcome at the table for the holidays. Go to nourishingneighbors.com to learn more.
Emerald Queen Casino, the entertainment capital of the Northwest. The best place to watch all your favorite sports. Featuring wall-to-wall viewing screens, 6 windows, and 30 kiosks. Be there at emeraldqueen.com. Emerald Queen Casino, the entertainment capital of the Northwest.
Let's go!
This is Seattle Sports.
Streaming through the Seattle Sports app.
KIRO AM Seattle. KIRO FM HD2 Tacoma. Home of the Seahawks, Mariners, and everything Seattle sports. Seattle Sports Snapshot.
The 2025 Sugar Bowl was postponed yesterday after a terrorist attack in New Orleans left 15 people dead. The attack occurred shortly after 3 a.m. Eastern time on Bourbon Street when a suspect, later killed by police, drove his truck through a crowd celebrating New Year's Eve. A former Princeton football player is among the victims. Notre Dame and Georgia players who were sheltered in place at their hotels yesterday will face off in the rescheduled bowl game today. That'll be at 1 p.m. Pacific time. We'll air that live right here on Seattle Sports.
Snapshot, brought to you by Miller Lite. When it's game time, it's Miller time. From the Quantum Fiber Studio.
This is Bump and Stacy
on Seattle Sports.
Streaming through the Seattle Sports app and at seattlesports.com.
Now, here are your hosts, Michael Bumpus and Stacy Ross.
Here we go now. Happy Thursday, Bump and I, live from Virginia Mason Athletic Center. We are going to have a shortened huddle today. Jaren Reed and Jaylen Darden are going to join us. We're also going to hear from Steve Rabel. Dave Wyman is going to be on with us for the full hour from noon to 1. So instead of a 2-hour preview for the regular season finale, we're going to have a 1-hour preview. And then we are sending you at 1 p.m. to the rescheduled Sugar Bowl. Notre Dame and Georgia facing off at the Superdome. Again, kickoff is going to be at 1 p.m. We're going to air that game live on Seattle Sports and send you there at the start of the game. Before we get to the upcoming bowl game, let's talk about some of the bowl games we saw over the weekend. I'm going to start with what I felt was the best of the bunch, and that was obviously the one between Texas and Arizona State. That was a phenomenal bowl, the Peach Bowl. Now, some controversial moments in this one, Bump.
Yeah.
What to you stands out before we get to the fun stuff?
Scatterboo. He is one of the best running backs in the country. There's a young man in North Carolina who I think is putting up some numbers in Amarian Hampton, but you got Genty there as well. Scatterboo might be the second or third best running back in the country. Cannot wait to see what team drafts him and how he affects that team. He's the modern running back. You got to be able to run. You got to be able to catch. And apparently throw touchdowns, too, because he did just about everything. That was fun to watch.
Reporter who covers the Suns, so obviously Arizona sports, tweeted, Curtis, you'll like this one, Cam Scatterboo profusely vomits and then reemerges with new life to rally for the conclusion. That's how you represent Arizona State.
Yeah, that's a 101 class there. How to hold your liquor.
He said that he chugged too much water too quickly.
Yeah.
Yeah, I believe it. No, come on, Curtis. It was a great one. Texas had something like a 90% chance to win this game going into the fourth quarter. And then Arizona State finally gets back into it. Now, a number of penalties against Texas, which I'm sure their flags, I'm sure their fans are complaining about. But Texas also got away for a few. Take a listen. Cut 10. Texas not flagged for targeting in the final minute.
Will they get after Levitt? Levitt, big hit. Coming in was Michael Taff meeting Stovall.
They're going to take a look to see if this is targeting now in the back end.
Well, that would be a massive call if it is. Let's bring in Matt Austin, our rules expert. Matt, what do you see here?
Well, we definitely have a defenseless receiver, and just as he's turning after catching the ball, he gets hit in the head by the defender. So I would not be surprised if this is called targeting from the booth.
After review, there's no foul for targeting. Texas has declined the runoff. The clock will start at the snap.
Now, again, Arizona State would have had a chance to win it there if that ended up being a targeting call in the final minutes of regulation, as opposed to trying to go back and forth in what eventually became double overtime. So Texas fans can complain all they want about some of the flags that they got, one of which allowed Arizona State to retry a 2-point conversion. They were successful on that one. That ended up tying the game. They can complain, sure. But if I'm an Arizona State fan, I think I have a greater reason to be angry today.
Yeah, I looked at that, and by the letter of the rule, that probably is targeting. I think that the referees were looking at intent, and the young man did not lower his head at all. He was pretty straight up when he went to make the tackle, but his helmet made contact with the other helmet. So I think that's where the referees came in. They just used their own judgment and judged his intent and said, look, he went in to try to make – this is what Paul Moyer talks about this all the time, right? Because as a runner, this is a different situation, but as a runner, I have the football in my hands. If I'm running and a defender's coming to tackle me, naturally I'm going to crouch down and brace for the hit, and then he has to make a split decision. Okay, I got to crouch down with him, and sometimes get helmet to helmet, and these defensive players get kicked out the game. I think they're looking at that situation and thinking to themselves, well, he was pretty straight up. He didn't lean forward. He didn't tilt his head down. So we're going to let him live in this big moment. But if you are going just off of what the rule is, that probably was targeting.
Texas is kept alive with a 4th and 13 touchdown pass by Quinn Ewers in the first overtime. And then they get the first possession in second overtime, score on that first play, successfully converted 2-point attempt. Arizona State, who also obviously scored in the first overtime, then tries to go for it to tie it up in the second overtime, intercepted in the end, cut number 11.
3rd and 8. Levitt. That ball's intercepted. It is intercepted. Makuba seals it. Hook 'em horns. They're headed home to Texas to play in the Cotton Bowl. Texas advances. Makuba seals it.
Okay, so Texas advances to play Ohio State in the Cotton Bowl. We'll talk about the Rose Bowl in just 1 second. But I think what stuck with me most about this one, Bump, is the fight that Arizona State put up there. Because I know the Paul Finebaums of the world. And Dillingham talked about this. He said there are a lot of people who didn't think we should be here. And there are a lot of people who looked at Boise State, who looked at SMU, who looked at Arizona State, and just thought, particularly with the 2 previous bowl games, and thought, can't compete. They can't compete with the big dogs. They don't belong here. And so I think Arizona State did something unfortunately for Curtis Rodgers, Arizona alum, did something in putting up the fight they did against Texas.
No, that was awesome. That was the game of the tournament so far. Arizona State featuring their player. They made sure Scatterbo was introduced to the entire nation. He touched the ball 38 times and also threw the ball one time for a touchdown. They had a chance to win that ball game in overtime. It was like, 4th and 8 or something like that. And there's a blown coverage, and Texas makes a play. But this is going to do, or I hope it does, so much for Arizona State when it comes to recruiting. There are some players who I've heard of Arizona State, but weren't really interested. So there are some high school kids that were watching this game that are going to check in on Dillingham and what's going on over there and hopefully make some moves. But, this was awesome, man. It was a tough loss for these guys. Great season for them, 11-3. Dillingham gets $1 million bonus for going to the college football playoff. Scatterbo is one of the best running backs in the country. I hope this helps their recruiting because they probably should have won this game.
All right, let's jump to the Rose Bowl, which wasn't nearly as close. By the way, do you think this game should have been delayed? A lot of people were complaining that the Rose Bowl kicked off during its initially scheduled time, while the Peach Bowl obviously went a little bit late. So people were like, if you didn't switch over to ESPN2 and you were transfixed by the Peach Bowl, you missed a quarter of the Rose Bowl.
Yeah, you got to back it up. You got to back it up. We, with, covering ACC and Pac-12 games, or Pac-8, whatever you want to call them, Pac-2, you push games back all the time. Now, I don't know if I've ever been a part of a game that's been pushed back a full hour, but we've pushed it back 30 to 40 minutes.
Yeah, come on now. Ohio State completely dominated this one from the jump, scored early and never let up. Why? I mean, why was Oregon so out of it? I mean, they beat Ohio State earlier this year. Ohio State obviously lost to Michigan. People were upset with head coach Ryan Day. This was a game I thought would be close between the two. I thought Arizona would be completely knocked out, and then this would be the one we'd be talking about the way we did the Peach Bowl.
Well, this is where preparation comes in. I'm going to tell you exactly what I saw in this game in 4-down territory, but it seemed like defensively Ohio State was just ready to go. They were swarming everything. There was nowhere for Gabriel to throw the football. They couldn't run the rock. That's something that Oregon likes to do and are known to do. And then it was the explosive plays. You got drives, 3 plays touchdown, 1 play touchdown, 6 plays touchdown. They overwhelmed them so quickly from the beginning. It was a position Oregon had never been in. And now they're looking at each other trying to figure out, how do we get out of this? It was on the big stage. Ohio State has won 5 Rose Bowls now, right? They're 5-0 in their last 5. They're just made for this. And if anyone was questioning if Day should be the head coach over there, I think he bought himself another year with that win.
Well, and it's just so interesting because they look like the team that's going to win it all. Like, they very much looked like the best, most loaded roster in college football in that game. And you're going to have people complaining that Ryan Day should be fired, that he just can't get it done against Michigan for a 4th consecutive year. And they may have a national title to brag about this season. So I don't know. It's weird to be thinking that your coach could have won a national title and still be on a warm seat entering the offseason.
This is the thing. College has to resemble the NFL now. Like, we understand that it's changing in college, but it should resemble the NFL the way we look at these coaches. Get into the playoffs and make a run. If Mike McDonald just got into the playoffs, people might feel different about this ball team, right? If a coach who was on the hot seat gets into the playoffs, if you're not a Dallas Cowboy coach, because that's all they do is get into the playoffs and get bounced. But it buys you some time. So we have to start looking at it like this. Yes, they lost 4 times to Michigan. That's a big game. It's a rivalry game, a trophy game. But what's the ultimate goal? To get into the playoffs, to win a national championship. He still has a chance to do that.
All right, let's jump to the Fiesta Bowl. This one was obviously prior to the weekend. Penn State taking on Boise State. Boise State hosting this one as a higher seed that was able to get a bye week. No matter, Penn State still looked like the bigger, stronger, faster team. Iced with Nick Singleton's 58-yard touchdown run, cut 8.
Singleton breaks free. Nick Singleton, house call.
I reject bump the Ashton Genty slander to come from this game. Boise State was always going to be outmatched. Boise State was always going to have an uphill battle. I don't know anyone outside of Idaho that truly believed in their soul Boise State would dominate this game, even if there were questions about Penn State. Ashton Genty did not suddenly flop against great talent. It just wasn't the absolute best game because Boise State is not as good a team.
No, I mean, you said I tweeted this out. it's halfway through the game. Penn State is bigger, faster, stronger. Talent matters. You can have all the scheme in the world. You can have all these ideas and know exactly what the other team is going to do, but you still need Lil Bobby and them to go out and perform.
Lil Bobby.
And they did it. I got to get Lil Bobby some love now. Lil Bobby is a 5-star, a 4-star.
In this
and it's a big boy. Plays in the Big 12. Has been battle tested a bit. Not really battle tested, but more than what a Boise State has gone through. And games like this is when the committee has to sit down and figure out, okay, how are we going to make this right?
Yeah.
Because Boise State definitely deserved to be in the college football playoff, but to get a bye and then face Penn State and look like this, it's not a good look. What was disappointing, too, was their head coach after the game. We showed the nation that we can play big-time football. No, you didn't, Coach. No, you didn't. It was, 31-14, I think the final score was. You showed that, okay, you have a Heisman Trophy candidate, and that kind of elevated the status of your program, and you did win games you were supposed to win. You barely lost to Oregon early in the season. I think that's when a lot of the upsets happened. We got Notre Dame losing to Northern Illinois earlier in the season. Look at them now competing for a chance to get into the semis tonight against Georgia. It's good for Boise, but I think with them losing, with SMU losing, you got to kind of reevaluate the situation and figure out how you're going to reseed these guys. But good for Boise, man. You put them back on the map for a year.
What did you make of the idea that the powers that be, the big boys, kind of ended up winning all of these matchups, including the teams that did not have bye weeks, that basically the blue bloods of the college football playoff ended up all advancing?
Yeah, they got the better talent. They got the recruits. They have the money. They can pay for these guys. This is how it happens. It's rare in football that you have, and you never really have the opportunity to have these Cinderella stories like you do in college basketball. A team, what was that, George Mason one year going all the way to the Final Four. In basketball, you can do it because it's not a real physical sport. If you got shooters, you got shooters. In football, man, you got big boys in the trenches.
Yeah.
You want to figure out what team has an opportunity to win the ball game, watch the big boys come off the bus and just look at size in general. And typically, when you're a smaller school, you don't have that. The best thing to come from that game is watching the young man fall, waving the flag, running out the tunnel for Boise State. I don't know if you saw that. I was rolling.
I did.
His boy's got to be on his head.
Face. He fell on his face, and honestly, it was a sign of things to come. I liked this tweet, unfortunately, from an Oregon fan at Oregon Homer. The expanded playoff isn't about close matchups. It's about making sure that when a team has earned the right to prove themselves, they're given exactly that chance. Will Arizona State win this? Probably not, but did they earn the chance to? Absolutely. Now, Arizona State, this was tweeted early in the game, Arizona State ended up making that very close, double overtime, nearly ended up winning it were it not for an interception. I mean, heck, in regulation, were it not for that non-call on targeting. But I absolutely agree. I think that one of the conversations that's been had, especially as the season started progressing and Alabama became a more controversial choice, was do you put in the best teams or the teams that earn the right? And I do think that there is a group of college football fans, Bump, that watch these games and go, I would have rather seen a different team play Penn State. I would have rather seen a different team than SMU in this one. But those teams didn't earn the right. It's why I love the conversation. I didn't look at those outmatched teams as having proven a point.
No, I think that you had to stick with the formula you created to get teams in. And I think for the most part, they stuck to that formula. Now it's about making the necessary adjustments to that formula. It's never going to be perfect. You're never going to satisfy anybody. There's always going to be a team like Bama who people think should have got in on the outside looking in, a team like Ole Miss who's hooting and hollering trying to get in. It's always going to be that way because this isn't the NCAA basketball tournament where 60-something teams get in. We don't have that much time. And football is a violent sport and the body's going to break down. So I like the 12 team. I think 16 is going to be perfect. I also think that these games need to happen more quickly. I don't like the big wait in between the games. Again, if this is a professional sport, which it is, look at the NFL. Every single week, they're going at it. All right, so let's fix that. I think for the first year, it was good. You live, you learn, you make some adjustments.
As Bump mentioned, that big wait, you're going to have to wait until January 10th, 4:30 p.m. kickoff for the Cotton Bowl. It's going to be Texas and Ohio State, and then obviously Penn State going on to play the winner of the Sugar Bowl today between Notre Dame and Georgia. Let's get to headline rewrites.
Extra, extra, read all about it.
Headline rewrites.
We must make headlines.
The real story behind the headlines in today's news with Bump and Stacy.
Headline number one, despite an unsettled contract situation going into 2025, Tyler Lockett told The Athletic he has no plans of retiring after this season. What's the real headline?
Well, if I was getting $10 million to come back next year, I wouldn't plan to retire either.
Yeah, he's got incentive. He's got some dollars out there that he could get. And honestly, I would assume that his body is feeling a lot better at this point of the year than when he was catching 70 to 100 footballs. His mind feels good. I think he's settled into, look, I'm a number 3 receiver for this team. Maybe there's a team out there that would give him an opportunity if it doesn't work out here. There is nothing that says he should retire. There's money on the table. You're relatively healthy. I think he can still be a contributor to a football team. Why not? I mean, Tyler Lockett, you ride this thing till the wheels fall off. He's earned that. Let's not forget the Tyler Lockett moments that he has had. All right, Father Time is undefeated. You're going to slow down. He's going to win, but he can still contribute to a team.
Tyler Lockett absolutely has earned the right to still contribute to a team, whether that's Seattle, whether that's elsewhere. But will it be at this price? DK Metcalf, Tyler Lockett, and Geno Smith will all have cap hits, not base salaries, cap hits exceeding $30 million in 2025. Metcalf and Lockett will have a combined base salary of $28 million, $18 million for DK Metcalf, $10 million for Tyler Lockett. This team's going to have to do something because you cannot have Metcalf and Lockett with 10+ million base accounting for 30+ million against your cap at the same time.
Yeah, that's one of the tough decisions that are going to be made this offseason is, okay, how much do you want to pay DK if you extend him? Is Tyler Lockett willing and able to restructure his contract to stay here? And honestly, both players are in a position to where they can demand what they want. You go ahead and get it. DK in his 6th year in the NFL has a couple 1,000-yard seasons already 47 touchdowns, the most in a player's first 6 years with the Seahawks. Despite what you think about him, he has contributed a lot to this team, and he's still got some football left in him. Tyler Lockett, on the other hand, is that veteran, and negotiations, I think, are going to be tough, and I think that both sides are going to do what's best for them. We'll just have to wait and see exactly what that is.
What's next?
Headline rewrites.
Headline number 2, Devin Witherspoon was the lone Seahawk named to the Pro Bowl. What's the real headline?
Congrats are in order for Spoon, but justice for Leonard Williams.
Yeah, big up Spoon. And I love that Spoon got this one. This one feels, for me, more satisfying than his rookie year. Because his rookie year, he made the plays that stood out, the interceptions, the pick six, and all that. This year, it was like he was a blue-collar, hard-hat type of corner to where he didn't have all the interceptions, but he was locking down sides, he was making tackles, TFLs, and all that stuff. This was a gritty, grimy Pro Bowl type performance. But the fact that Leonard is not in that mix, goodness gracious, my man has been... If Dexter Lawrence was healthy and still playing, he'd probably be the most dominant defensive lineman. You got to put Leonard Williams up there, top 2 or 3 most dominant D linemen in this league right now. We're talking about the interior.
Williams, Michael Dixon, JSN, Julian Love, and Boye Mafe were all named Pro Bowl alternates. We're going to talk more about this coming up at 10:30, so don't want to spend more time on it. Let's get to our next headline.
Headline rewrites.
Headline number 3, after only a few weeks in Detroit, Jamal Adams has been waived by the Lions. What's the real headline?
And it didn't cost them 2 first-round picks to walk away.
Man,
that must be nice.
This is the reality of being a football player. There's only like 2% of guys who get to leave when they want to leave, who play as long as they want to, ride off into the sunset, and we celebrate them, whether you like their personality or not. Talking about Aaron Rodgers, we'll see what he does this offseason. But this is the reality of a football player, is that your body's going to break down, and the league is going to tell you you're not good enough. And once that phone call stops ringing or that phone stops ringing, you get into a place that you haven't been before. You're no longer a football player. I don't know if that is it for Jamal, but the way that it's trending, it seems like this just might be it. But luckily for him, he's made a lot of money. Hopefully he's been smart with his money, and he finds something else to bring that passion out of him, because we know that he thrives off of that.
Jamal Adams was a number 6 overall pick, which no one was judging at the time. He was an explosive, dynamic weapon in college. Obviously came to the Jets and was a first-team All-Pro, and I think an All-Pro or Pro Bowler back-to-back seasons, didn't miss a ton of time. There was a minute there where he looked like certainly the most versatile, if not the best safety in football. Best safety was a little more debatable because there were, some players that you were looking at going, oh, I don't know. But, I mean, he was unbelievable. And the conversation was, wow, But the Jets are wasting them. The Jets are wasting some of these pieces they have because they just can't get it together as an organization.
Yep.
Obviously, we knew what happened. He demanded a trade. He gets sent to Seattle. And then the wheels fall off. He doesn't stay healthy. There are, some rifts between him and at one point, like some stuff online, like calling out a reporter and his wife, like just all kinds of like bad PR stuff. It just completely falls apart. What was ultimately the undoing of Jamal Adams? Is it just that's what happens? Is it the quad injury? Is it?
It starts with him being asked to do things that he's not really great at. And remember, he was playing hurt. He played with a jacked up shoulder, jacked up fingers. I remember there was a play against the Rams where he's in great position. He can't raise his hand up because that strap that's on his shoulder. He was banged up, and we were asking him to be a cover safety. That's not what he does. That first year when he was here, when he was healthy and in his zone, there weren't too many better safeties than him. So I think it was a combination of things. But at the end of the day, it comes down to the way he was being used and then his health. And then you get into your own head. And now you're bouncing around because you're frustrated, and you get to this point here.
I agree. It was never a question of overall talent.
Yeah.
Like, as people who saw Jamal Adams and who see, like, we were just talking off air before the show started, like when DK Metcalf first got here, you knew right away in training camp, like, this guy's different.
Mm-hmm.
That's how it was with Jamal. Like, you knew looking at Jamal, ooh, this guy just moves differently. I agree with you. I think it was a complete breakdown of his body with multiple injuries over multiple seasons, including some that overlapped, right? A shoulder injury at the same time as he was coming back from, broken finger or quad injury. But you're right. Like, maybe if Jamal Adams would have come out in 5 years from now, he'd be used differently by different teams. I don't know. All right, let's get back to that Pro Bowl conversation. The Seahawks have two major snubs to complain about. That's next.
Seattle Sports, your home for Brock and Salk.
Devin Witherspoon, the only Seahawk named to the 2025 Pro Bowl.
Am I mad?
You sound mad.
I mean, are you out of your skull? Leonard Williams, the best player on this team. Leonard Williams, 9 sacks, 16 tackles for loss, 59 tackles, pick 6, most disruptive interior defensive tackle in the NFL, not just the NFC. Leonard Williams didn't make the Pro Bowl? What planet are we on? I mean, this is a shock.
On Seattle Sports and 97.3 FM HD2.
How was your drive to school?
Let me tell you, I had to get my iced coffee first. I just can't seem to put it down. My favorite rapper just announced a tour. My phone was buzzing like crazy. I'm so excited. I had to text all my friends right then to talk about it. Then someone started calling me and...
Let's try that again.
I turned my phone off right away. I never drive distracted.
Visit StopTextStopWrecks.org. A message brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, Project Yellow Light, and the Ad Council.
Hear that? That's the sound of your life. Perfectly imperfect. Beating in rhythm to the world you've created. But every time you drive after drinking, the music gets drowned out. Your life sounds pretty great. Don't let a buzz ruin it. Buzz driving is drunk driving. Don't drive buzzed. A message from NHTSA and the Ad Council.
Lowe's knows how to help you save time and money, no matter the job. That's why we can deliver supplies to your job site as soon as same day, so you have more time to get the job done. Because when you need it fast, we've got you covered. Lowe's knows pros. Valid on eligible in-stock orders and select zip codes placed by 2 p.m. for same-day delivery by 8 p.m. Subject to driver availability. Fees vary based on purchase. More terms apply. See Lowe's.com/same-day delivery for details.
No two people learn the exact same way. So how did Babbel become the award-winning language learning app? We thought of you, all of you. Take Sierra. As a visual learner, she uses Babbel's wordplay videos.
Today I'll share a quick lesson on shopping in French.
Merci beaucoup. Keith is a be in the room with real people kind of learner, so he loves the live online classes with our language experts.
Okay, class. Vos está pronto. Estamos prontos.
However you learn, Babbel makes it easy. Try Babbel for free at Babbel.com. Babbel.com. No two people learn the exact same way. So how did Babbel become the award-winning language learning app? We thought of you, all of you. Take Sierra. As a visual learner, she uses Babbel's wordplay videos.
Today I'll share a quick lesson on shopping in French.
Merci beaucoup. Keith is a be-in-the-room-with real people kind of learner, so he loves the live online classes with our language experts.
Okay, class. Vos está pronto.
Estamos prontos.
However you learn, Babbel makes it easy. Try Babbel for free at Babbel.com. Babbel.com.
Why choose a Sleep Number smart bed?
Can I make my side softer?
Can I make my side firmer?
Can we sleep cooler?
Sleep Number does that. Cools up to 8 times faster and lets you choose your ideal comfort on either side. Your Sleep Number setting. And now it's our lowest price of the season on our top-selling i8 smart bed. Your best savings, plus free home delivery with an adjustable base. Exclusively at a Sleep Number store near you. All Sleep Number smart beds offer temperature solutions for your best sleep. Learn more at sleepnumber.com.
Hey guys, ready to feel stronger, leaner, energetic, and more confident? For a limited time, Revive Men's Health offers 25% off TRT and ED bundles. Plus, get a free month of compounded semaglutide, a powerful proven weight loss medication with the same active drug as Ozempic. Terms and exclusions apply. Don't wait. This offer won't last.
Call 206-529-1111. That's 206-529-1111. Or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com.
Heading outdoors or on the water this weekend? Check in with Joey and Nelly on the Outdoor Line from 6 to 8 a.m. every Saturday on Seattle Sports and the Seattle Sports app.
Be advised, this is your opportunity to save up to 40 to 80% on a hot tub or swim spa this weekend only, Friday through Sunday, Linwood Event Center. Be advised, this is your opportunity to save up to 40 to 80% on a hot tub or swim spa this weekend only, Friday through Sunday, Linwood Event Center. 18-month interest-free financing. Our factories have demanded we sell 1,000 hot tubs and swim spas this weekend. Linwood Event Center. Huge factory incentives, factory rebates this weekend only. Linwood Event Center. We can remove your old hot tub. Free delivery of your new hot tub. Hot tub starting at $2,999. Linwood Event Center. Free delivery of your new hot tub. Just relax and enjoy. Linwood Event Center. Friday, 2 p.m. to 8 p.m. Saturday, 10 a.m. to 8 p.m. Sunday, 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. Free admission, free parking, free delivery. Linwood Event Center. Call 833-SPA-SALE or visit hottubandswimspasale.com.
It's Fight Night, live boxing at Emerald Queen Casino Event Center. A full evening of boxing action, Friday, January 10th. Make it a destination event. Tickets at emeraldqueen.com. Don't miss this evening of pure excitement. The best in professional boxing. It's Fight Night, January 10th at Emerald Queen Casino, the entertainment capital of the Northwest. 21 and older, need gambling help? Call 800-547-6133 or visit emeraldqueen.com.
Please game responsibly. Now is your time to get into a new DR Horton home by taking advantage of their National Red Tag Sales event going on right now through January 19th. Stop by any of their participating communities and find select Red Tag homes at incredible pricing. So whether you're buying your first home or looking for an upgrade, you don't want to miss the Red Tag Sales event going on right now. Discover the DR Horton difference at drhorton.com. That's drhorton.com. DR Horton, America's builder, an equal housing opportunity builder.
From the Quantum Fiber Studio,
this is Bumpin' Stacy.
Weekdays 10 to 2
on Seattle Sports and 97.3 FM HD2.
Congratulations to Devin Witherspoon on his Pro Bowl nod for the Seahawks. But, Bump, I think we got to talk about two snubs here. Jackson Smith-Njigba and Leonard Williams are alternates, and in all likelihood, at least Williams will probably be playing in this one because Dexter Lawrence was named and obviously had season-ending surgery. That being said, how are you going to overlook JSN and Leonard Williams? Conversations NFL teams around the country are having about players they certainly feel deserve Pro Bowl nods, but Bump, I don't know. I mean, I see the case for both of these guys.
I definitely do as well. I think at first I was more upset about Leonard Williams. I think he's had himself a great year, seven sacks so far this year. And then I look across the league, I go, okay, who can I compare him to? Matabuke obviously is in the AFC, is a different Pro Bowl team. He has 6.5 sacks. He makes it. Jalen Carter, who's in the NFC, he has 4.5 sacks, and he made it. So I think that was the biggest slap in the face was Leonard not being recognized as having one of the best games. If you just focus on that one game, that Jets game, the blocked PAT, and then the pick to the house, and then games after that with a 1 sack and 2 sacks. He had a stretch where he was arguably the best interior defensive lineman in the game, and he has not been recognized. That one got me. And then I went over to JSN. JSN, I was initially a bit upset, and then I did some research, and then I thought to myself, okay, I can kind of see it.
Okay.
So we're looking at some of the guys on the AFC first to see what their numbers look like.
Sure, because they're amazing.
Right. Zay Flowers got in 1,000 yards, 1,047 yards, 4 touchdowns. JSN has 11, 21, and 6 touchdowns better. Jared Judy got in 1,166, 4 touchdowns. All right, JSN better. You got Collins, who got in less games, 968 yards, 6 touchdowns. And then how did Mims get in? I think maybe on the return side. But here's where JSN got the boot. The best receivers are in the NFC. The best. You got Justin Jefferson, Lamb, Amon-Ra, and McLaurin. McLaurin has 12 touchdowns, though JSN has more yards than him.
Yeah.
And then the other guys are just ballers. So I think it was just because he's in a conference where the better receivers are, he got a snub. If you look at him compared to all the best receivers in the game, then I think clearly he's a Pro Bowler. But because he's in the NFC, there's only so many spots that you can give. He's on the outside looking in, but he definitely deserves. If you look at the whole league, deserves to be a Pro Bowler.
Yeah, I was looking at. I did the same thing. I isolated NFC. And I was like, God, you're right. Like, I don't know. You can't make the case over Justin Jefferson. You can't make the case over CeeDee Lamb, Amon-Ra St. Brown.
Right.
Malik Neighbors with, like, somewhat similar numbers, more total receptions, more total targets, ended up with 19 more yards, the exact same number of touchdowns. But we're not looking at Malik Neighbors as being, like, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
If it was something where you're like, well, wait a minute, Malik Neighbors over JSN. But there are just a lot of great receivers in the league. I don't know if, heading back to Leonard Williams, I don't know if it's that with the fan vote accounting for a third of the total vote, it is just hard sometimes to evaluate certain positions. And as a fan who's never played, it's going to be way more obvious to me if Justin Jefferson's having an amazing season versus certain offensive linemen or defensive tackles.
And then also think, too, that fans naturally look at the team. The Vikings having a great year. Lamb is on TV every single week on primetime. You can watch him. Amon-Ra. Obviously, the Lions are doing great things. And then McLaurin is playing for one of the more exciting teams in the league with what the things that Daniels is doing. And you can't deny his 12 touchdowns. Like, it's crazy. So there's some things working against him. That's where being tucked away in Seattle will hurt you a little bit.
I know.
That's where the perception of Geno can hurt a little bit because people are saying, well, he's throwing all these interceptions. Why would I even take a look at this squad up there in the North? The fact that you're not competing for a division title this weekend maybe changes some things. There are things that affect the way that players are viewed. So there's some things working against him, man. If he was in the AFC, he'd be in the Pro Bowl for sure. It's the NFC with all the ballers that's hurting him.
Okay, so we have acknowledged that the Seahawks had at least one snub in Leonard Williams and 2 players who are deserving of recognition and praise this year in Jackson Smith and Jigba and Williams. However, let's transition to another part of the conversation. What does it say about where Seattle is as a squad that only one player was officially a Pro Bowl nod in Devin Witherspoon?
Yeah, it means that they are exactly where we think they are, in a place to where they are building, where they are trying to put all the pieces, the right pieces together on the field and play at a high level. And there's something that Devin Witherspoon brings to this team that no one else really does, which is that brash, that enthusiasm, that look at me type stuff. Not even on some selfish stuff, look at me, just the way he plays the game. Your eyes are going to find number 21 because he's talking, he's celebrating, he's the smallest guy out there, he's hitting dudes. Like, the way he plays the game is attractive to the eye. And I think fans see that, they hear about him, they hear all these analysts talk about him, and you get up in there. Where else will we expect a Pro Bowler to come from? Honestly, I think it's just Leonard, and that just might be it. In JSN. Other than that, there's no one really doing anything. Our running backs aren't putting up Pro Bowl numbers. Our quarterback isn't putting up Pro Bowl numbers. The secondary, minus Devin Witherspoon, aren't putting up Pro Bowl numbers because they're not getting interceptions. Devin Witherspoon just brings something else to the table. You can have a case for Ernest Jones having over 100 tackles for the 3rd straight season, but really there's no one else that is standing out individually as a team, when we look at this defense, they're doing some good things. They're filling the gaps and tackling and doing all that good stuff. So you say, this is a good defense. Why aren't there more Pro Bowlers? Because the Pro Bowler is an individual type thing. And the only two guys really making noise on this team as an individual on defense, of course, Devin Witherspoon and Leonard. And on offense, I'd say it's JSN.
I'll say this. The Seattle Seahawks, compared to other teams, have a ton of money invested in wide receiver or draft capital. Jackson Smith-Njigba was a first-round pick. He's still on his rookie deal. And then you're paying Tyler Lockett and DK Metcalf a lot of money. Does it say anything that these skill position players that you're paying a lot of money to perform for you? It's not that, like, they underperform per se. I think Tyler Lockett is just getting a little bit older. DK Metcalf came back from injury and didn't quite round into form. And then Jackson did have a phenomenal year, but you are never going to be an elite offense when you were dealing with a bad offensive line and a first-time play caller. Like, that you had some hurdles to overcome, so I'm not, like, shocked or floored. But I do think that if you are going to make your highest-paid players, hey, we've got Dre Jones along our defensive line is one of our highest paid players. We brought back Noah Fant, and we invested quite a bit of money in Noah compared to other tight ends. We paid Tyler and DK a lot of money. Like, you would think that these guys would then show that in Pro Bowl nods or, even alternate nods.
Yeah, so you said DK's base is 18, his cap hit is what, 30?
Next year.
Next year. Here's the thing. Yes, I think you should expect those players to get into the Pro Bowl or be in the conversation. I don't think they're even in the conversation right now. But I also know that the guys getting paid the most in the league are getting Pro Bowl nods. Justin Jefferson, the highest paid receiver in the game. CeeDee Lamb, A.J. Brown's behind him. I don't think he got in. Amon-Ra St. Brown and Brandon Ayuk. Other than that, Tyreek Hill is a baller. He's not in the Pro Bowl, had himself a down year. Devontae Adams is up there when it comes to annual average. DJ Moore, Cooper Kupp, Devontae Smith, Nico Collins. It's not just the Seahawks who are dealing with this same thing. Just because you pay a guy market value doesn't necessarily mean he's going to get in. He's got to go out there and ball. I get the argument that they should be in. We need this type of production out of them, and I think you do pay them for that type of production. They just haven't performed. They're not the only team that's dealing with that, though.
Exactly. What do you think of this one? Last one. This is from a listener, Joe in Bellevue, said, I see the snubs as positive. They were close to making the playoffs. They could still get 10 wins with only one Pro Bowler. Amazing coaching job.
Yeah, that's how you gotta flip it. That's how you gotta look at it. Like, you keep that chip on your shoulder. If you're a coach, you're a player, GM, if you feel like you've been overlooked and disrespected, how is that going to motivate you this offseason, or how's it going to motivate you on Sunday to try to get that 10 win?
Mike McDonald was asked yesterday whether he's going to start or play for an extensive period of time Sam Howell in Week 18 against the Rams. His answer coming up at 11. Hype Train first.
Seattle Sports, your home for Brock and Salk.
I do think that the Seahawks team that finished the year after the linebacker swap, etc., was good enough to be a playoff team. If you could start the year week 8 or 10 and then play 17 games, I think that Seahawks team, different roster, starting to understand the system, etc. Don't you think that Seahawks team has been a playoff level team?
And your right tackle and a calming presence at center, and you've kind of settled in and had some level of continuity here in the second half.
Streaming on your smart speaker.
Emerald Queen Casino, the entertainment capital of the Northwest. The best place to watch all your favorite sports. Featuring wall-to-wall viewing screens, 6 windows, and 30 kiosks. Be there at emeraldqueen.com. Emerald Queen Casino, the entertainment capital of the Northwest.
You gotta love football season, but when it comes to your windows and doors, you don't want any fumbles. Steve Rabel here, reminding you to trust locally owned Pella Windows and Doors of Western Washington to tackle your project. Their selection of windows and doors can't be beat, and they'll give you top-notch customer service with no trick plays. Schedule a free consultation with Pella Windows and Doors of Western Washington. Go to PellaPNW.com. That's PellaPNW.com.
Are you putting off your new kitchen plans? Why wait? Hi, Chad Cicchini, owner of Heritage Homecraft. Call today for a free in-home estimate. Years of experience, thousands of happy customers. Heritage Homecraft, 425-485-1600 or heritagehomecraft.com.
No two people learn the exact same way. So how did Babbel become the award-winning language learning app? We thought of you, all of you. Take Sierra. As a visual learner, she uses Babbel's wordplay videos.
Today I'll share a quick lesson on shopping in French.
Merci beaucoup. Keith is a be in the room with real people kind of learner, so he loves the live online classes with our language experts.
Okay, class. ¿Vos está pronto?
Estamos prontos.
However you learn, Babbel makes it easy. Try Babbel for free at Babbel.com, Babbel.com. No two people learn the exact same way. So how did Babbel become the award-winning language learning app? We thought of you, all of you. Take Sierra. As a visual learner, she uses Babbel's wordplay videos.
Today I'll share a quick lesson on shopping in French.
Merci beaucoup. Keith is a be in the room with real people kind of learner, so he loves the live online classes with our language experts.
Okay, class. ¿Vos está pronto?
Estamos prontos.
However you learn, Babbel makes it easy. Try Babbel for free at Babbel.com, Babbel.com.
Where can you kick off the new year with big savings on gig speed? Only with Xfinity, now through January 16th. Get gig internet at home for $25 a month for 1 year when you add an unlimited mobile line, which connects you to gig speed Wi-Fi on the road. Act fast today and save more than $650 over AT&T and Verizon in your first year. Plus, hurry and take advantage because right now you can also get a free 5G phone with trade-in. So save big and stay connected to what you love with fast gig speed internet and mobile. From home to hotspots, this new year, it's all about gig speeds and big savings. Don't wait and get gig speed internet. Spend less green and switch to Xfinity. Go to Xfinity.com/gig savings to learn more. Requires paperless billing and autopay with stored bank account. Restrictions apply. Equipment, taxes, and fees extra. $40 internet discount applied to mobile bill. After promo, regular rates apply. Actual speeds vary. Savings compared to Verizon Fiber Gig Plus 1 Unlimited Welcome Line and AT&T Fiber Gig Plus 1 Unlimited Starter Line. Xfinity internet required. Reduced speeds after 30 gigabits of usage per line. Data thresholds and actual savings vary.
Bonneville International radio station contests are open to participants 18 years of age or older that are residents of Washington State unless otherwise specified. Employees or agents of the station, Bonneville International Corporation, other area radio stations, or any entity associated with the contests are not eligible to win unless the station otherwise specifies at its own discretion. Persons who have won in the last 60 days from a station contest or event may not be eligible. Full general contest rules are available on seattlesports.com or in person at the station during regular business hours.
Seahawks Player Spotlight.
Man, it felt good to go out there and be able to contribute.
Exclusive interviews with your favorite Seahawks.
You know, we got a genius as the head coach.
Every day with Wyman and Bob.
This is Matt Coker from West Coast Men's Health. I'm proud to let you know that nationwide, our clinics have a 4.7 out of 5-star rating on Google. This tells you that our patients are really seeing results. Here's what some of them are saying. The results are close to phenomenal. On top of that, the staff and the scheduling are top-notch, and my technician is a consummate professional. Another patient said, I called numerous clinics, and West Coast was by far the best. The other places wouldn't give me any information over the phone, but West Coast answered all of my questions. My wife and I were skeptical, but we've already noticed the difference. This was a game changer for us. West Coast Men's Health has helped thousands of men reverse their ED using acoustic wave therapy. No pills or shots necessary. Give us a call today so we can help you too.
With clinics in Redmond and Tacoma, call 206-519-6541. That's 206-519-6541. 206-519-6541. Online at westcoastmenshealth.com.
Is chronic pain beginning to make your everyday life a challenge? Then call Dr. Daniel Nelson, MD, with Eastside Pain and Regenerative Medicine. With over 30 years of experience, no one has more experience in pain medicine techniques and stem cell therapy than Dr. Nelson. And here's what a satisfied patient had to say.
Well, that seems to be a genetic thing. All the men on my dad's side of the family have bad backs. Since my mid-20s, it would swell up and I would lose range of motion, and it was very, very painful to stand or walk, and so I had to miss work. So he went in there and gave me the stem cell injection, and it's great now. I get to keep all my original equipment, if you will. No permanent loss of range of motion, in and out in a day. That's totally worth it. I couldn't recommend Dan Nelson more highly.
So don't let pain control your life. Consider stem cell therapy with Dr. Daniel Nelson, MD. Call 425-823-4000 today. That's 425-823-4000, or go to danielnelsonmd.com.
From the Quantum Fiber Studio.
This is Bumpin' Stacy.
Weekdays 10 to 2.
On Seattle Sports and 97.3 FM HD2.
Coming up in 15 minutes, Mike McDonald was asked whether he'll play Sam Howell in Week 18. We'll tell you what he said. Hang tight. Right now, we're heading to the station for Hype Train. First one in here, the best game of Week 18. I wish I could say it was a battle for the NFC West between the Rams and Seahawks. Unfortunately, Seahawks have played themselves out of that one. No, it will be a battle for the NFC North and the NFC's number 1 seed. Your first hype train, the Vikings beat the Detroit Lions on Sunday and lock up the NFC's number 1 seed.
Man, this is such a big moment for Sam Darnold. Can you win a big game? I think one of the hesitations people have with fully believing and endorsing Sam Darnold is that you haven't seen him in the playoffs and win. But you saw Jared Goff do that last year, get to the conference championship game. The Lions are at home, correct?
I believe so.
Yeah.
Curtis, do you know offhand?
Yeah, it's at Ford Field.
Lions are at home. This is going to be a big one. Defensively, they're banged up. Offensively, they're ready for a shootout. But I'm going to go with my guy Darnold. You already know. I'm on that train. Vikings, let's get it.
I should have known. Why did I even ask? I should have immediately gone to Curtis and said, Bump is aboard. Curtis, how about you? The Vikings beat the Lions on Sunday and lock up the NFC's top seed. Bump is keeping his hope in Sam Darnold alive for this one and picking the Vikings. Curtis, are you?
I've never met anybody that loves Sam Darnold more than Bump. It's the fourth child in the Bumpus household. That's how I see Sam Darnold right now. I don't think the Vikings beat the Lions just because Ford Field has become one of the best home field advantages in football. I think the Lions continue their momentum. They just had that one slip up against the Bills. I think they beat the Vikings, so I'm not boarding this train, even though the Vikings have had an incredible season. I think the Lions have had a stone-cold lock on that 1 seed, and I think it continues into the playoffs.
I think I'm still taking in the Lions in this one, so Bump, you get bragging rights certainly on Monday if the Vikings end up pulling this off. The Lions, though, just slight favorites. I mean, they're favored by 2.5. Over-under total is 58, so we could see some high scoring in this one. I'm really, really excited for it. It's just so hard for me to bet against even a very banged-up Lions team with how complete they've looked so many times this year. Also, I'll admit it, I am completely blatant about this. There is part of me that no matter what Sam Darnold shows me still doesn't believe in him. And I acknowledge that this is just what happens with certain players. And I also critique it when we do it with players, but it doesn't mean that I don't feel myself doing it. It would be the same thing if, Zach Wilson suddenly took off with the team last year. I'd be like, well, I can't remember you failing miserably with another organization or two. And I think that that's probably happening for a lot of other people. I think that if you replace Sam Darnold's name with J.J. McCarthy, or if Aaron Rodgers had gone there and suddenly looked like Sam Darnold did this year, everyone's having a different, more confident conversation about the Vikings instead of just simply looking at them as a fluke or a surprise.
They've won so many games this year. Their schedule has not been the toughest, but they are in a tough division. Sure. So you got to respect that. I'm anxious. I want to see how Sam Darnold performs.
Next up, Tyler Lockett has a $30+ million cap hit next year, $10 million in base salary. He is under contract, and he'll be a Seahawk in 2025.
I think Tyler Lockett wants to be a Seahawk. I think he has his real estate license out here. This is his home. He has. He's going to be one of those guys that we've seen from the Legion of Boom. Like, everyone hangs around here because the city takes care of them. There's opportunities out here. Their brand is great. And I think that he's going to do whatever he can to be on this team next year. He'll restructure his contract, and we'll see number 16 out there again next year for sure.
Tyler Lockett is back in a Seahawks uniform in 2025. Bump is boarding this train. Curtis, are you?
I would love to see him continue and play out his days here in Seattle. I just think that Mike Macdonald ultimately wants to get younger in a lot of spots, and Tyler, for as productive as he has been throughout his career, he is not. I don't think he's getting better. I think he has kind of plateaued as a receiver. So I don't think the Seahawks bring him back in 2025. They thank him for his services. It's probably going to be treated like a Bobby Wagner type thing, where Bobby was released after the 2021 season. Maybe Tyler goes elsewhere. I don't know where he would go, but I just don't see him in a Seahawks uniform in 2025. But thank you for all the years. It's been an incredible ride.
I do not see Tyler Lockett as a Seahawk in 2025 with his current contract. So I'm going to side with Bump on this one and say that it all comes down to whether or not Tyler Lockett is willing to take a pay cut. And based on what we know about Tyler Lockett, not only does he have a ton of local ties and is a really local or kind of like a low-key dude, I think you have to think about who are some of his mentors. Doug Baldwin, a career Seahawk. You know what I mean? Like, he's, as you mentioned, got his real estate license. You're already licensed and registered to practice real estate out here in the state. Like, there's plenty of incentive for Tyler to stay in Seattle. And while it is, I would imagine, such a blow to your pride and creates even sometimes some resentment and some anger when you're asked, hey, I know that we promised you this much, but can we pay you less? I also think that Tyler might do it. One of the very few players I've ever talked about where I think might take a home team pay cut advantage. And normally I think players shouldn't need to do that. Like, why? Pay me less because you like me and I've been playing for you? Like, what are you talking about? But in this case, I think it might be beneficial for what he wants to do after football to just kind of stay in the state for another year.
It's deeper than just football. I think he loves football. I think there's a role for him on this team. But like we just painted the picture of, this is his home. He's here. I wonder if his wife is from here too. That is big in decision making.
Exactly. If you got family here, if you guys, have kids, maybe you want to stay in the area. All right, next up. Ohio State dominated number 1 seed Oregon in the Rose Bowl. They're going to go on and face Texas in the Cotton Bowl on January 10th. Ohio State, never mind whatever happens between Notre Dame and Georgia, never mind Penn State. Ohio State is the best team left in the college football playoff.
Yeah, they are. I mean, we got to wait and see what happens with Notre Dame and Georgia. But even if Georgia does advance, the things that Ohio State was able to do against Oregon, the number 1 team in the country, was impressive, especially after having to bounce back from that Michigan loss. And then you go and beat up on Tennessee, and then you beat up on Oregon. When they're playing their best football, they are the best team in the country. Offensively, they got weapons for days. You got Smith, you got a Mech over there. Their quarterback is playing great. Also, their quarterback was not allowed on the stage with his teammate after the game.
Why?
That is some garbage. Don't know. I just saw a clip of this guy who's in a suit, who probably has no idea what's going on, is denying him his opportunity to get up on the stage. Crazy to me. We need to fix that. But Ohio State, best team in the game.
I need to find out what happened here. Curtis, Ohio State is the best team left in the college football playoff. Bump is boarding. Are you?
Oh, yeah. I think the Buckeyes are the best team, especially because Carson Beck is out for the rest of the year with Georgia. I believe he declared for the NFL draft already, so he's like, see you guys.
Yeah.
I don't need to compete for a national championship, which is a weird thing to do heading into college football playoff. But, I think if I could rank them right now, I'd go Ohio State, probably Texas, Notre Dame, then Penn State, and it feels kind of like Ohio State, Texas, and the Cotton Bowl might be for the national championship anyway. But yeah, I think it is the Buckeyes' title to lose at this point. But as we know, Ryan Day, in these kinds of situations, when everything is pointing towards the Buckeyes, they have a tendency to fold. So still a lot to play for.
Seahawks head coach Mike Macdonald was asked whether he'll play Sam Howell in Week 18. We'll tell you what he said next.
Seattle Sports, your home for Wyman and Bob.
It's a win. Bottom line business, it's a win.
Well, I'll tell you what, Rabel, he was like, oh, that was an ugly game. I'm like, it was a thing of beauty. Are you kidding me? 6-3 game? I mean, people play defense. So
is that what it was? Or was it inept offense? Since 2010, Dave, only 2 games in the NFL have ever finished with a 6-3 score, and the Seahawks were part of both of them. Yep. Remember that doozy back in 2011 with Charlie Whitehurst at the helm.
That's right.
On Seattle Sports and 97.3 FM HD2.
Be advised, this is your opportunity to save up to 40 to 80% on a hot tub or swim spa. This weekend only, Friday through Sunday, Linwood Event Center. Be advised, this is your opportunity to save up to 40 to 80% on a hot tub or swim spa. This weekend only, Friday through Sunday, Linwood Event Center. 18-month interest-free financing. Our factories have demanded we sell 1,000 hot tubs and swim spas this weekend. Linwood Event Center. Huge factory incentives, factory rebates, this weekend only. Linwood Event Center. We can remove your old hot tub. Free delivery of your new hot tub. Hot tub starting at $2,999. Linwood Event Center. Free delivery of your new hot tub. Just relax and enjoy. Linwood Event Center. Friday, 2 p.m. to 8 p.m. Saturday, 10 a.m. to 8 p.m. Sunday, 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. Free admission, free parking, free delivery. Linwood Event Center. Call 833-SPA-SALE or visit hottubandSwimSpaSale.com.
No two people learn the exact same way. So how did Babbel become the award-winning language learning app? We thought of you, all of you. Take Sierra. As a visual learner, she uses Babbel's wordplay videos.
Today I'll share a quick lesson on shopping in French.
Merci beaucoup. Keith is a be in the room with real people kind of learner, so he loves the live online classes with our language experts.
Okay, class. Vos está pronto.
Estamos prontos.
However you learn, Babbel makes it easy. Try Babbel for free at Babbel.com. BABBEL.com.
Do you find yourself stuck in a timeshare? Get the real facts about the timeshare industry and your options for cancellation. Chuck McDowell, founder of Wesley Financial Group, has put together a free information guide that reveals the secrets the timeshare industry doesn't want you to know, including the 5 ways to get rid of your timeshare. Call now and get this timeshare cancellation guide absolutely free.
Call 800-838-6161. That's 800-838-6161. 800-838-6161.
Are you putting off your new kitchen plans? Why wait? Hi, Chad Cicchini, owner of Heritage Homecraft. Call today for a free in-home estimate. Years of experience, thousands of happy customers. Heritage Homecraft, 425-485-1600 or heritagehomecraft.com.
No two people learn the exact same way. So how did Babbel become the award-winning language learning app? We thought of you, all of you. Take Sierra. As a visual learner, she uses Babbel's wordplay videos.
Today I'll share a quick lesson on shopping in French.
Merci beaucoup. Keith is a be in the room with real people kind of learner, so he loves the live online classes with our language experts.
Okay, class. Vos está pronto.
Estamos prontos.
However you learn, Babbel makes it easy. Try Babbel for free at Babbel.com. BABBEL.com.
Why choose a Sleep Number smart bed?
Can I make my side softer?
Can I make my side firmer? Can we sleep cooler? Sleep Number does that. Cools up to 8 times faster and lets you choose your ideal comfort on either side. Your Sleep Number setting. And now it's our lowest price of the season on our top-selling i8 smart bed. Your best savings, plus free home delivery with an adjustable base. Exclusively at a Sleep Number store near you. All Sleep Number smart beds offer temperature solutions for your best sleep. Learn more at sleepnumber.com.
Wesley is a truck driver.
I drive a truck, and I love what I do.
A truck driver with IRS troubles.
They told me I owed them $43,000.
It got really bad.
Quite a few letters in the mail. They were talking about wage garnishment, coming after my house, my car. Yeah, they don't play around. I seriously thought that I was going to lose everything.
One sleepless night, Wesley finally made a call to Optima Tax Relief at 2 a.m.
Kind of figured I'd get a machine, but I didn't. I actually got to talk to an actual person in the middle of the night.
He found just what he was looking for.
Oh, they were great people. You need a team of people that know what they're doing. Optima Tax. They know what they're doing.
Optima Tax Relief came through with flying colors.
I saved an incredible amount of money. Happy don't even come close. I was absolutely overjoyed.
Take Wesley's advice.
If you're in any kind of trouble with the IRS, call Optima Tax Relief. Don't trust anybody else.
Call Optima for a free consultation. Call 800-343-6460. 800-343-6460. 800-343-6460.
Optima Tax Relief.
Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
Hey guys, ready to feel stronger, leaner, energetic, and more confident? For a limited time, Revive Men's Health offers 25% off TRT and ED bundles. Plus, get a free month of compounded semaglutide, a powerful proven weight loss medication with the same active drug as Ozempic. Terms and exclusions apply. Don't wait. This offer won't last.
Call 206-529-1111. That's 206-529-1111. Or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com.
I started Davis Law Group in 1994 to fight for the underdog. And as our team has grown, we've stayed true to that mission. Today, Davis Law Group is known for providing excellent service and even better results. Visit WashingtonAccidentBooks.com to get your free book on car accident law.
Let's go! This is Seattle Sports.
Streaming through the Seattle Sports app.
KIRO AM Seattle. KIRO FM HD2 Tacoma. Home of the Seahawks, Mariners, and everything Seattle sports. Seattle Sports Snapshot.
The 2025 Sugar Bowl was postponed yesterday after a terrorist attack in New Orleans left 15 people dead. The attack occurred shortly after 3 a.m. Eastern on Bourbon Street when a suspect, later killed by police, drove his truck through a crowd celebrating New Year's Eve. A former Princeton football player is among the victims. Notre Dame and Georgia players who were sheltered in place at their hotels yesterday will face off in the rescheduled Sugar Bowl game today at 1 p.m. Pacific. We'll air that live right here on Seattle Sports.
Snapshot, brought to you by Miller Lite. When it's game time, it's Miller time. from the Quantum Fiber Studio
This is Bump and Stacy
on Seattle Sports.
Streaming through the Seattle Sports app and at seattlesports.com.
Now, here are your hosts, Michael Bumpus and Stacy Ross.
Here we go now. One of the most popular questions that you, Bump, and I have gotten over this week ahead of Seahawks-Rams has been whether or not the Seahawks should start Sam Howell, and if they won't start him, whether or not they'll play him for an extended period of time on Sunday. You got to figure out what you got in your quarterback room. You have nothing really to play for except for Mike Macdonald, 10 wins, and obviously for all of these players, incentives and pride and just competition. But you're not playing for playoff positioning, so should you experiment with playing time with certain guys? Mike Macdonald in cut number 2 was asked whether or not the team will give Howell playing time.
Sam Howell going to get some time, see what you got from him?
That's not the plan, no.
That was quick.
Simple. Right to the point.
Right to the point.
That's not the plan. So what does that mean? That means, one, he's trying to get to 10 wins. He wants to finish on a high note. I don't care what the Rams are doing with their starters, who's playing, who's not playing. We're going to go out there and we're going to prepare to win the game with our starters. There's nothing else after this. I understand people that want to see Sam Howell. I'm intrigued as well. I'd want to see him out there and just see what he can do. But this is the mentality of a guy who plays to win. We are not going to sit back and experiment and try guys out here and see what they're capable of doing. The guys that we trust throughout the week during practice and the guys that we've trusted every Sunday, Thursday, or Monday, or whenever they play are the guys that we're going to finish the season with. Not mad at that answer at all, but I'm not going to lie. I do want to see Sam Howell for a little bit and see what he can do.
I also want to see him. And I would be remiss if I didn't mention that a big part of the conversations we've been having this year about quarterbacks are what if we're wrong, right?
Yeah.
What are we talking about when we talk about the Minnesota Vikings? Are we talking about Brian Flores' defense? Not nearly as much as we should be. But one thing that most people are talking about is Sam Darnold. How did we miss? Is this a fluke? Were we all wrong about Sam Darnold? The same thing with Baker Mayfield in Tampa Bay, though not nearly as strong a team or a contender. But still, the idea of what if we're wrong when we write off these quarterbacks early? I should then fairly be able to apply that same conversation to Sam Howell. What if I'm wrong about Sam Howell?
Yeah.
What if we're wrong? What if the Seahawks are wrong not starting Sam Howell? What if Washington was wrong in trading Sam Howell? All of these are fair questions if we're going to be having them sincerely about other players. The only thing I'll say is I'm less willing to question whether I'm wrong when people who know more about football than me are confident. So, what I mean by that is this. I see the argument a lot that, well, the Seahawks brought in Russell Wilson and he was the backup and then he won that job. Russell Wilson's talent was so obvious and apparent to coaches and evaluators in the front office during training camp and the preseason that he won that job.
Yep.
I think that there is a world where Sam Howell's ability becomes apparent when he's thrown in with starters in a game, but it has very clearly not become apparent during any other situation. Because Mike Macdonald doesn't have any ties to Sam Howell. He didn't pay Sam Howell. He didn't trade for Sam Howell. He didn't draft Sam Howell. He doesn't care if Geno Smith fails or succeeds other than whether or not it results in a win for him. He owes nothing to these quarterbacks. He has no ties to these quarterbacks. His future is not linked to these quarterbacks. If I was Mike Macdonald, I am without fail going with the guy that I truly believe helps me win. He's clearly determined that even with the interceptions, that's Geno.
These guys spend time with him. They're in this beautiful facility we call Virginia Mason Athletic Center. Every single day, they're watching film. These guys are hitting the weights. Coaches out there hitting weights with them. They're doing the walkthroughs. They're at practice. They're going through the traditional practice, the individual drills, the 7-on-7, the 9-on-7, the team, the red zone. They're processing information. They're constantly evaluating these players. So we have our opinions, but they're based off of fact. This is what we think of this player. This is why he is or he isn't playing. Because you and I or the listeners don't have the day-to-day, you got to trust the evaluation of the coaches. Some listeners, and this is your prerogative, it's up to you if you feel this way, some don't trust it. Some don't. Me personally, I do. I'm like, man, look, I think they tried a bunch of combinations on the offensive line. I think they've experimented with the running back position, partly out of necessity because of guys being banged up.
But a willingness to do it.
Willingness to do it. I think they've experimented at the linebacker spot. I think they've experimented at the safety spot based off of injury and because of performance. And performance not just on Sundays, but performance Monday through Friday. So I'm going to roll with it. Again, I would want to see him. I think that if this game gets out of hand because the Rams seem to be playing their backups and you're up 3 scores, 4 scores, hopefully I love to see that. And the end of the third rolls around and Sam Howell trots out there. It gives me something else to look at. Yeah. I'll watch the game with different type of eyes, and that would excite me a bit because then I get to get a real evaluation of Sam Howell.
This is a bonkers text. 360, who cares about 10 wins at this point? You got to play him so he gets a little more ready for next year. That's assuming Sam Howell is your starter for next year. I think they should draft a quarterback and see what happens. I don't think Sam's going to
be the starter next year.
Then the 360 says, going for another win is selfish for the coach.
Why? You play to win. This isn't preseason. You're not experimenting right now.
Why would trying to win ever, unless it's something like your organization's in line for the #1 overall pick and you're just trying to prove a point and be petty because you know you're about to be fired as a coach, so you get a win. Like I can see a world where you can make a case that getting a win in a competitive sport is selfish. I do not see that case here. How is it selfish to get a win? How is it selfish to beat the team that not only bests you more often than not, but knocked you out of the playoffs? Mm-hmm. Why is that selfish?
I don't think people understand, too, what morale can do for an offseason. Going into the offseason, you beat the Rams, you've worked on some things, you're feeling good about yourself, and it also gives these coaches opportunities to try some things. Like I said yesterday or the day before, I hope Grubb comes out and does some things he's never done before because you got nothing to lose at this point. It would hurt everything that they built this year if they were to go out there and just throw in the towel and say, whatever, it doesn't matter. Wins matter. Even if you're not going into the playoffs, it matters for team morale. There's coaches who are going to be evaluated during this situation as well. I could never get behind not going out there when there are referees and people watching and not trying to win a ball game. Yeah. Unless it's the preseason that's when you're trying things and evaluating these 2s and 3s.
I just think I, out of curiosity, want to know what Sam Howell looks like. Just like I, out of curiosity, would like for them to draft a quarterback and just kind of see what that competition looks like. Mm-hmm. I didn't draft Geno. I didn't pay Geno. I'm not Geno's agent. I think Geno's the best quarterback in their quarterback room, and so I can bristle a little bit during arguments about it. Mm-hmm. But no one owes any of these quarterbacks anything, so I can understand the feeling of being like, well, I kind of want to see what happens. There is a storied history here of quarterbacks surprising people, most especially, obviously, Russell Wilson, a 3rd-round pick coming in and surprising everyone. Yeah. With that kind of history here in Seattle, there's a natural inclination for Seattle fans to go, well, what do you got in that guy? Yeah. What about that guy? Why not him? Mm-hmm. I cannot tie that logic to the idea that winning a game is selfish or that not starting Sam Howell is selfish.
I can guarantee you that, say the Hawks were to lose this game, when they step up to the podium afterwards, it's going to feel like they lost this game. It's not going to be like, oh, who cares? We lost the game. We're not going to the playoffs. It's going to feel like they lost this game. Mm-hmm. If they win this game, they're going to step up, yes, and you're going to feel like they won this game. I think that sometimes people disconnect the human aspect to football players and just think that they're just football players. Nah, these dudes are fighting for their careers. They want to win. They want to compete. Coaches want to win and compete. It doesn't matter. So, again, I can try and understand where a fan would be coming from with that statement, but I just completely and utterly do not agree with it. And I can guarantee you Mike McDonald and his staff are preparing to win this game like they've done every game this year.
And now we're getting into a conversation about tanking for a little bit, which I'm fine with before we get back to these Mike McDonald cuts because we have time. I'm glad that you mentioned that sometimes we just fundamentally forget that a locker room is a living, breathing thing subject to change because it is filled with people. And even though everyone's a professional, everyone can be influenced by winning and losing. So when we had Steve Weish on the other day, he talked about going to that New England game, and he was like, you guys don't want, no one wants any part of a culture of a 2-win team or a 3-win team, or God forbid a 1-win team or a winless team. You might like the idea of having the number 1, 2, 3, 4 overall pick, but then you have to dig yourself out. And that becomes so exceptionally difficult when every single person in that organization is turning around, looking at the man to the left, man to the right, looking at the head coach thinking, should you be here? Are you the right guy to do this? Like, I think that the Lions are this recent example of a team that brought in a new head coach, a new GM, and really still continued to struggle their first year, but then racked up these high picks, built up a great roster, and we go, see, that's how easy it is. But think of how many organizations we have seen, Cleveland, one of them, Jacksonville, one of them, who have not only had back-to-back first overall picks, but who regularly pick in the top 10 and don't do anything with it because they can't build culture because there's culture rot.
I like
That's
that.
what comes with
I like
losing.
that culture rot. I like that. I think of just termites and stuff. You don't want no termites.
You don't want that.
Jacking your stuff up. Yeah, it's deeper than just winning this game. It's setting the tone for the offseason. It's guys competing for their jobs. There are incentives and contracts that could be met. There's just the pride of being a competitor and going out there and giving your best. It's deeper than just wins and losses, even though winning feels good no matter what situation you're in.
Yeah. All right, let's get to a little bit more sound here. Ernest Jones, a big contract extension. The Seahawks are going to be looking to make cut 3 on what he had to say about playing in Seattle.
Yeah, I think words and all of that is kind of the same. Everything's going that way. Coaches, like me here, I love it here. I would love to be here. But as far as like extension or free agency, I'm kind of just letting my agent handle it, letting the organization handle it, and hopefully, we get something done so I can be around.
I would love for them to get something done. Where would you rank extending Ernest Jones on your list of off-season priorities? And I don't mean to jump prematurely to the off-season.
Yeah.
We're going to have a 1-hour preview today for Sunday's game. But while we're on the topic.
It's number 1 or 2.
Yeah.
You got to figure out what's happening with Geno. And there's no denying the shift that happened once Ernest Jones became the guy. When him and Tyrese Knight took over, Ernest Jones did play a game or two with Dotson, and he was still learning the defense, relying on Dotson for the calls, didn't have the green dot. Once he took over and he understood what was going on, it's not just him, but this defense took a step forward. The defensive line was playing great. Obviously, Tyrese Knight. It's always going to take a team for either side of the ball to have a turnaround. But the intensity, the leadership, the want to, the playmaking ability, it's all there. And when Ernest Jones came over here and took over, it felt different out there.
All right, let's get to a little more Mike McDonald sound. Let's see. We'll go back to cut number 1 here. He was asked kind of, hey, what's going through your mind in terms of who you play and why as you enter this game, cut 1?
I mean, I guess it's one of those things where you're probably going to look. I mean, there's financial things involved with it, which you want your guys to hit those numbers. I mean, you're always, if it's within your power, you're going to try to make that come to life and create as many opportunities for those guys as possible. All within the lens of what's best for the team and trying to win. And might have a couple ongoing jokes with a couple of the guys on some of those things, but they're going to be great. I mean, they're approaching it the right way, but yeah, you're working together with that. That's definitely something that you want to help the guys with.
This is kind of one of those unspoken things that every single head coach, if you're a good head coach, is doing too. Trying to make sure who's got some records to set, who's got financial incentives to hit. Like when we are navigating this final game, how do I put every one of my men in the best position to succeed?
Yeah, I wonder what the process is. Is he sitting down with his numbers guy and saying, look, all right, well, Geno is 100 yards from this and DK is 50 yards from that? And how does that affect the way that one calls a game? I've coached high school football. There was a game where I knew one of my players was like 8 catches off from breaking a school record. Man, I fed that kid. I'm like, listen, we're going to start you off with 3 screens, okay? You're going to run a hitch early. And then obviously you play to win the game, but you're conscious of it. And I think that's what and that's on a high school level where you ain't getting paid. You're just getting your name on a plaque in the hallway somewhere. Yep. So I would imagine that they're aware of this, and they want their guys to eat, man. You got to make sure, I run a business, man, and you got to make sure everybody's fed. If everybody ain't fed, you're going to lose guys. They're going to turn against you. I'm not saying turning against them what happened here, but when you're,
as a human
you're
nature
dealing with
kind
a pack of people, you got to make sure everybody's fed, everybody feels seen, and that you acknowledge that. So I would expect them to try to hit some incentives.
Now, in this case, we're talking about a head coach making sure guys hit contract incentives. What about a head coach making sure his guy can set an NFL record? We're going to talk about Nick Sirianni's decision to bench Saquon Barkley coming up in 15 minutes. Right now, let's get to 4 Down Territory.
This is 4 down territory, going inside the game with former Seahawks and Coug wide receiver Michael Bumpus.
First down, what impressed you most from the Ohio State-Oregon game?
Man, I'm watching that all 22, and Ohio State was prepared. Defensively, it seemed like they were able to anticipate route combinations. Linebacker play was great. They're rallying to the football. Defensive line play was great. And they neutralized what Oregon does the best, which is the run after the catch, right? The big plays in the run game. And they were so sticky on the back end. It was almost like they knew what was coming. It was almost like they had an extra couple of weeks. You know what I bet happened is that going into that first week, this is what some staffs do is that, okay, you're prepping for Tennessee, but you got another part of the staff saying, let's get ready for Oregon right now too. Let's pick them up some tendencies and see what's going on, because that is what it looked like. Defensively, it was impressive, man. They did not look like the team that lost to Michigan a couple weeks before that. They were well coached. They played with intensity, and it didn't seem like the moment was too big for them. I'm looking at some of these route combinations, and the way they're passing off receivers is crazy. Their Mike linebackers dropping into space, taking away the deep cross. When it comes to running the football, the D-line set the edge and kept everything inside. It was one of the best performances I've seen in a long time when it came to a defense on this stage at the Rose Bowl. Oregon, when are y'all gonna win a big game? I know I went to Wazoo, and we ain't won big ones. The big one for us is the Apple Cup, okay? It is what it is. But y'all got all the money, the resources, and the expectations, and every single year feels like you fall short and hurt your fan base. Man, I thought this was the year for Oregon, too.
I felt myself so conflicted with this one. Like, Curtis, I know for the Peach Bowl that you were like, hey, horns up.
Hook 'em, baby.
Hook 'em.
I've always
let's
said
do
hook 'em
this.
horns.
Exactly. But I found myself not necessarily rooting for Oregon. By no means could I bring myself to do that. But more so thinking, God, the powers that be. These schools always win. Ohio State always wins. SEC schools always win. The Big Ten, powers that be always win. And I just was almost wanting like former Pac-12 schools, or in the case of like SMU and Boise State, schools that are slightly smaller, just that someone else do it. And so I found myself conflicted there with Oregon, Ohio State. Like, I wasn't sad to see Oregon lose. I don't want Oregon to get a national championship when my Dogs didn't do it last year. But I also found myself kind of being like, I can't bring myself to root fundamentally for Ohio State. I just can't.
Right, yeah. There's not a whole lot of lovable teams left in this college football playoff. It's Penn State, Texas, Ohio State, and then Georgia or Notre Dame. I mean, all of those programs are nationwide.
Yeah. What's next? Let's see. Second down. Who would have been in the hunt for college football playoff MVP, and who's your leader to win the award entering the semis?
If Scatterboo would have pulled that off for Arizona State, he was going to be my favorite to win the MVP. Obviously, you got to get to the final. You got to win that game to get that award. But I was so impressed with Scatterboo. I knew about him, obviously, during the season with the coverage that I do for college football. But he got better and better and better. And it was impressive to see him. But there's a true freshman out there, Jeremiah Smith, receiver for Ohio State. Goodness gracious, praise that young man. 6'3", 215 pounds as a freshman. He's thick. He's like I'm a junior, senior type thick. Look at the quads and the glutes on that young man. 7 catches, 187 yards, 2 touchdowns. The week before, he had a 103, 2 touchdowns. He seemed like he was the 7th-year senior who just knows the game. I'm bigger, faster, and stronger than y'all. Nah, my dude's like 18 years old. If Ohio State continues to win and go on to win a national championship, this guy's clearly going to get it. I heard Dan Orlovsky say this morning that if he were draft eligible, he'd be the first pick in the draft as a receiver, which is hard to do. He's impressive. Jeremiah Smith is going to be the best football player on the field as long as they keep playing. But I got to go Scatterboo as well, man. It's sad to see him go, but my man made himself a lot of money and put Arizona State on the map. That was fun.
Third down. We were just talking about Tyler Lockett earlier in the show, and I got this interesting text from a listener. They said, hey, I think Ty Lock's hella good. Geno just can't throw pinpoint accurate passes that Tyler can pull down. What do you think, then, of the idea that Tyler Lockett's underwhelming season is also because of question marks or issues at quarterback?
I think that Geno's not perfect, and he doesn't throw perfect passes every single time. I think as a receiver, we got to make tough catches. I tell the guys that I train all the time, make your quarterback look good. But then I was hit with this stat, okay? It was from Hawkmania LLC, and they got it from Seahawks Today. Geno Smith in 2024 has the lowest bath throw percentage at 10.6, highest on-target throws at 82.2%, all while being on a team with the third lowest rushing yards, third lowest play action attempts, third most pass attempts, fifth most pressures allowed. Just wrap your head around that. A lot of people either lean on statistics or they just lean on the eye test on Sundays. Let's bridge it. Let's bring it all together now, okay? The statistics say that Geno is one of the most accurate quarterbacks out there, and he's not getting a lot of help. Hence, third lowest in rushing yards, third lowest in play action attempts. Yet, he is still, and he has the most attempts in the game. The most attempts in the game. Turnovers are a problem. We've talked about that extensively this year. But you match those numbers up, and then what do you see? Unfortunately, a lot of people don't have access to the all-22, so all they see is just the box, right? You see the quarterback and the lineman, and you're guessing what's going on downfield. Teams know that he's going to throw the football, and they're dropping guys into coverage and saying, all right, beat us this way, you're not going to run it, and yet he's still able to make plays. Has some flaws in his game. Red zone has to get better and has thrown some interceptions. But I hope this gives somebody who was on the I hate Geno train just a different perspective. Like, he is doing what he's doing in a situation that's not conducive for a quarterback to have some of the success that he's having.
Fourth down. What kind of game do you want to see Sunday?
Stacy, who's the backup for the Rams at quarterback?
Stetson Bennett.
Jimmy Garoppolo.
Oh, he's the third guy.
Stetson after that.
Yeah.
Who's the backup at running back? Ronnie Rivers, bet you know him.
Yeah.
Who's backup receivers? Tutu Atwell, we know him because he was drafted
yeah.
at the same time. Who do we pick up?
Dieskridge.
Dieskridge. Another backup receiver, Jordan Whittingham. Another backup receiver, Tyler Johnson. Backup tight end, Colby Parkinson. We know that name.
Yeah.
No disrespect to these guys, but you're backups for a reason. So our defense that has been playing so good the last, second half of the season,
going.
I need to see them just dominate. I want to see them just beat up on these fools and have the offense get the football with their swag and go down the field and be up 3 scores in the fourth so we can all cheer Sam Howell onto the football field and watch him do his thing. I want to see old school, we better than you type football if the Rams do not play their starters.
Also, like, it'll just feel good. Like, for that listener earlier who texted in, like, selfish for the coach to win. I can promise you this person will be cheering touchdowns. I can promise you this person would be angry with a loss. You're telling me if a Rams team full of backups beat the Seahawks, you wouldn't be complaining on Monday? You wouldn't be texting us going, this team's cooked. What is this team doing? No, wins always feel good. They always make you feel better.
Heck yeah.
Somewhere there are Giants fans who lost out on a #1 overall pick and are like, let's go Giants. I mean, they're insane, but, you know, to each their own.
Come on.
All right. Coming up next, we know Nick Sirianni is going to rest Saquon Barkley 101 yards short of Eric Dickerson's record. What I want to know is what Saquon thinks about it. That's next.
The Mike McDonald Show, the first word from the head coach after every Seahawks game.
We subscribe to it's a team pass rush mentality. So it's all 11 guys working together. We've also talked about our pass rush mentality is not, like, Leo is a phenomenal player, but it's not built around Leo. We're not going to just set everything up so he has the one-on-one. Now, there's going to be times where you're going to do that for sure. When you can see the productivity kind of spread out where people get stats in each level, so I think that's pretty awesome.
Don't miss the Mike McDonald Show the morning after the Hawks game at 9:30 on Seattle Sports.
Febreze. So my home is also my office. And before I can focus, every room's gotta be clean. That means tidying up, then spraying my Febreze Air Mist. Ooh, that's fresh. Febreze Air Mist scents are all high quality. They fight any weird funk, and they give my air an instant boost of freshness. So not only does my home smell good, I feel good too. After I Febreze, it's time to start my day.
Breathe happy, Febreze, la 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 la. No two people learn the exact same way. So how did Babbel become the award-winning language learning app? We thought of you, all of you. Take Sierra. As a visual learner, she uses Babbel's wordplay videos.
Today I'll share a quick lesson on shopping in French.
Merci beaucoup. Keith is a be in the room with real people kind of learner, so he loves the live online classes with our language experts.
Okay, class. ¿Vos está pronto?
Estamos prontos.
However you learn, Babbel makes it easy. Try Babbel for free at Babbel.com, Babbel.com.
Hi, Justin Shirley, CEO of State Roofing and Exteriors. For over 55 years, you've trusted us for roofing, siding, windows, decking, and gutters. Call 866-ROOF-ROOF or visit stateroofing.com today to schedule a free estimate. State Roofing and Exteriors.
Emerald Queen Casino, the entertainment capital of the Northwest. The best place to watch all your favorite sports. Featuring wall-to-wall viewing screens, 6 windows, and 30 kiosks. Be there at emeraldqueen.com. Emerald Queen Casino, the entertainment capital of the Northwest.
This is Chris Davis with the Davis Law Group. Did you know that a pedestrian does not have to be crossing the street on a marked crosswalk to have a successful legal claim against the driver? Pedestrians can even be partially at fault for a collision and still have a valuable claim. Call us today for a free consultation or get my free book on pedestrian accident law at WashingtonAccidentBooks.com. That's Davis Law Group, better service and even better results.
What's your holiday tradition? Now, if you're like me, it involves gathering around a big meal to celebrate. Well, what if there's no food on the table? Hey, it's G. Scott. This year, help someone less fortunate celebrate the holidays by supporting Nourishing Neighbors. The Nourishing Neighbors program provides grocery cards to the people who are the most impacted by food insecurity. So make a donation next time that you're at Safeway and help make sure everyone is welcome at the table for the holidays. Go to nourishingneighbors.com to learn more.
1-877 Cards for Kids. KARS Cards for Kids. 1-877 Cards for Kids. Donate your card today.
1-877 Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids. 1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Donate your car today at carsforkids.org. That's cars with a K. Your car, running or not, can be picked up as soon as the next day. You'll get a maximum tax deduction and a vacation voucher.
1-877 Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids. 1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Now accepting donations of land, homes, buildings, or any kind of real estate.
4 down territory. Going inside the game with Michael Bumpus.
I like this. More quarterbacks should start doing this.
Every day at 11:15 and 1:15 on Bump and Stacy. Seahawks Insider. Brought to you by Pacific Lamp and Supply. Now here's Maura Dooley.
Leonard Williams did not make the Pro Bowl as a starter, despite having more tackles and quarterback hits than any of the other NFC interior defensive linemen that made it. And he has more sacks than all of them except Dexter Lawrence of the Giants, who's tied with Williams at 9. He will be an alternate, but Pro Bowl or not, Mike McDonald spoke about Leonard Williams' importance to this team yesterday.
Well, I think it transcends just the defensive line room. I mean, he's one of the leaders on our football team, and I think he's really grown in that role throughout the year. He's really embraced it and has taken on that as a challenge as well as stepping his game to another level. And I just think when you get to know him, I mean, he's a guy that loves his teammates and works incredibly hard and has a great attitude every day. And he's an easy guy to follow.
The Seahawks Insider is brought to you by Pacific Lamp and Supply. For the latest on the Seahawks anytime, go to seattlesports.com.
Be advised, this is your opportunity to save up to 40 to 80% on a hot tub or swim spa. This weekend only, Friday through Sunday, Linwood Event Center. Be advised, this is your opportunity to save up to 40 to 80% on a hot tub or swim spa. This weekend only, Friday through Sunday, Linwood Event Center. 18-month interest-free financing. Our factories have demanded we sell 1,000 hot tubs and swim spas this weekend. Linwood Event Center. Huge factory incentives, factory rebates, this weekend only. Linwood Event Center. We can remove your old hot tub. Free delivery of your new hot tub. Hot tub starting at $2,999. Linwood Event Center. Free delivery of your new hot tub. Just relax and enjoy. Linwood Event Center. Friday, 2 p.m. to 8 p.m. Saturday, 10 a.m. to 8 p.m. Sunday, 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. Free admission, free parking, free delivery. Linwood Event Center. Call 833-SPA-SALE or visit hottubandSwimSpaSale.com.
My wife and I always loved doing everything together. Jiu-jitsu, kayaking, and intimacy was always on point. It was around my early 30s when I noticed a downward trend. Watching a lot of TV, putting on weight, and just full of self-doubt. I had tried another men's clinic with disappointing results. It's the personalized treatment I receive at Revive Men's Health that has been the complete game changer for me. I've got my energy and motivation back. I'm feeling stronger than I did in my 20s, and it made me a much better husband to my wife.
This is Dr. Andrew Allshouse of Revive Men's Health. If you're always feeling tired or moody, or your sleep is poor, you have low libido, you may be suffering from low testosterone.
Book your free T-check and exam. Call Revive Men's Health Seattle at 206-529-1111. That's 206-529-1111. Or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com.
This is The Timeline
with Bump and Stacy.
Brought to you by 1-800-DUI-OA.
Stacy's having some mic issues. We'll get her right. I'll do my Stacy. This is The Timeline here on Bump and Stacy.
Not what I sound like. There we go. I had the wrong headset. Oh, no. Okay. God, there's 4 in here,
Get a
okay?
new laptop and just
I got
lose
so
your
distracted.
Stuff.
Okay. It is the time. Curtis is probably, God. Sorry, Curtis.
I thought Bump's impression was spot on.
No, that's not what I sound like. No, I put on the wrong headset.
Everybody.
Now I sound normal. Hi, everyone.
Hey,
It's
sports
time
fans.
for The Timeline. I want to remind you all to get your questions in for What I Need to Know, which is 2 hours early today because it is the huddle. 866-979-3776. Get those questions in for that segment coming up next right now. Saquon Barkley will not get a chance to break Eric Dickerson's single-season rushing record on Sunday. He's 101 yards short because Eagles head coach Nick Sirianni has decided to rest the team's starters ahead of the playoffs. Cut 4. Here's what the head coach said.
We're going to rest some guys. I know we're locked into that number 2 seed, so we're gonna rest some guys. There's going to be some guys that are resting. There are going to be some guys that are in reserve roles. You can't obviously rest everybody with the schedule. With the roster. And so, yeah, that's our plan moving in here forward.
Is Saquon going to be one of them?
Yeah, he'll probably be somebody that rests.
Probably. Saquon in Cut 5 was asked what he feels about the decision.
I mean, he asked me if I wanted to play, if I want to go for it. I said on Sunday, I probably didn't care too much for it. When I slept on it, it was an opportunity to implant my name in football history. May never get another opportunity like that again. So I'm down, but at the end of the day, I don't care for putting the team at risk. He's the head coach for a reason. He makes those decisions, and whatever decision he wanted to make, I let him know if you want me to play, I'm going to go out there and make sure I get it. And if we don't, I'm okay with that too.
I saw some random report of Saquon and his family, are they upset over the decision? Bump, Saquon doesn't sound like a player especially upset over this decision.
He's trying to win a championship.
Yeah.
Selfishly, I want to see him go get that record.
Mm-hmm.
Eric Dickerson is cool now. He can relax, 40
Eric's
years.
probably great decision.
And counting. But no, this is the smart decision. You rest your guys. If they don't have to play, everything is locked in where you're going to be the 2 seed or something, regardless of what happens. Yeah, you rest them. You make sure they're ready to go. This is the right decision. The fan in me wanted to see the record be broken. I love when records are broken, except when they're mine. Mm-hmm. And, yeah, this is what you're supposed to do.
Tell me what you thought of this take. Very related to what you just said. It's interesting. You said selfishly as a fan, I want to see the record broken. I saw someone tweet out, and I'm sorry I can't look up and find them and credit them for this, but I'm summarizing their point. I saw someone tweet out the problem with sports now, that this is the problem because everyone's so singularly focused on winning a championship that we've stopped caring about all these other things. And I read it and I immediately thought, isn't that what we've always only cared about? You set the record on the way to doing it.
Yeah.
But ultimately, the goal
is
always
to hoist the trophy.
Is to win.
To get them rings. That's the ultimate goal, especially in a team sport like football where it's so hard to do it. No, I mean, it's different with baseball. Baseball, you're not going to sit a guy before the playoffs when he's 5 stolen bases away from breaking a record, or he's 2 bombs away from breaking a record, because you don't have to worry about getting hurt like that. In football, you will end your career, end your season, be out the majority of next season just by one false move. And there's no denying Saquon Barkley is the centerpiece of this Philadelphia offense. Yes, you got AJ, you got Devontae, you got Jalen Hurts. They've never looked like this before.
No.
Why do they look like this? Because of Saquon Barkley.
Yeah. It's also interesting because while I'm speaking for him, I'm not friends with Tom Brady. That idea of, accolades and records, why don't they mean as much as championships? Bump, I would bet that if you asked Tom Brady, hey, would you give up all your league MVP awards to take back Super Bowl 52 and beat the Eagles instead? He'd say yes.
Yeah.
Take every MVP I've ever gotten. I want that one win back.
Exactly.
And I want to add one more Super Bowl ring.
Yeah, all the individual accolades are a pat on the back, and it allows you to be somewhat of immortal, but you want to win championships.
Yeah. Next story in the timeline, Aaron Rodgers acknowledged that Sunday could be his last NFL game, cut 6.
Have you thought at all, Aaron, about if this is your last game or could be your last game?
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
And what are your, when you reflect on that at all, what goes through your mind?
Just a lot of gratitude for the last 20 years and the many countless lives I've encountered and amazing teammates and coaches I now call friends. Experiences I've had, memories, a lot of great memories, a lot of great people impacted my life. Ones that know it, ones that might not even know it, by just side comments or putting an arm around me at the right time. But not just those 20 years, I had great college coaches at Cal and junior college and high school coaches. And, this game has given me a lot. I've given a lot back to it, and I'm thankful for it. I'm not thinking, I won't be thinking about that come game day. I'll just be enjoying this. I'm trying to stay in the moment. But, of course, it's been a long career. I'm really proud of what I've been able to be a part of, what I've been able to accomplish, and also looking forward to a nice mental and physical rest.
I wouldn't be shocked at all if this is Aaron Rodgers' last game, in which case it is a bummer, going out on a bad Jets team when you've had a bad season, coming back from injury, hoping you could turn it around. Because I remember loving Aaron Rodgers. I used to be the person making cases that Aaron Rodgers was better than Tom Brady when I was younger. It was just, like fighting uphill battles. But I'm sure I've made fun of him a million times, but he used to be one of my favorite players, and this may be the last time we see him suit up.
He sounds exhausted. It's been a long run, and you might not agree with the way he chooses to lead or the lack of leadership, the way he communicates with the media, but the reality is he's played this game for 21 years, and the mental and physical challenges every single year to get going again and get back into the mix is tough. And now he's coming off of his worst season as a pro. As a man, you start looking in the mirror and questioning, can I even do this anymore? I had talent. I had them get rid of the coach. I had the GM fired. I tried everything, but it's just not working for me. So he sounds exhausted, but there's something that happens around February, March, April. As a football player, you start to be like, oh, man, I might be able to do this again. I might want to give this a go. So because he is one of the greatest of all time, he can take as much time as he wants. As long as the Jets are willing to wait to kind of figure things out, you take your time, you've earned it.
Last story here, and a sign of growth and maturity. ESPN's Paul Finebaum admitted he was wrong. What? About wanting Alabama in the college football playoff. This was after their loss to Michigan, cut number 7.
Well, Greeny, I led the Alabama parade to get them into the playoffs. You know that. I stood on every building, especially on this show. And on the first day of the new year, I'm surrendering. I am waving the white flag. Forget Alabama. I'm going. Count me out.
Oh, Paul, with one of those hotel towels.
I never thought I'd see the day. Never thought I'd see the day that Paul Finebaum would go, okay, maybe Bama doesn't deserve to be in it.
He ain't got no choice. Just lost to Michigan. We're acting he's all noble and stuff. No, you had no choice, Paul. It's okay. I commend you for going out there and saying what everybody already knew. And you have to, because if he doesn't, he loses his credibility. Now wait on Kirk Herbstreit to see what he's going to do. It's a tough position to be in because you have to make takes. You have to put yourself out there, and that's what those two men did. And that's part of the job. So I pat them on the back, but I also say, yeah, you're supposed to do that. But there's a certain stubbornness that they had with it that I think just irked people.
Yeah,
just the
rightfully
way they
so.
said it. It was their presentation of it. Like they're holier than thou. How dare you not have Bama in? And then what does Bama do? Look like what everyone else thought they were going to look like. Just not a team that's ready to be in the college football playoff. So I guess good for you, Paul Finebaum, for doing it. But you didn't even have to do it because we all knew that you were wrong.
Well, and it's also telling that it took exactly this loss instead of Alabama's overall record and their performance against teams they should have beaten, including teams in which they were favored by like more than 2 touchdowns, Vanderbilt, Oklahoma, because like imagine if SMU would have lost and then Bama clobbers Michigan, an unranked Michigan team. It wouldn't have mattered. They still would have been like, see?
Yep. Just same energy.
Different.
Same energy.
Yeah.
SMU, Boise State, Alabama. Okay, same energy for all of them. It was a fun story. Good for you, Paul Finebaum, for doing what you're supposed to do.
Get your questions into the Mac and Jack's text line for what I need to know. Any question, text it now. 866-979-3776.
The ball is intercepted. It's rolling. And the Seahawks are going to win this ball game.
This Sunday, the Seahawks take the field for their final game of the season.
Williams going to get hit. He goes down. Shannon Owosu.
Coach McDonald wraps up his first year with a winning record, bringing excitement and hope for the future.
Trick toss near side is Swift. Gets hit in the backfield and drops. Guess who? Witherspoon.
Seahawks, Rams. Kickoff 1:25 at SoFi Stadium. Pre-game starting at 10 on your home for the Hawks, Seattle Sports.
Emerald Queen Casino, the entertainment capital of the Northwest. The best place to watch all your favorite sports. Featuring wall-to-wall viewing screens, 6 windows, and 30 kiosks. Be there at emeraldqueen.com. Emerald Queen Casino, the entertainment capital of the Northwest.
No two people learn the exact same way. So how did Babbel become the award-winning language learning app? We thought of you. All of you. Take Sierra. As a visual learner, she uses Babbel's wordplay videos.
Today I'll share a quick lesson on shopping in French.
Merci beaucoup. Keith is a be in the room with real people kind of learner, so he loves the live online classes with our language experts.
Okay, class. Vos está pronto.
Estamos prontos.
However you learn, Babbel makes it easy. Try Babbel for free at babbel.com. BABBEL.com.
Getting quality employees to fill positions in your company is essential, but finding those people can be a major hassle unless you use ZipRecruiter. ZipRecruiter makes finding quality people a breeze. ZipRecruiter's advanced technology identifies candidates with the right skills, sends you great matches, then you can easily invite them to apply. 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. See for yourself. Go to ZipRecruiter.com/free to try ZipRecruiter for free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
If you have unfiled taxes or are in debt to the IRS, this is important news. Did you know the IRS has programs specifically designed to help people struggling with tax debt? Powerful tax assistance programs that can save you thousands if you qualify. No one knows these programs better than the experts at Optima Tax Relief, America's most trusted tax resolution firm, A-rated by the Better Business Bureau. Their award-winning team of tax attorneys and licensed professionals have resolved over $1 billion of tax debt for their clients. One call to Optima can start the process, helping to end your worries about wage garnishment, asset seizure, and other IRS actions. Make sure you're getting the best options to solve your tax problems. Call the experts at Optima today for a free confidential consultation.
Call 800-343-6460. 800-343-6460. 800-343-6460.
Optima Tax Relief.
Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
Breast cancer is a tough battle for anyone to fight, but without support, it can be devastating. I'm Dr. Suzette Miranda with Northwest Hope and Healing. We provide a lifeline to breast and gynecologic cancer patients in our community. Help us make a difference by joining us at Cork, Fork, and Support, an afternoon of wine tasting and community on February the 1st at the Hollywood Schoolhouse in Woodinville. Get your tickets now for February the 1st. Go to nwhopeandhealing.org to learn more. That's nwhopeandhealing.org.
Stream every Seattle sports show with the Seattle Sports app. Brought to you by Fred Hutchinson Cancer Center Proton Therapy. Get new videos, podcasts, and articles on the Seahawks and Mariners from your favorite Seattle sports personalities daily.
Is a new kitchen in your plans? Hi, I'm Chad Cicchini, owner of Heritage Homecraft. Our specialty is custom cabinet refacing and quartz countertops. Rather than subcontractors, we have our own team of professional craftsmen who make it easy and comfortable to have the kitchen of your dreams in about a week and save thousands. Have us out and let us show you what a Heritage Homecraft custom refacing project looks like in your home. Give us a call, 425-485-1600, 425-485-1600, or heritagehomecraft.com.
Heading outdoors or on the water this weekend? Check in with Joey and Nelly on the Outdoor Line from 6 to 8 a.m. every Saturday on Seattle Sports and the Seattle Sports app.
You gotta love football season, but when it comes to your windows and doors, you don't want any fumbles. Steve Rabel here, reminding you to trust locally owned Pella Windows and Doors of Western Washington to tackle your project. Their selection of windows and doors can't be beat, and they'll give you top-notch customer service with no trick plays. Schedule a free consultation with Pella Windows and Doors of Western Washington. Go to PellaPNW.com. That's PellaPNW.com.
Now is your time to get into a new DR Horton home by taking advantage of their National Red Tag Sales event going on right now through January 19th. Stop by any of their participating communities and find select Red Tag homes at incredible pricing. So whether you're buying your first home or looking for an upgrade, you don't want to miss the Red Tag Sales event going on right now. Discover the DR Horton difference at drhorton.com. That's drhorton.com. DR Horton, America's builder, an equal housing opportunity builder.
Matt Coker here with West Coast Men's Health. In the past 5 years, we've seen thousands of men at our clinics. Most guys tell us the same story, that in their early 50s, it's not that they couldn't function, they just needed help. They started taking Viagra, and it worked great at first. But after a few years, it stopped working. The problem is that their arteries had become more restricted since they started taking it, because Viagra does not unclog arteries. Here at West Coast Men's Health, we use acoustic wave therapy to target the real problem. We break down plaque and clear up the arteries so blood can flow like it did in your 20s. This restores function. And guys, listen to this. You won't have to take a pill anymore. So if this sounds like you, give West Coast Men's Health a call today and see how we can help.
With clinics in Redmond and Tacoma, call 206-519-6541. That's 206-519-6541. 206-519-6541. Online at westcoastmenshealth.com.
From the Quantum Fiber Studio,
This is Bumpin' Stacy.
weekdays 10 to 2.
On Seattle Sports and 97.3 FM HD2.
I'm concerned for Isaac and Everett. I really am.
Are you?
I'll tell you why. Isaac, loyal listener, always with really good questions for What I Need to Know. It's What I Need to Know. Get your questions, any question into the Mac and Jack text line. Isaac has one of the most famous, people still text in saying, are there updates on this?
Yeah.
Isaac is a listener who has one of the most, the best bits we've ever had. He texted in, this was January, almost a 1-year anniversary of this text.
Dang.
And Isaac a year ago said, hey, what I need to know is what's up with my wife's coworker? She told me her coworker, who's a man, called her up the other day and said he was downtown at a bakery and asked if she'd like anything. I told her that's suspect, but she didn't think so. How say you, Bump and Stace? He said, my wife works from home, by the way, and we live in Everett, obviously, and so he drove from Seattle to Everett with the baked goods to drop them off for her. He just thought it was kind of weird. We thought it was weird, too. Anyways.
That was a year ago?
That was a year ago, and it went on for months where people would be like, what are the updates on this guy? Isaac's got another one.
Oh, gosh.
Isaac said, today, what I need to know is text etiquette. I hit up my boys group chat and I told them if they're bored to text my wife happy birthday. See, we're all buddies. And my bro said, I got you. Her birthday was New Year's Eve. Oh, that's a bad birthday.
Is it?
Yeah, I think so.
People are already
okay,
in
I'll
party
say that.
mode.
I think that today would be a worse birthday than New Year's Eve.
Yeah.
Okay. He said, anyway, my bro sent her a really nice message. He said, well, yesterday he texted me saying his message was left unread. Do I call out my wife or let it go? We have a side wager now going to see if she's going to respond or not. But do you get a pass to just not respond if a nice text has been sent and sitting for a while? I think not.
Man, my significant other is the worst texter in the world.
I am too.
Yes, you are. And my uncle hit her up the other day because she does websites, and he goes, hey, man, I hit up Jen to help me with the website, but I haven't heard anything back yet. I go, hey, it's not personal. She'll get back to you in a few days, probably.
Yeah.
Some people are just bad at texting, and if that's just who she is, then that's who she is. I got a buddy I know. I will text him, and when I hear from him for another week, He's like, hey, what's up? And I go, all right, I just know him. That's who he is. So
Yeah.
Depends on who she is.
I've definitely done that thing where I go to ask someone something or respond to something or ask them about something else, and then I realize I never responded to a text they sent, and I'm like, how do I handle this? I now need to ask them for something, but first I need to, oh my God, yeah, I saw that movie. Anyways, so I'm probably more like Isaac's wife here in that I never respond. I'm so bad about it. However, I think it's fair to don't call her out, but hey, did you get a text from so-and-so? Like, what if she doesn't have the number saved? And she's like, who's this person texting me happy birthday?
That's true.
I'd probably still say thanks, but I think it's fair to say something to her and say, did you get a text about your birthday? Especially if I went out of my way and asked all my friends to.
Put on her radar, maybe.
Yeah. What I need to know, what was your last impulse purchase?
Oh, man, Fabletics was having like 80% off the other day. And I just went ham.
Mine was on a really ill-advised Uber Eats bowl. This was like the day after Christmas. Nothing was open. I spent like twice as much on a Chipotle bowl. I think
$40.
Yeah, exactly. I think of that as being a horrible impulse purchase when you're like, this is not worth this amount of money. You're way overpaying, but nothing was open and I was starving and had no groceries. Yeah. So that's an impulse buy to me, but I still did it. Someone said Isaac should get the Bumpy Award this year for best text.
When do we do those?
We got to do them again. We got to work with Matt.
That's a Matt really Nelson production.
That's a Matt Nelson. Yeah. Let's see what I need to know. Someone said texting back and remembering to respond is difficult for millennials. Don't hold it against people. Are Olu and LeMayu NFL backups forced into playing, or are they young players who, with more experience, could develop into starters?
That's it. The question of the year for me, because I see Olu look dominant at times. I see Laumea look dominant at times, but then they look young. So that's why I think this offseason is important to obviously bring in some veterans to compete, but see how they progress during the offseason. I don't think you just give up on those two, but I also think that you got to have a backup plan.
206. What blockbuster sends Mariners to elite status in the playoffs?
Soto's gone.
Yeah. No more huge
Soto ain't out there.
There's just nothing right now.
There's nothing left.
And they're not, I mean, the Blue Jays are now constantly being linked into different trades, so it's not like they're suddenly, for a minute there, it looked like, are the Jays going to deal Vlad, or are they going to get rid of all these pieces? But now it certainly doesn't look like that.
I'm just praying
that's
Pete
the only
Alonso
other blockbuster I could
$16
think.
million.
I think that the Mariners are, unfortunately, or fortunately, maybe some people are happy about this, sticking with what they have. Not that they aren't going to add. You need to. Literally, who's your third baseman? You know what I mean? Like, you need to add. What's up with your bullpen situation? But I think it's become clear by their, and tell me if you guys disagree, I think it's become clear by their lack of moves that they have way more faith in the pieces they have than do some outside critics. That they truly think, wow, we massively underperformed. Like, we think
have to.
You know what I mean? Like, we think we could have an MVP in Julio and a Gold Glover regularly with JP. We just didn't look like that this year. I think that's clear. Let's see. Someone said, I'm logging 8 hours of screen time on my phone. I don't got time to respond to text.
I'm scrolling.
I'm too busy. Someone said they don't understand how you couldn't. Here's how it works. Bum, are you a quick responder to text?
For the most part, yeah.
Okay, so how it works to me is sometimes you get a text and you don't immediately know what to say, or maybe you open it and then you get distracted and you forget about it. So if you're easy to forget, or if you're someone that overthinks what you send to people, those people are probably more likely than not to not respond. That makes sense to me.
I mean, yeah, sure, of course.
There is probably a text that you and Curtis have sent me that I have yet to respond to from months ago.
Yeah, just after about 3 days, I'm just like, all right, I'll just send it again later.
Yeah. All right, you guys. We are going to transition to the huddle just 1 hour today instead of 2. We're going to be recapping the season. Jaren Reed is going to join us. Jaylen Darden is going to join us at 12:15. Got an opponent preview, and then Raves is going to help us wrap things up. That's coming your way next.
Seattle Sports, your home for Wyman and Bob.
Dave, I maintain he is better at his position than anybody on the team is at theirs. You want to throw in Leonard Williams, you want to throw in Geno Smith, you want to throw in DK Metcalf, JSN. The best player on this team, in my opinion, now 2 years in a row, is Devin Witherspoon.
Yeah, he's just all over the field. He goes under, he goes over the top, he goes through people. He's actually a pretty good hitter. And for a guy that's just not that big, it's amazing what he gets done.
On Seattle Sports and 97.3 FM HD2.
Be advised, this is your opportunity to save up to 40 to 80% on a hot tub or swim spa. This weekend only, Friday through Sunday, Linwood Event Center. Be advised, this is your opportunity to save up to 40 to 80% on a hot tub or swim spa. This weekend only, Friday through Sunday, Linwood Event Center. 18-month interest-free financing. Our factories have demanded we sell 1,000 hot tubs and swim spas this weekend. Linwood Event Center. Huge factory incentives, factory rebates, this weekend only. Linwood Event Center. We can remove your old hot tub. Free delivery of your new hot tub. Hot tub starting at $2,999. Linwood Event Center. Free delivery of your new hot tub. Just relax and enjoy. Linwood Event Center. Friday, 2 p.m. to 8 p.m. Saturday, 10 a.m. to 8 p.m. Sunday, 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. Free admission, free parking, free delivery. Linwood Event Center. Call 833-SPA-SALE or visit hottubandSwimSpaSale.com.
Do you need a new roof? Don't wait for summer to replace it. 3 Tree Roofing is here to help you save big this winter. Avoid summer's higher prices and longer wait times and protect your home's integrity now. Visit 3treeroofing.com for your free on-site estimate. Our certified installers make it easy and worry-free, no matter the season. Don't wait. Book your estimate today at 3treeroofing.com. Mention this ad and get $500 off your roof replacement. 3 Tree Roofing, your Puget Sound roofing experts.
Emerald Queen Casino, the entertainment capital of the Northwest. The best place to watch all your favorite sports. Featuring wall-to-wall viewing screens, 6 windows, and 30 kiosks. Be there at emeraldqueen.com. Emerald Queen Casino, the entertainment capital of the Northwest.
Hey, can you blow up some balloons for Jack's party?
I can't. I'm so congested.
You need Sinex Saline from Vicks.
Sinex Saline Nasal Spray?
Yeah, just Sinex. Breathe.
Sinex Saline instantly clears everyday congestion associated with colds and year-round allergies with a gentle, ultra-fine mist that's no mess and easy to control.
Daddy, we need more balloons.
On it.
Enjoy life's important moments without congestion. Try Sinex Saline from Vicks. Just Sinex. Breathe. Use as directed.
Did you know your skin is the largest organ of your body? Huh? That's why you should shower with Old Spice Super Hydration Body Wash instead of plain old bar soap. Love your skin by super hydrating it with vitamin B3 and glorious notes of vanilla and shea. Did you know that my super hydrated skin is the second largest organ of my body? The first is my heart. Old Spice. Men have skin too. Old Spice Super Hydration Body Wash. 24/7 renewing moisture. With daily use.
No two people learn the exact same way. So how did Babbel become the award-winning language learning app? We thought of you, all of you. Take Sierra. As a visual learner, she uses Babbel's wordplay videos.
Today I'll share a quick lesson on shopping in French.
Merci beaucoup. Keith is a be-in-the-room-with-real-people kind of learner, so he loves the live online classes with our language experts.
Okay, class. ¿Vos está pronto?
Estamos prontos.
However you learn, Babbel makes it easy. Try Babbel for free at Babbel.com. Babbel.com.
Do you find yourself stuck in a timeshare? Get the real facts about the timeshare industry and your options for cancellation. Chuck McDowell, founder of Wesley Financial Group, has put together a free information guide that reveals the secrets the timeshare industry doesn't want you to know, including the 5 ways to get rid of your timeshare. Call now and get this timeshare cancellation guide absolutely free.
Call 800-838-6161. That's 800-838-6161. 800-838-6161.
No two people learn the exact same way. So how did Babbel become the award-winning language learning app? We thought of you, all of you. Take Sierra. As a visual learner, she uses Babbel's wordplay videos.
Today I'll share a quick lesson on shopping in French.
Merci beaucoup. Keith is a be-in-the-room-with-real-people kind of learner, so he loves the live online classes with our language experts.
Okay, class. ¿Vos está pronto?
Estamos prontos.
However you learn, Babbel makes it easy. Try Babbel for free at Babbel.com. Babbel.com.
Do you find yourself stuck in a timeshare? Get the real facts about the timeshare industry and your options for cancellation. Chuck McDowell, founder of Wesley Financial Group, has put together a free information guide that reveals the secrets the timeshare timeshare industry doesn't want you to know, including the 5 ways to get rid of your timeshare. Call now and get this timeshare cancellation guide absolutely free.
Call 800-838-6161. That's 800-838-6161. 800-838-6161.
Stream every Seattle sports show with the Seattle Sports app. Brought to you by Fred Hutchinson Cancer Center. Get new videos, podcasts, and articles on the Seahawks and Mariners from your favorite Seattle sports personalities daily.
Let's go!
This is Seattle Sports.
Streaming through the Seattle Sports app.
KIRO AM Seattle. KIRO FM HD2 Tacoma. Home of the Seahawks, Mariners, and everything Seattle sports. This is The Huddle.
This is what we do.
Every Thursday from noon to 2. The Huddle.
You are listening to The Huddle. We're live from Virginia Mason Athletic Center. Just a 1-hour huddle today. Here's what's in store for you. Michael Bumpus, Dave Wyman, and myself, Stacy Ross, are going to be joined by Jaren Reed in just a couple minutes as practice wraps up. Jaylen Darden is going to join us after that at 12:15. We're going to take an opponent preview, a look at the Rams as this team gets ready to head to SoFi. JB Long is joining us at 12:30, and then the voice of the Seahawks, Steve Rabel, is joining us at 12:45 to wrap up final thoughts. Rather than look back just at that Bears game, what we're going to do is take a look back at the season itself. This is unfortunately the final game Seattle is going to be playing this year. And Wyman, I'll start with you. They could still get to 10 wins in Mike McDonald's first season. Unfortunately, that will not come with a trip to the playoffs. Do you consider, though, the year a success? And if so, in what ways?
Well, I think everybody's disappointed, right? You know, and when you have to rely on other teams to win, it's I don't know, the notion that you could win 10 games and not get in the playoffs kind of frustrating a little bit, but but yeah, I mean, I think once the sting of not making the playoffs, especially if they win this game, I think it's you're going to look back on this as a pretty interesting year. I mean, lots of adversity, you know, that they had to overcome. They had a center that retired. They really never got their offensive line right. We had Abe Lucas was hurt. We were down to our 4th string right tackle. I mean, there was a lot of things. You had the wrong 2 inside linebackers in there for half the season. So, yeah, I mean, I felt pretty good about this. I'm trying to keep it positive, but it is incredibly disappointing that they didn't get a chance to get in, especially if they have a chance to win 10 games, which they do.
Bump, what about you? Similar question, just kind of how you see the season as a whole, whether you feel like they can walk away proud of something, what's left to work on?
Well, you're proud of the turnaround this defense had for sure, and the linebackers that you have hopefully will be here for the next 2 to 3 seasons minimum. Looking to see if Ernest Jones gets extended. That's going to be big this offseason.
Yeah.
I think that's what you can be proud of. You're more disappointed on the ups and downs of the offense, man. It's like they could never just be on a steady ascend. You start off 3 games and you're good, and then things start to happen. But at least you can identify the problem, I think.
Yeah.
The biggest problem. And I think that is what makes me optimistic about the offseason is that, all right, we pretty much know what the biggest problem is. How are you going to address it? But then there's contracts and stuff. So I would say that this season for me, I said it the other week, was satisfactory. I said 9-10 games they'd win this year. Didn't know if they'd make the playoffs or not. But when you get the taste and they tease you with a playoff appearance, that's why I hurt so much.
Wyman, it was great to see, obviously, as Bump mentioned, the defense improved. And Mike McDonald, defensive coordinator for the Ravens, formerly Michigan, was brought here to fix the defense. So check. Right. Is it fair to say he stays here by figuring out how to fix the offense?
Yeah, I think that's a big part of it. And I think what you're referencing, Bump, is offensive line. Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, we did a thing on our show, like, you know, and Bob had a, you know, like a quiz, you know, what are the 4 things that are the biggest problem.
Sure. Jaren Reed joining us right now. And we will get back to this conversation a little bit later in the show. When Steve Rabel joins us at 12:45, we'll jump right back in. Jaren Reed joining us right now. Hey, Jaren, how's it going?
Good.
Fantastic. Obviously, it's a tough one for you guys, heading into a week in which you could get 10 wins with a victory over the Rams, but the playoffs aren't in line anymore. As a player, what's your mentality entering this one?
Go get the 10th win. Treat you like championship football.
Jaren, I laugh every time you get a sack now. You got and when you first did that, I think it was because Michael Bennett was being introduced out there. Was that possibly like an homage to
I did it last year.
You did it last year as well. Okay.
So I think the first time I did it last year was when we played Carolina at home, because that was like the 10th year reunion for the Super Bowl. I said I thought it'd be cool to do it then, and after then, you know, kind of text and talk with Mike, like I said, you know, previously before, and I asked him, can I take it on? You know, he passed me the torch.
You're like, it feels too good to do the dance. Like, I can't give this up.
You're just doing 2, though, right? Did you do the fatal third one?
Nah, I'm okay. Doing the third.
Hey, thanks for coming out and saying just go get the 10th win, because I'm sitting there going back with these listeners, and they're like, oh, they should lose the game. I go, y'all don't understand how this works. Like, no one goes out on the football field.
Lay down.
And, exactly. So, 1, appreciate that. 2, how's it feel, man? Big Cat gets snubbed for the Pro Bowl, man. That got me just furious, man. He's having himself a great year. Has he talked about that? Have y'all acknowledged it, or is it just whatever?
You know, of course, the emotions are there. I thought he deserved that as well as first-team All-Pro whenever that comes out, but he's having a hell of a season, man. And, you know, sometimes politics, fans play into that. You never know. Everybody was lost.
When you guys kind of walk away from this season, I think one of the things that you can definitely hang your hat on and go, that was great, was the improvement for the defense. I mean, starting out obviously on a 3-game losing streak, but then it was like, all right, now we got to figure this out, because now we're running into some tough teams, and you guys did it. You're finishing out as, I think, a top 10 scoring defense. I think nearing top 10 in yards, certainly total. But what to you clicked? Like, for you, your own journey this year, what clicked, and when did it click for you?
I think settling into the scheme and what they were asking us to do. You know, anytime you bring a new defense in, especially a defense like this, it's a lot of moving parts. It's a lot of communication. And sometimes, you know, training camp may not be enough. You got to get, you know, with live bullets flying in.
Yeah.
It took us a little minute. You know, we had to change some pieces to the puzzle. And I think, you know, when we put it together, you know, everybody was gelling and rocking.
Hey, Jaren, you guys were talking about this before you came in. Faced a lot of adversity this year. I mean, you guys overcame a lot of stuff, and part of it being, you know, the defense just not having the right guys in there. You got the right linebackers in there. You guys got to be particularly proud of that. Did you feel that? I mean, I think for most football players, when you get adversity, you get like a chip on your shoulder. Yeah. Was that the case?
Yeah, definitely. Because we knew what kind of defense that we could be. And we made those changes, and we started rocking, man. I think everybody, you know, could taste and feel it. But I think, you know, we set the standard from here and from now on of how this defense needs to look. And, you know, just everything, the standards we hold, the way we practice, the way we communicate, how physical we want to play. I think, you know, we put that out there, the standard. And I think it's only going to get better from here. Yeah. I definitely think that, you know, we could be the #1 defense in the NFL.
Obviously, still got a game on Sunday, but you're a veteran, so you know what you like to do. What does an off season look like for you? Like your first week, what does that look like for you?
Kind of tough. It's like get out of here and go home. Or sometimes I'll just sit around for a little bit and just take a break. I don't feel like packing no bags or nothing. But I'm kind of ready to see my kids and you know, just chill out with them.
Yeah.
Usually watch football. Of course, I'd rather be playing. I think we should still be playing, but, you know, neither here nor there.
This is a random question. I know that for certain players, they cut out a lot dietary restrictions and stuff during the season. Yeah. Is that the same for defensive linemen?
Man,
what are you waiting to eat? What's first up?
Man, I'm going to get a double cheeseburger. I got to have beef bacon because I don't eat pork. I just want a double cheeseburger and then, like, just probably, like, some bacon cheese fries. I just want something that's so unhealthy.
This would be like the most immaculate cheat day ever. Of like, I'm going to go through 4 drive-thrus.
Man, that part, like, eat some fast food for one. You got to worry about fried food and fuck it. I mean, excuse me. But, you know.
We got a dumb button. It's okay.
We're going in. I can't wait.
Do you ever look at Do you ever look at other players? Like, is it younger players or maybe offensive linemen? Like, who do you look at where you're like, you can eat what?
Oh, the DBs, for sure.
Eating whatever?
They just sit there eat pizza and candy and stuff.
How?
They don't gain no weight.
Oh,
yeah.
That's exactly that type of body. I already know that Reek Wollen's eating a whole pizza by himself. I can just sense that.
I eat a pizza. He's 5 pounds. That's the crazy part.
So how disciplined are you as far as that goes? As far as the eating, I mean, do you really stick to that, or is there like one day a week where you allow yourself to?
Yeah, so schedule I'm on now is on Tuesday to Saturday. I'm eating pretty good. Monday is like a day where I could eat what kind of like something different. I don't try to do too bad because I don't want no body inflammation on my stomach or anything. So those are really kind of my days. And Sunday I don't really eat. I can't eat before the game because it makes me feel bad. I feel kind of heavy. So I just do like a shake. And then after the game sometimes it's depends on where you at. It's like what they have to eat. I don't know, but especially after home games, my go-to has been Dairy Queen's chicken tenders.
Okay.
Fries. They're actually pretty good. It's one by my house.
Okay.
I only have like one big cheat day a month for like eating. So as someone where it's like all like at 5 days as I inch towards it, I'm like that. I'm praying for you.
Yeah, one day a month.
Well, sometimes I'll like let myself have little things, but like it is truly like the best ever to just be like, I don't care at all right now. So I'm so excited for you.
Yeah, the ranch and everything.
Exactly. I know that your primary choice would be in the playoffs, and you're right. You guys have played. Your record would normally be that. I'm hoping for this 10th win. Hoping for a big game for you, and I'm mostly hoping for you to be able to get all the food that you want. So that's fantastic. He is Jaren Reed. Thanks so much for joining us. We appreciate it. All right, don't go anywhere.
When you're running the hurry up and don't have time for your favorite Seattle sports shows, listen to the podcast on demand.
How about that? Unbelievable. Who would have thought?
Every hour, every interview, every look behind the scenes.
He is your new Seahawks head coach, Mike McDonald.
We want to play a certain way, and you're just going to chisel away at it every day.
Find us on SeattleSports.com, the Seattle Sports app, or wherever you get podcasts.
All signs continue to point to it being the right hire.
Never miss a minute of Seattle sports, the home of the Seahawks.
Where can you kick off the new year with big savings on gig speed? Only with Xfinity, now through January 16th. Get gig internet at home for $25 a month for 1 year when you add an unlimited mobile line, which connects you to gig speed Wi-Fi on the road. Act fast today and save more than $650 over AT&T and Verizon in your first year. Plus, hurry and take advantage because right now you can also get a free 5G phone with trade-in. So save big and stay connected to what you love with fast gig speed internet and mobile. From home to hotspots, this new year, it's all about gig speeds and big savings. Don't wait and get gig speed internet. Spend less green and switch to Xfinity. Go to Xfinity.com/gig savings to learn more. Requires paperless billing and autopay with stored bank account. Restrictions apply. Equipment, taxes, and fees extra. $40 internet discount applied to mobile bill. After promo, regular rates apply. Actual speeds vary. Savings compared to Verizon Fiber Gig Plus 1 Unlimited Welcome Line and AT&T Fiber Gig Plus 1 Unlimited Starter Line. Xfinity internet required. Reduced speeds after 30 gigabits of usage per line. Data thresholds and actual savings vary.
When an 18-wheeler ran a red light and took the life of a Tacoma man in 2021, his family trusted Davis Law Group to fight for them. And we recovered a $3.5 million settlement and held the trucking company accountable for his death. Accident victims have trusted Davis Law Group to win their case for the past 30 years. And hundreds of 5-star reviews from real clients are proof that we've earned that trust. Call Davis Law Group today for a free consultation or get my free book on trucking accident law at WashingtonAccidentBooks.com.
Be advised, this is your opportunity to save up to 40 to 80% on a hot tub or swim spa. This weekend only, Friday through Sunday, Linwood Event Center. Be advised, this is your opportunity to save up to 40 to 80% on a hot tub or swim spa. This weekend only, Friday through Sunday, Linwood Event Center. 18-month interest-free financing. Our factories have demanded we sell 1,000 hot tubs and swim spas this weekend. Linwood Event Center. Huge factory incentives, factory rebates, this weekend only. Linwood Event Center. We can remove your old hot tub. Free delivery of your new hot tub. Hot tub starting at $2,999. Linwood Event Center. Free delivery of your new hot tub. Just relax and enjoy. Linwood Event Center. Friday, 2 p.m. to 8 p.m. Saturday, 10 a.m. to 8 p.m. Sunday, 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. Free admission, free parking, free delivery. Linwood Event Center. Call 833-SPA-SALE or visit hottubandSwimSpaSale.com.
No two people learn the exact same way. So how did Babbel become the award-winning language learning app? We thought of you, all of you. Take Sierra. As a visual learner, she uses Babbel's wordplay videos.
Today I'll share a quick lesson on shopping in French.
Merci beaucoup. Keith is a be in the room with real people kind of learner, so he loves the live online classes with our language experts.
Okay, class. ¿Vos está pronto?
Estamos prontos.
However you learn, Babbel makes it easy. Try Babbel for free at babbel.com. BABBEL.com.
Lowe's knows how to help you save time and money, no matter the job. That's why we can deliver supplies to your job site as soon as same day, so you have more time to get the job done. Because when you need it fast, we've got you covered. Lowe's knows pros. Valid on eligible in-stock orders and select zip codes placed by 2 p.m. for same-day delivery by 8 p.m. Subject to driver availability. Fees vary based on purchase. More terms apply. See Lowe's.com/same-day delivery for details.
No two people learn the exact same way. So how did Babbel become the award-winning language learning app? We thought of you, all of you. Take Sierra. As a visual learner, she uses Babbel's wordplay videos.
Today I'll share a quick lesson on shopping in French.
Merci beaucoup. Keith is a be in the room with real people kind of learner, so he loves the live online classes with our language experts.
Okay, class. ¿Vos está pronto?
Estamos prontos.
However you learn, Babbel makes it easy. Try Babbel for free at babbel.com. BABBEL.com.
Getting quality employees to fill positions in your company is essential, but finding those people can be a major hassle unless you use ZipRecruiter. ZipRecruiter makes finding quality people a breeze. ZipRecruiter's advanced technology identifies candidates with the right skills, sends you great matches, then you can easily invite them to apply. 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. See for yourself. Go to ZipRecruiter.com/free to try ZipRecruiter for free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Is a new kitchen in your plans? Hi, I'm Chad Cicchini, owner of Heritage Homecraft. Our specialty is custom cabinet refacing and quartz countertops. Rather than subcontractors, we have our own team of professional craftsmen who make it easy and comfortable to have the kitchen of your dreams in about a week and save thousands. Have us out and let us show you what a Heritage Homecraft custom refacing project looks like in your home. Give us a call, 425-485-1600, 425-485-1600, or heritagehomecraft.com.
Subscribe to the Seattle Sports YouTube page to find new and exclusive content from your favorite shows and personalities daily. Just head to YouTube, search Seattle Sports, and click subscribe. This is The Huddle. Every Thursday from noon to 2
on Seattle Sports.
You are listening to the world-famous Huddle with Dave Wyman, Michael Bumpus, and Stacy Ross. Special teamer Jaylen Darden going to join us in just a couple minutes. We're also going to have JB Long jumping on for an opponent preview at 12:30. We already know a ton about the Rams, but we'll kind of check in on who will and won't be playing. Some important questions heading into Sunday with JB. Again, JB is going to hop on at 12:30, and then Steve Rabel is going to join us at 12:45. Jaylen Darden joining us right now on the Huddle. Hey, Jaylen, how's it going?
How y'all doing?
What's your transition and journey here been like? Because you kind of jumped into action later. Right. So what was that experience like?
Overwhelming a little bit. Just getting off the plane, making sure I'm locked in and dialed in on the game plan, and making sure I'm just jumping in right on board and trying to do as best as I can to help the team. So, I mean, it was kind of a little hectic, but overall I've been doing this almost my whole life. So all of that goes away once you really get out there and catch your first punt or whatever the case may be. So I was fine after that.
At what point do you you're not scared anymore of running up? I mean, I always feel like the returners are a little bit crazy, man. You're running up there, you're going full speed. I mean, I guess you're just used to that, right?
Yeah, you got to have a couple loose screws back there. It's definitely been a challenge just coming in the league, just understanding the game and slowing it down for myself, knowing how to make things easier for me, knowing when to jump a kick, knowing the kicker's approach and things of that nature to simplify the game for me, so I'm not out there thinking as much, because you don't want to be out there thinking. You want to just go out there and play carefree for real. So I be just trying to make sure I'm honing in on all those things during the week, so now on Sundays or whenever we have to play, I'll be ready to just go out there and execute.
I was a returner myself, and I tell people punt returning might be like the second hardest thing to do in football.
Right.
They don't understand, like, once that nose dives, the wind could push it. You're trying to check your coverage, make sure I'm good. Like, everything happens so fast.
Right.
And you make it, and you caught your first punt, and I go, oh, we're good.
Yeah.
Because you tracked it, you were smooth back there. When did you realize, all right, this is something that I might be able to do for a while?
Honestly, like, I don't even know when to say that, like, how that's been being in the league. Like, it's just been my job. So it's more so like I just take pride in it because that's my way of getting on the field. My coach kind of, like, explained how to catch the ball and things of that nature when I first got in the league because I didn't play punt return coming out of college for real. Like, I mean, I did, but I didn't. So I really wasn't coached how I should have been.
Right.
So when I got in the league, I got really coached by Coach Keith Armstrong, and he really taught me how to catch the ball, get under it, judging it, knowing my elements, throwing the grass up, making sure the wind's blowing left or right. So now I know, okay, he's a righty, then the ball's going such and such. He's a lefty, then the ball's going such and such. So it was just knowing the small things to be able to help the big things, which is on Sunday.
Where you from?
Houston.
All right, so when I was growing up in Cali, we played a game called Kill the Carrier. They call it different things in different places. So pretty much you just have the football and everybody's just trying to tackle you.
Right.
That's where I realized I could make somebody miss. I go, all right, I can do this. Did y'all play that in Houston?
Yeah, we used to call it hot ball. So you got to throw the ball up. Whoever catch the ball, the ball hot. So you got to do what you got to do.
Yeah.
But yeah, yes, sir. That definitely did help me though, for sure. Playing all those years.
I hear Doug Baldwin was a big person you studied a lot. What about his game really spoke to you, resonated?
Kind of the statue that he has is not as big, but is not as small. Being able to get in and out his breaks, has great hands. So I mean, those things you have to be more better at because of my size and my stature, things of that nature. So I just picked up some stuff I seen and just added it to my game. I really watch a lot of people, so I mean, I could say I got a lot of stuff from a lot of people, honestly.
What are the rules for you as far as punt return goes? You know, and I know it's changed. It used to be back in the day, it was like you put your heels on the 10-yard line, you don't back up.
Right.
But as far as Jay goes, Jay Harbaugh, and how he's coaching you, does he give you a little bit of room to just kind of say, hey, use your best instincts, or how's that go?
For one, I say you just got to know football for real. You just got to know situational football. Because sometimes you don't need to catch punts. Sometimes you don't need to return punts. Sometimes I just got to field the ball for Geno to have it. Sometimes I just need to have great field position to be able to help the offense. It just depends on how the game's going, honestly. I can't really just say. But my main job is to catch the ball.
Yeah.
I mean, I can give you the key points: hands above the eyes, eyes through the hands, stay square, load the back foot.
Yeah.
That's kind of all the key jobs. I mean, key points to catching the actual football.
Yeah.
Yeah, get the ball to the offense, man.
That's the main goal.
My special team coach was like, bump, get the ball to the damn offense.
That's what Tom Brady used to tell me that. That's one thing I'll never forget. Hey, man, at the end of the day, just get the ball back to the quarterback. That's the most important thing.
Man, you got a bunch of records in college, man. So what was your favorite aspect of being a receiver? Did you like working inside, the outside? You got a favorite route?
I say inside more, but like since I've been in the league, I've been playing outside, so I'm starting to like outside more. But wherever you put me, I mean, I'm just trying to make a play. But inside more for sure. I didn't really play outside like that at UNT, only like on fade balls and stuff like that. But other than that, I was in the slot. That's my favorite position, honestly. Yeah.
Can I ask?
It's easy to get the ball from the slot too, man.
That too.
Can I ask both of you a question about returning? It's more like a trip down memory lane. Bump, you can probably guess where I'm going to go with it. Because I want to know inside the mind of a punter in the moment where you're like, something went wrong.
Right.
What's a moment when something went wrong? Either you made a mistake, the ball didn't go the way you thought. Like, walk me through how it felt, what happened.
More so just like, it's really those when your heels are on the 8, just knowing when to judge the ball, knowing when to let it go, knowing when to catch it. Because, I mean, sometimes, like, okay, if I take a step back, I might catch the ball on the 4, but at the end of the day, the ball is to get the ball back to the offense. So, I mean, that's kind of the key point. It's kind of trying to keep the main thing within playing in your rules, if that makes sense. I don't know how else to explain.
Yeah, but I had a couple things go wrong. I caught a punt in the end zone in college one time, or right in front of the end zone. I realized where I was at. My buddy was looking at me like, come on, we got to go. We gotta go.
Come on, Now, I really haven't had none of those moments like in the league as far as just like, damn. But, like, I do have moments where I'm like, oh, I shouldn't have caught that.
Yeah.
Or, like, coachable moments where I'm coaching myself up or my coach is coaching me up like, hey, man, like, we don't mind you letting that ball go because it might bounce in the end zone and get a touchback.
Yeah.
So it's just those small things, honestly.
Devin Hester had mistakes.
Let me switch it up now. I'm a returner. I don't like that bad
Best
juju.
moment.
So give me a best moment as a returner back there.
I'll probably say my rookie year versus Chicago. I had a good little return, like a 30-yarder.
Yeah.
I was kind of like still trying to, like I say, I was trying to get my feet wet, understanding like how to return punts, knowing, okay, if now I'm playing against good punters, they're going to try to pin me outside. So only thing I can do is get vertical. I can't reverse field. I can't, because we're in the league, everybody fast. So things like that. But Chicago probably was my best return.
Both you guys are crazy. I'm not doing
You're a
that.
linebacker, man.
I ain't doing that.
It take one to nowhere, though. It take one to nowhere.
Dave, what was your craziest moment in a game where someone would be like, that guy's insane?
Well, I mean, yeah, there were some expletives and things like that. It was always towards an offensive guard because offensive linemen cheat. They hold.
Didn't you intercept Dan Marino?
Yes.
That's hard.
All right.
That's hard right there. That's hard.
He is Jaylen
No
Darden.
disrespect, Dan, but that's hard.
Jaylen, thank you for joining us.
Thank you
Have
for
fun
having
out
me.
there on
Thanks,
Sunday.
Jaylen.
We appreciate it. Don't go anywhere.
Seattle Sports, your home for Wyman and Bob.
It's a win. Bottom line business, it's a win. Well, I'll tell you what, Rabel, he was like, oh, that was an ugly game. I'm like, it was a thing of beauty. Are you kidding me? 6-3 game? I mean, people play defense. So is that what it was? Or was it inept offense? Since 2010, Dave, only 2 games in the NFL have ever finished with a 6-3 score, and the Seahawks were part of both of them. Remember that doozy back in 2011 with Charlie Whitehurst at the helm. That's right.
On Seattle Sports and 97.3 FM HD2.
Is chronic pain beginning to make your everyday life a challenge? Then call Dr. Daniel Nelson, MD, with Eastside Pain and Regenerative Medicine. With over 30 years of experience, no one has more experience in pain medicine techniques and stem cell therapy than Dr. Nelson. And here's what a satisfied patient had to say.
Well, that seems to be a genetic thing. All the men on my dad's side of the family have bad backs. Since my mid-20s, it would swell up and I would lose range of motion, and it was very, very painful to stand or walk, and so I had to miss work. So he went in there and gave me the stem cell injection, and it's great now. I get to keep all my original equipment, if you will. No permanent loss of range of motion, in and out in a day. That's totally worth it. I couldn't recommend Dan Nelson more highly.
So don't let pain control your life. Consider stem cell therapy with Dr. Daniel Nelson, MD. Call 425-823-4000 today. That's 425-823-4000, or go to danielnelsonmd.com.
So, how's your research going?
Surprising! After I figured out the top-rated TVs in our price range, I went shopping for deals.
And who's the best?
It wasn't the internet, and it wasn't the warehouse club.
But?
It was video only. They had better deals on the Samsung, LG, and the Sony TVs that got the highest scores.
Better than online and at the club?
I know! Video only beat them all. And now we can afford an even better model for the same price. My research really paid off.
If we buy it video only.
Exactly. Otherwise, we'll be sorry.
At Video Only, you won't find huge stores with refrigerators or microwaves, but you will find the best deals on top-rated TVs, soundbars, and monitors. Shop around. Just make sure you visit Video Only, because if you don't,
you'll be sorry.
In South Center, Bellevue, Linwood, Federal Way, and Tacoma, Video Only.
My wife and I always loved doing everything together. Jiu-jitsu, kayaking, and intimacy was always on point. It was around my early 30s when I noticed a downward trend. Watching a lot of TV, putting on weight, and just full of self-doubt. I had tried another men's clinic with disappointing results. It's the personalized treatment I receive at Revive Men's Health that has been the complete game changer for me. I've got my energy and motivation back. I'm feeling stronger than I did in my 20s, and it made me a much better husband to my wife.
This is Dr. Andrew Allshouse of Revive Men's Health. If you're always feeling tired or moody, or your sleep is poor, you have low libido, you may be suffering from low testosterone.
Book your free T-check and exam. Call Revive Men's Health Seattle at 206-529-1111. That's 206-529-1111. Or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com.
Be advised, this is your opportunity to save up to 40 to 80% on a hot tub or swim spa this weekend only, Friday through Sunday, Linwood Event Center. Be advised, this is your opportunity to save up to 40 to 80% on a hot tub or swim spa this weekend only, Friday through Sunday, Linwood Event Center. 18-month interest-free financing. Our factories have demanded we sell 1,000 hot tubs and swim spas this weekend. Linwood Event Center. Huge factory incentives, factory rebates, this weekend only. Linwood Event Center. We can remove your old hot tub. Free delivery of your new hot tub. Hot tub starting at $2,999. Linwood Event Center. Free delivery of your new hot tub. Just relax and enjoy. Linwood Event Center. Friday, 2 p.m. to 8 p.m. Saturday, 10 a.m. to 8 p.m. Sunday, 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. Free admission, free parking, free delivery. Linwood Event Center. Call 833-SPA-SALE or visit hottubandSwimSpaSale.com.
Want a simple New Year's resolution that's guaranteed to succeed? I'm talking about doing what I did and reversing that clock on hair loss. The same quick, simple one-day hair loss treatment I received from Advanced Hair begins regrowing your own natural hair the very next day, and it's even guaranteed to grow for life. You decide how much and where, and Advanced Hair does the rest. I'm speaking from personal experience. The results have been truly life-changing, and Advanced Hair has helped tens of thousands of folks just like you and me. It's why world-class Dr. Perungo and Advanced Hair are the winners of the 425 Business of the Year. So celebrate this new year with a fuller head of hair and get 250 free hair grafts and $250 off. Schedule your free consultation at 425-449-8185. See what meeting your New Year's resolution could look like with the before and afters at advancedhair.com. 425-449-8185 or advancedhair.com.
Seahawks Player Spotlight.
Man, it felt good to go out there and be able to contribute.
Exclusive interviews with your favorite Seahawks.
You know, we got a genius as the head coach.
Every day with Wyman and Bob. This is The Huddle. Every Thursday from noon to 2.
On Seattle Sports.
Joining us now on the huddle for an opponent preview, it's JB Long, Rams play-by-play man. JB, how's it going?
Hi, Stacy. Hi, Bob. Happy New Year to you.
Happy New Year. I'm going to start, JB, with a few players that we're going to see in this one that we normally wouldn't. Sounds like Jimmy G at quarterback instead of Matthew Stafford. Tell me a bit about Jimmy and any other important changes ahead of this one in terms of even some play-calling duties maybe.
Yeah, here we are Thursday of game week, and I'm still trying to wrap my mind around the fact that the Rams, by virtue of winning last week, earned the right to start Jimmy Garoppolo at quarterback against the Seattle Seahawks and spared themselves the tension of rooting for the 49ers on Monday Night Football against the Lions. We know that didn't go San Francisco's way, so maybe this is the way it was all meant to be, but he's been a solid person, a solid backup. I think he supported Matthew Stafford really nicely. All those years, though, he tormented the Rams, with Kittle and Debo and McCaffrey. It'll be interesting to see what he looks like in orange for the first time at full speed, albeit in what will probably resemble more of like a preseason type game plan, at least offensively, against the Seahawks.
Hey, JB, you got a couple of great rookies on defense, Braden Fisk and Jared Verse. Tell us about what those two guys, Verse just looks like he's been playing in the league for 10 years. But, just tell us about the impact those two have had and how, was that unexpected, or is that something that they thought they were going to get out of those two young fellows?
Yeah, I mean, Rams colored lenses here, but I actually think Jared Verse is closer to being the defensive player of the year league-wide than any other rookie is to being NFL defensive rookie of the year relative to him. That's how consistent and productive and dominant he's been, and I think his nearest competition might be in-house in Fisk. There's a lot of pre-draft and post-draft narrative about what a tandem they were, and from the Rams standpoint, why it made sense to trade up in the second round to get both, because Braden had the potential to be a force multiplier for Jared. I think a lot of that just felt like April and May fluff. But now that I've seen it in person in real time, I get it. I think they actually do complement each other in that way. And I think if you zoom out, the fact that the Rams just put together a 16-game regular season with far more balanced and dominant pressure than they had in the last year of the Aaron Donald era, that they could retire the greatest player in franchise history and get better on defense. I'm not sure there's any words that I could offer you that would say more about the impact of those two than that reality.
JB, I forgive you. I said we couldn't be friends if we got into this situation, but I've healed and I'm ready to move on, so that's fine.
Well, that's a relief.
Hey, man, obviously there's a rough start to the season for the Rams. Did you feel like this whole time, if they were to just get healthy and be consistent, you would be in this moment, or was there a game or two where it clicked and you started to believe in the Rams' chances of making the playoffs again?
I mean, I think that's it at the fundamental level. You know how it is, Bump. You build a team in an offseason with a vision in mind for how they're going to play and what they might be, what your floor is and what your ceiling is. And unfortunately, for the first month, the Rams were playing right on their floor, if not below it, because of the personnel they were missing. I'll say this. Other than one game against Buffalo, I still don't know that we've seen the ceiling with respect to the offense in particular. But getting the offensive line intact, getting Cooper Kupp and Puka Nacua in the mix, those were essential ingredients. And so it would have been a real shame to have to bail on this season and even this window of time with Stafford at the switch before you got to look at what the real potential of the 24 group that you built was capable of. I'm also sensitive, especially speaking to your audience, to acknowledge there is very, very little separating the Seattle Seahawks and the Los Angeles Rams at 24. The reason the Rams are where they are is because of some short yardage defense, a fourth down stop, and a 39-yard game-winning touchdown in overtime. If you switch any of that, the Seahawks are the Rams and the Rams are the Seahawks, and you're probably playing this one for all the marbles.
JB, I want to take like a macro look at the answer you just gave, because I definitely have this feeling with the Rams of like, they can't keep getting away with this. Like for another year, they're entering the bye, at 500 or with a losing record or struggling, and then they turn it around. I mean, they started this season, was it 1-4? I mean, I was convinced. I was like, man, it's not their year. They're going to trade Cooper Kupp. Maybe they'll move on from Stafford. It's really such a shame. And then they end up turning it around. And I really appreciate your point about like, look, these were some of the specific plays that kind of saved their season and ended up winning them these games. But if you were to take a step back and look at the big picture of who the Rams are, maybe it's coaching, maybe it's a player or two, but is there a reason that for a second consecutive year they've done this?
Yeah, his name is Sean McVay, and he's the winningest coach in Rams history. And I've spent much of my tenure talking about the Aaron Donald window and how long you can keep that open. And then the Matthew Stafford window and how long you can keep that open. I think this year, as much as any, gave evidence of the fact that what the Rams are living in right now is a Sean McVay window. Because when you have a head coach who can impact scheme and play calling just as much as culture, I think that has staying power. And I think this year is probably hard to argue as Sean McVay's best season, but I think it was his most complete because he touched all three phases, offense, defense, and special teams. And he matured in a way in embracing this as a surprisingly productive and clutch defensive team and a much improved special teams group collectively than anyone anticipated. And instead of being slow or reticent to embrace that, instead of being frustrated at the offense's inability to put up 30 and lead the way, he just settled into what this team was and gave them the time and the space to win games with takeaways and stops and interceptions and to do just enough on offense to carry them to the finish line. Now, I say that in all humility, and I think he would too. The way they got to 10 wins was largely decided by one-possession games. And in the NFL, that flip-flops year to year. The pendulum swings. So while they won the West by being clutch, they know internally that that is not sustainable, and it's not the way they're going to be able to advance in January.
Hey, JB, tell us about Ernest Jones. I remember hearing from, some of the players down there that he was kind of the leader and the defense is in his hands. I think Aaron Donald said something about that. And then he gets traded away. And now here in Seattle, I mean, he's pretty much his arrival here has pretty much coincided with the defense entirely turning around. Tell us about Ernest Jones and what he meant there.
Yeah, it's hard not to respect and admire that and to celebrate that. From the day Ernest was drafted until the one he was traded, I never heard any Rams employee say a foul word about him. I mean, he was one of the most highly thought of individuals in my time with the organization. And the only thing he was a victim of their team building model, which unfortunately does not often, if ever, include investing in off-ball linebackers. And I'll give you another familiar example, and that's Bobby Wagner, who I think was, Pro Football Focus's #1 graded off-ball linebacker in his 1 year in Los Angeles. And that was the worst Rams year by record under Sean McVay. That wasn't Bobby's fault. I think it just influences their thinking on what influences winning most. And with him coming up on a contract year with some knee injury history, I think they just made the very hard decision to allocate their resources differently and to hopefully do right by him as the single-season tackling leader and captain to help him find his next right home sooner than later. Now, maybe that was a two-step process. We'll see whether he sticks in Seattle beyond this season. But there's no one wearing royal and soul who thinks anything other than good for Ernest Jones for proving everyone wrong and having the season he did in 24.
He is Rams play-by-play man, JB Long. JB, thanks so much for taking the time, man. We appreciate it. Happy New Year.
Thanks, JB.
And to you. Sorry we always have these conversations while I'm stuck on the 405, but such is life here in the Southland. Hope knows.
Thanks, JB. Bump, I'm glad that you and JB could save your friendship.
Yeah, he's...
Some things are bigger than the game.
They are. And I got to work with him, so might as well keep the relationship
You got to keep it good. Another play-by-play man, Steve Rabel, voice of the Seahawks, joins us next.
Where can you kick off the new year with big savings on gig speed? Only with Xfinity, now through January 16th. Get gig internet at home for $25 a month for 1 year when you add an unlimited mobile line, which connects you to gig speed Wi-Fi on the road. Act fast today and save more than $650 over AT&T and Verizon in your first year. Plus, hurry and take advantage because right now you can also get a free 5G phone with trade-in. So save big and stay connected to what you love with fast gig speed internet and mobile. From home to hotspots, this new year, it's all about gig speeds and big savings. Don't wait and get gig speed internet. Spend less green and switch to Xfinity. Go to Xfinity.com/gig savings to learn more. Requires paperless billing and autopay with stored bank account. Restrictions apply. Equipment, taxes, and fees extra. $40 internet discount applied to mobile bill. After promo, regular rates apply. Actual speeds vary. Savings compared to Verizon Fiber Gig Plus 1 Unlimited Welcome Line and AT&T Fiber Gig Plus 1 Unlimited Starter Line. Xfinity internet required. Reduced speeds after 30 gigabits of usage per line. Data thresholds and actual savings vary.
No two people learn the exact same way. So how did Babbel become the award-winning language learning app? We thought of you, all of you. Take Sierra. As a visual learner, she uses Babbel's wordplay videos.
Today I'll share a quick lesson on shopping in French.
Merci beaucoup. Keith is a be in the room with real people kind of learner. So he loves the live online classes with our language experts.
Okay, class. Vos está pronto.
Estamos prontos.
However you learn, Babbel makes it easy. Try Babbel for free at Babbel.com. Babbel.com.
Why choose a Sleep Number smart bed?
Can I make my side softer?
Can I make my side firmer?
Can we sleep cooler?
Sleep Number does that. Cools up to 8 times faster and lets you choose your ideal comfort on either side. Your Sleep Number setting. And now it's our lowest price of the season on our top-selling i8 smart bed. Your best savings, plus free home delivery with an adjustable base. Exclusively at a Sleep Number store near you. All Sleep Number smart beds offer temperature solutions for your best sleep. Learn more at sleepnumber.com.
No two people learn the exact same way. So how did Babbel become the award-winning language learning app? We thought of you, all of you. Take Sierra. As a visual learner, she uses Babbel's wordplay videos.
Today I'll share a quick lesson on shopping in French.
Merci beaucoup. Keith is a be in the room with real people kind of learner. So he loves the live online classes with our language experts.
Okay, class. Vos está pronto.
Estamos prontos.
However you learn, Babbel makes it easy. Try Babbel for free at Babbel.com. Babbel.com.
Getting quality employees to fill positions in your company is essential, but finding those people can be a major hassle unless you use ZipRecruiter. ZipRecruiter makes finding quality people a breeze. ZipRecruiter's advanced technology identifies candidates with the right skills, sends you great matches, then you can easily invite them to apply. 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. See for yourself. Go to ZipRecruiter.com/free to try ZipRecruiter for free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
For decades, we've been more than just roofing. From siding and windows to custom decks and gutters, we've been helping customers protect and transform their homes. Hi, Justin Shirley, CEO of State Roofing. I'm proud to announce our new name, State Roofing Roofing and Exteriors. The same trusted team, the same quality service, now with a name that says it all. Call 866-ROOF-ROOF or visit stateroofing.com today to schedule your free estimate. State Roofing and Exteriors. Your home, your way, held to a higher standard since 1968.
This is The Huddle. Every Thursday from noon to 2.
On Seattle Sports.
You are listening to The Huddle, getting you guys ready for the Seahawks regular season finale. The voice of the Seahawks, Steve Rabel, joining us now. Hey, Rabes, how's it going?
Good, guys. How are you?
Fantastic. I think a question that I'll probably ask my co-host as we wrap this up later in about 10 minutes is one I'm going to throw to you now, which is, what to you is the biggest thing you learned about the Seahawks so far this year?
Oh, gosh. Let's start with a nice softball, right?
Yeah, just an easy one.
Let's go, Rabel. Let's go. Wake up, man.
What have I learned about the? Well, that's a very big question. There's a couple of things I think that we learned, and I don't know if it's something that was, I mean, for those of us who've kind of been around this game for a long time or who have played, the expectation is, as professionals, words like, I don't quit and those kinds of things don't really need to be said out loud. Your job is to go out there and perform every week until the season is over. But this team, the swings up and down, the start, and then losing 5 of 6, then coming back and winning 4 straight, and then dropping 2 straight. The swings have been such that, it would test anybody. Coaches, general managers, players, their faith in what they're doing, their faith in themselves. I never have had the sense this entire season that anybody had any question, at least those inside the organization, had any questions about where they were going and the direction they were going in and how they were going to get there. And it was just a matter of, can we do it all this year? Is it going to take maybe a little longer than that? So I think the philosophy is sound. The basis that this team is built on, the players, the core of this team is sound. And that's not a surprise, really. That's what you expect out of the Seahawks that we've been around for the last how many years, especially with, John Schneider at the top and first Pete and now Mike. So, I couldn't be more positive about the direction that the team is heading in. I don't know if that's something that had to be learned, but it sure is. It is nice to kind of feel that way, even though, yes, I know the season's coming to an end and all that stuff. But I feel really good about that.
Rebs, you got a chance to talk to Mike McDonald every week. Would you say that everything was pretty steady, or did you see him evolve as far as, some of the things that he talked about and his philosophies and things like that? Did you kind of see him grow into being a head coach? What were some of the things you noticed about him, his personality?
Well, it's the first thing you talked about there, Dave, his steadiness. We've all been around a lot of coaches over time. And, some coaches can be, kind of wild swings back and forth, and some coaches can be, seemingly kind of a dour most of the time and, hardly crack a smile. They're all business. This guy is first of all, he's a young guy. And so he identifies, I think, with the players certainly more than guys as old as Dave and me can identify with them. He can, he speaks their language. He understands what is attractive to football players when it comes to an organization and how they can become better players. Let's face it, they're pros. So you become a better player, you play on a winning team, you have a chance at maximizing what few years you have in this league. And I'm talking about not only recognition, but pay as well, because that's part of the deal. That steadiness has been, I think, there all along. And I think his ability to say, hey, this isn't good enough, and we're going to make some changes right now. Yes, we're midway through the season, and that's okay, because I know we can be better, and here's how we can be better. And between he and John and the personnel staff, they figured that out, and they got themselves a couple of guys, I'm thinking, on defense, as we talk about a lot, right in the middle of the defense, that have really done their jobs and done them well. So, yeah, he's been steady, but he's also willing to make hard decisions and make them on the spot
And I think he's got a great future ahead of him, and I expect it's going to be here for a long time.
Raves, what's the significance of this game? I know there's no postseason, obviously, but you still can win 10, and I think it's important they go out on a high note. What do you think their approach is for this one?
I think that's the thing, Bump, that as I remember, too, when I played, and I know it was back in the dark ages, but you always felt better if you could win that final game. And this goes back to every level that you play. It just makes the off season better. You feel better about yourself when you're not saying, darn, we just lost that game and we ended on a bad note, and now I got to live with this for the entire off season until we get started next year. So that part of it is just great. It just makes you feel better. It also gets you off on the right foot. We're in 2025 now. The next time we play football after this, for when it counts, is still in this calendar year. So we're starting this new year, hopefully on the right foot, by winning a football game. And, oh, by the way, it's double-digit wins in his first year as a head coach, if you can win this for Mike and for the team. 10 wins. That's pretty darn good for a guy just coming in and making all the changes they made. And, oh, by the way, it's over the Rams, if you can beat them, because we just flat don't like them. So what's not to like about this whole scenario other than the fact that, a couple of times this season you had a chance to take control of your own destiny and you just weren't able to do it, and you had to depend on, other guys, other teams to do it, and they didn't come through for you. That's the only negative. The positive is there's a lot to be said for going out and winning this game.
Now, Tyler Lockett is obviously under contract for next season. The team's not come out and said, we're moving on. But I think that the conversation around Lockett has been, well, what's going to happen? I mean, it wasn't the biggest year for him. He's getting a little bit older. They've got wide receivers. And so I think naturally, Steve, as you know, there are some fans going, am I watching Tyler Lockett's last game? I hope that we're not, but I was hoping to just kind of ask what you've taken away from his career, and just kind of, obviously you've talked to him a million times, stand-up guy. Just tell me a bit about Lockett as we wrap this up.
Well, he's just the best. Having had the opportunity to play with Largent and to probably not appreciate as good as he really was until toward the end of his career, when the numbers just started stacking up, and then pretty soon you're talking Hall of Fame for Steve, and well-deserved, by the way. Of course, I ran a lot of clear-out routes to help him make those catches, but still, I don't hold any grudges because of that. But Lockett I was reading today, in fact, and he is very likely going to cede the team record for catches in a season to Jackson Smith-Njigba this last game. And he was the first one to tell Jax, hey, I'm all for you. Do it. Go. Break it. Break the 100-catch mark and put your name in the record books. And I had to look back and see that, well, Bobby Ingram was one of the guys that held that record. And then Doug Baldwin. All terrific people, great football players, but better people. And that's how you describe Tyler Lockett. I trust my wife implicitly when it comes to her ability to judge people, and she absolutely adores Tyler Lockett and has from day one. So if Mrs. Rabel says he's the guy, I'm all in favor, aside from the fact that he's had some of the most spectacular catches and the steadiest career of almost any Seahawk that's ever worn that jersey. So I love the guy to death. I hope it's not his last year either. If there's a way, I think, as far as the salary cap and all that stuff has to work out. But I would think, hey, he's still physically got it, so why not bring him back? Unless he wants to say, I can make more money selling houses, which he probably could.
I wonder what Sharon thinks about me. Now I'm worried. Now I'm really worried.
Yeah, well, when you retire and go into the Hall of Fame, we'll have that discussion. Until then, she asks me, now, who is that guy you work with?
He is the voice of the Seahawks, Steve Rabel. Raves, thanks so much. Happy New Year.
Thanks, Raves.
Hey, guys, Happy New Year to you. See you on the plane there, Big Dave.
All right, buddy.
Guys, about a minute left for us here. Just to kind of round out, I wanted to get both of your thoughts. Similarly to how I asked Steve, I'm going to ask a different version so that you are stuck making the most of your 30 or so seconds. But what's sticking with you about the season in terms of, I feel good about this, or maybe I've learned this, or they need to address this? Like, what will be the message you're kind of telling yourself after this year? Dave, I'll start with you, and then Bump, give you the last word.
Yeah, I guess it'll be, maybe this is just too narrow, but like conquering the whole offensive line problem. I mean, I do think that's, and I don't think it's just the Seahawks that have a problem. I think it's league-wide.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we talk to Ray about it all the time, and it's like an endemic of, you know, there's just not good offensive line play, and it doesn't get developed earlier on. And yeah, I mean, guys aren't getting in 3-point stances in college, and I feel like that, you know, if John Schneider can conquer that. I mean, and you ask him, and he'll say, well, I'll just go out to the tree in my backyard. Yeah, and pick a guard or whatever. But, yeah, I mean, I feel like that might be.
I think that's fair.
Might be the one thing. What do you think, Bum?
I think JSN creates good problems and interesting questions that need to be answered this offseason. If he doesn't have the year that he has, then what is going to happen during the offseason might look a bit different. DK has to get extended. Lockett has to restructure his deal. If JSN doesn't have that year, then I think we're a bit worried about this room and who's going to be back and just the talent that's in there.
I like that. It's like the good to come from it, but also the domino effect to come from a big year from your young wide receiver. All right, he is Dave Wyman. Michael Bump, as you can hear more from Bump on the Seahawks pre- and post-game show, and then obviously Wyman is going to be on the call with Rabes for Sunday Seahawks regular season finale against the Rams.
The ball is intercepted. It's rolling. And the Seahawks are going to win this ball game.
This Sunday, the Seahawks take the field for their final game of the season.
Williams going to get hit. He goes down. Shannon Owosu.
Coach McDonald wraps up his first year with a winning record, bringing excitement and hope for the future.
Trick toss near side is Swift. Gets hit in the backfield and drops. Guess who? Witherspoon.
Seahawks, Rams. Kickoff 1:25 at SoFi Stadium. Pre-game starting at 10 on your home for the Hawks, Seattle Sports.
Matt Coker here from West Coast Men's Health. Guys, if you're taking Viagra or any other pill for ED, I want you to ask yourself this question. Do I want to continue to do this for the rest of my life? If you're like most men, the answer is no. Here at West Coast Men's Health, we can restore blood flow naturally without pumping your body full of chemicals like you've been doing. Guys, you need to come in today and fix this problem now. Why are you putting this off? Viagra's not going to magically start working next week, and you don't want to use shots or go under the knife. Call us today and speak with our clinic manager. Ask him any question you like, how it works, the science behind it, and even the cost. Change your life today like the thousands of men who already have. If you're tired of dealing with ED or Peyronie's disease, then call West Coast Men's Health.
With clinics in Redmond and Tacoma, call 206-519-6541. That's 206-519-6541. 206-519-6541. Online at westcoastmenshealth.com.
So, how's your research going?
Surprising! After I figured out the top-rated TVs in our price range, I went shopping for deals.
And who's the best?
It wasn't the internet, and it wasn't the warehouse club.
But?
It was video only. They had better deals on the Samsung, LG, and the Sony TVs that got the highest scores.
Better than online and at the club?
I know! Video only beat them all. And now we can afford an even better model for the same price. My research really paid off.
If we buy it video only.
Exactly. Otherwise, we'll be sorry.
At Video Only, you won't find huge stores with refrigerators or microwaves, but you will find the best deals on top-rated TVs, soundbars, and monitors. Shop around. Just make sure you visit Video Only, because if you don't,
you'll be sorry.
In South Center, Bellevue, Linwood, Federal Way, and Tacoma, Video Only.
Is chronic pain beginning to make your everyday life a challenge? Then call Dr. Daniel Nelson, MD, with Eastside Pain and Regenerative Medicine. With over 30 years of experience, no one has more experience in pain medicine techniques and stem cell therapy than Dr. Nelson. And here's what a satisfied patient had to say.
Well, that seems to be a genetic thing. All the men on my dad's side of the family have bad backs. Since my mid-20s, it would swell up and I would lose range of motion, and it was very, very painful to stand or walk, and so I had to miss work. So he went in there and gave me the stem cell injection, and it's great now. I get to keep all my original equipment, if you will. No permanent loss of range of motion. In and out in a day. That's totally worth it. I couldn't recommend Dan Nelson more highly.
So don't let pain control your life. Consider stem cell therapy with Dr. Daniel Nelson, MD. Call 425-823-4000 today. That's 425-823-4000 or go to danielnelsonmd.com.
Are you putting off your new kitchen plans? Why wait? Hi, Chad Cicchini, owner of Heritage Homecraft. Call today for a free in-home estimate. Years of experience, thousands of happy customers. Heritage Homecraft, 425-485-1600 or heritagehomecraft.com.
When might you be buzzed? When you suddenly love everything.
You guys, I love this song. I love these nachos. I love our kickball league. Ugh! I love this guy. What's your name? You know what I'd love? A ride when it's time to head out.
If you see a buzzed warning sign, call for a ride when it's time to go home. Buzz driving is drunk driving. A message from NHTSA and the Ad Council.
I love your car. Is this real leather?
When might you be buzzed? When you suddenly love everything.
You guys, I love this song. I love these nachos. I love our kickball league. Ugh! I love this guy. What's your name? You know what I'd love? A ride when it's time to head out.
If you see a buzzed warning sign, call for a ride when it's time to go home. Buzz driving is drunk driving. A message from NHTSA and the Ad Council.
I love your car. Is this real leather?
Safety comes first. When money is tight, Buc-ee's has you covered with available financing. For oil changes, wiper blades, brakes, tire rotation, tune-ups, and factory maintenance, it's Buc-ee's Complete Auto. No appointment necessary and financing's available. Check Buc-ee's.com for the location near you.
No two people learn the exact same way. So how did Babbel become the award-winning language learning app? We thought of you, all of you. Take Sierra. As a visual learner, she uses Babbel's wordplay videos.
Today I'll share a quick lesson on shopping in French.
Merci beaucoup. Keith is a be in the room with real people kind of learner, so he loves the live online classes with our language experts.
Okay, class. Vos está pronto.
Estamos prontos.
However you learn, Babbel makes it easy. Try Babbel for free at Babbel.com. Babbel.com.
Do you find yourself stuck in a timeshare? Get the real facts about the timeshare industry and your options for cancellation. Chuck McDowell, founder of Wesley Financial Group, has put together a free information guide that reveals the secrets the timeshare industry doesn't want you to know, including the 5 ways to get rid of your timeshare. Call now and get this timeshare cancellation guide absolutely free.
Call 800-838-6161. That's 800-838-6161. 800-838-6161.
Let's go! This is Seattle Sports.
Streaming through the Seattle Sports app.
KIRO AM Seattle. KIRO FM HD2 Tacoma. We now join our regularly scheduled programming on Seattle Sports.
You need to push you beyond your limits. Tune in all season long with Monster, the energy drink of ESPN Radio College Football Tour. Power your performance with a drink that's as hungry for victory as you are. Crack open an ice-cold Monster and dominate your competition. Monster Energy. Unleash the beast. Grab yours today.
Progressive presents Renters MVP's Most Valuable Possessions. Today's MVP, Emily Neal's 70-inch TV. Because after watching her second-grade students yell at each other for hours, there's nothing Emily enjoys more than watching super-rich housewives also yell at each other. Why? Because those women are not her responsibility. And that's why her TV is today's MVP. Keep your most valuable possessions protected by bundling your renters and auto insurance with Progressive. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates and other insurers not available in all states.
Are you ready to make a difference for the environment while helping the visually impaired at the same time? Then donate your vehicle to Heritage for the Blind today by calling 1-800-983-6530. Every donated vehicle will either be properly recycled in an eco-friendly manner or given a new life through reuse. Donating your vehicle is easy. Simply call 1-800-983-6530 and Heritage for the Blind will do the rest. They'll even arrange for your vehicle to be picked up at no cost to you. And for a limited time, when you donate your car, you'll receive a $200 restaurant voucher and a 2-night, 3-day hotel stay at one of 50 locations. Call 1-800-983-6530 right now to schedule your vehicle donation and make a positive impact on the environment while helping others. Heritage for the Blind, where every car donation counts and every person makes a difference. Call 1-800-983-6530 now. This advertisement is paid for by Heritage for the Blind.
Do you have trouble getting in and out of the bathtub? Are you afraid you'll slip and fall entering or exiting a tub? Safe Step walk-in tubs can transform your bathtub from an area of concern to a calming refuge. Call them today at 1-800-731-4558 and save $1,600. Safe Step walk-in tubs and showers are proudly made in Tennessee and offer an ultra-low step-in, avoiding that difficult climb over a traditional bathtub wall. They also offer a variety of therapeutic benefits that may help soothe your aching muscles and joints, increasing your mobility, boosting your energy, and improving your sleep. Safe Step walk-in tubs are designed to easily fit your existing tub space and are often installed in as little as one day. Just dial 1-800-731-4558 today to save $1,600 and receive a free shower package. That's 1-800-731-4558 for a free no-obligation consultation and to save $1,600. Safe Step walk-in tubs. Safety never felt so good.
You're listening to the College Football Playoff Quarterfinal at the All-State Sugar Bowl on ESPN Radio and the ESPN app.
3 of the 4 spots in the semifinals have been locked up. Texas will meet Ohio State. Our winner today will get Penn State.
And it's Singleton in the backfield, 2nd and 14. They give it to him over left guard. He's up the middle. It's open field. He's gone. Going all the way to the 10, a full sprint into the end zone. A 58-yard touchdown sprint for Nick Singleton. And that may just do it tonight here in Glendale.
It would, Mike Cousins, 31-14. Penn State beats Boise State on Tuesday night. So the Nittany Lions are waiting in the Capital One Orange Bowl on Thursday night, January 9th. They'll get the winner between Notre Dame and Georgia. These teams have met 3 times before. The first ever meeting in this very same building, the 1981 Sugar Bowl, won by Georgia in a national championship. And the MVP was Herschel Walker. College football at ESPN Radio is brought to you by Allstate. Some people just know they could save hundreds on car insurance by checking Allstate first. Visit allstate.com or call a local agent for a quote that could save you hundreds. You're in good hands with Allstate. With the call of the final quarterfinal, you're in the college football playoff. We go to Caesars Superdome in New Orleans. Join our broadcast team with Cole Kubelik on the sidelines alongside Jordan Rodgers. Here's Tom Hart.
All right, Kevin, thank you. And going back to that Sugar Bowl in 1980, Georgia, on its way to its first national title, was led by a Georgia quarterback, Buck Bellew. And today, Gunnar Stockton will be in the spotlight. Welcome to New Orleans, everybody. Tom Hart, Jordan Rodgers, and Cole Kubelik. The Georgia Bulldogs, SEC champs, are taking the field from the entrance to our far left. Notre Dame in its gold helmets ready to take the field to the entrance in our far right. The crowd, well, not what you expect for a game of this magnitude, but given the situation and the tragedy that unfolded on Bourbon Street on New Year's Eve, it's understandable that not every seat is full. And it feels, Jordan, I said this pregame, like this will be a cathartic experience for those who are here today, and they'll get to see 2 excellent football teams and a line that's been down to 1.
Yeah, the tragedy you mentioned really puts things in perspective. Just a game here, but as you also mentioned, a ton on the line, and really a Georgia team in somewhat of an unfamiliar position. Underdogs for a lot of people that follow college football in this game, especially with a quarterback making his first career start, and a ton of pressure, in my opinion, on this Notre Dame football team that up until this college football run was 0-8 in BCS or New Year's 6 bowl games. They have not taken the next step on a national stage, and against a backup quarterback and a good but maybe not great Georgia team, a lot of pressure on Notre Dame to follow through in what everybody believes is a team that can make a national championship run.
To add to your first point, Notre Dame an underdog against a non-conference opponent for just the 4th time in the last 10 years. TCU 16, Notre Dame 17, Clemson 21. Kirby's team has won all 3 of those previous underdog matchups. But never before, Cole Kubelik, have they come into a game with a quarterback as untested as Gunnar Stockton is. He's a 3rd-year sophomore from the North Georgia mountains, Tigard, Georgia, and Rabun County High School. He came out of the mountains owning every notable high school state record, better than Deshaun Watson, better than Trevor Lawrence, and now he has the weight of an entire state on his shoulders as he takes his first step against Notre Dame today. What are the expectations, and what is the ceiling for Gunnar Stockton?
This team's confident, Tom, and being at the SEC championship game after halftime when he came in, the energy on the field was different. And it was one that you would expect the Georgia teammates to be down, be somber a little bit. They were excited for this young man. He is the ultimate teammate. Everybody wants to see him succeed. Everybody wants to see him do well. I had him in high school for one of his games. The leadership was all everybody could talk about, the toughness, the competitiveness, and you hear that from this Georgia staff and his teammates as well. But I still, fellas, don't think that we're talking enough about a young man making his first career start in a college football playoff game, has not played a full game in a Georgia uniform. Georgia's going to have to coach around that a little bit tonight.
His first personal quarterback coach was George Bobo. He picked him up as a 6-year-old. George Bobo is the father of offensive coordinator Mike Bobo. He has known the family throughout his entire life. Captains meeting at midfield right now, shaking hands. We're getting ready for the coin flip in just a moment between Notre Dame and Georgia. Georgia under Carson Beck as the starter all season, 100th in the country, running the ball 11th in the country in the passing game. You can flip those numbers for Notre Dame's offense, led by Riley Leonard, who transferred in from Duke. We know he is an incredible athlete. He was a great high school basketball player just down the road in Fairhope, Alabama. But, Jordan, I feel like this Notre Dame offense is limited in explosive plays. Is that accurate, and how do they put the points on the board against his UGAD?
Yeah, I think it's accurate, and especially when you're talking about throwing the football down the field. This is not an offense in Notre Dame that's built to do that. They want to run the football, and through Riley Leonard, they want to ball control with their passing offense. But I don't think Riley Leonard gets enough national respect for just how good of a runner he is. 750 yards this season, 15 rushing touchdowns. And remember, last regular season game for Georgia, they struggled against a mobile quarterback in Haynes King for the University of Georgia Tech. And that game went to 8 overtimes. So how do they handle a mobile, talented quarterback today in Riley Leonard?
Haynes King and Georgia Tech jumped out to a 17-0 lead in that game before Georgia finally prevailed in 8 overtimes in clean, old-fashioned hate. Notre Dame has won the toss. The coin was thrown by Mike Vanderbilt. He's our referee today out of the Big 12. The Irish defer, so Georgia will get the ball to start. Cole, you're down there keeping a close eye on Gunnar Stockton. What's he going through before he takes the field into here in a moment?
Pretty calm. Came out normal warm-ups, just kind of throwing with some of the teammates. He and the tight ends off to the side. A lot of teammates coming up, dapping him up, patting him on the helmet, but doesn't look like a young man making his first college start in a quarterfinal college football playoff game to me.
Notre Dame is on the field. Georgia's on the field. The Fighting Irish in their gold pants, white jerseys with navy numerals, and for the postseason only, names on the back of those jerseys. Georgia has silver breeches with black and red piping down the side, red jerseys and the red helmets with that G that you know all too well. Kirby has 2 national titles to his name. Marcus Freeman, the head coach at Notre Dame, is looking for that breakthrough victory. The ball is set on a tee at the 35-yard line to our left. Notre Dame kicking off to the right, and Georgia set to go as this game, delayed by 21 hours, finally gets underway. Mitch Jeter has it on a tee. It is in the air, and we are underway in New Orleans. No return for Georgia, and here is Gunnar Stockton to lead this offense. 6'1", 215-pound redshirt sophomore from Tiger, Georgia, which is known for having a store called Goats on the Roof. You're driving back to Atlanta, you stop, you see 14 goats on the roof. The kids can buy some goat feed and feed them, and you can just have a grand old time up there in the mountains where he learned to throw the football.
And he's looking to create a legacy that could deem being a GOAT with his chance to start a playoff game for the first time ever and do what Cardell Jones did a handful of years ago, doing that same thing and taking his team to a national championship victory.
He's only been used in mop-up duty this season. He's replacing Carson Beck. Trevor Etienne is the running back. And a toss to the right side for Etienne. Outside the numbers, trying to find the edge. He won't. He's thrown down for a 2-yard loss by Jaylen Sneed.
Boy, and a great job by Sneed. Shot out of a rocket coming from that second level. Georgia tried to go a little bit of student body right. Get a couple of those big body pullers out in front. Get to the edge. Get Trevor Etienne going, which they need to do. But an even better job there by Sneed in this Notre Dame defense to stop him short.
Etienne has been banged up. He was injured and missed 3 games with a rib injury. He's in at tailback. He's 7 yards behind Stockton under center. Man in motion behind him. Stockton, maybe a busted play, tries to turn upfield and can't get back to the line of scrimmage. Joshua Burnham there for the stop for Notre Dame. It'll be 3rd and long for Georgia.
Well, just disciplined by Burnham on the backside. So Georgia tried to go a little play action, misdirection, and get Gunnar Stockton out on the edge, rolling to his right. But Burnham never fell for the fake in the backfield, sitting right there. Gunnar Stockton had to try to scramble, get north and south, didn't do it. Now 3rd and long.
Mike Bobo's the offensive coordinator for Georgia. See what he dials up. ETN's still in there at tailback. 3rd down and 12, just underway in New Orleans. From the right hash, clapping the hands, and a straight drop. Looking deep down the left sideline. The ball is overthrown just by a hair and incomplete. Dylan Bell, the intended receiver. There is a flag on the play. It rests on the right side 46-yard line. In the area of defensive holding or pass interference, depending on where the ball was when the flag was thrown.
Number 29, defense, 15-yard penalty automatic.
That's Christian Gray, a sophomore out of St. Louis, Missouri. And that's the first down for Georgia.
Yeah, just had the left hand actually holding the jersey, the right shoulder pad of Dylan Bell. So it's a really easy call and a good call from these referees. Notre Dame that time tried to show Gunnar Stockton pressure. They didn't end up bringing pressure, but Gunnar felt the urgency there and took his one-on-one matchup, and the flag bails Georgia out.
Cash Jones is now in at running back. His first opportunity for the junior from Brock, Texas. Had a great game against Georgia Tech. He's to the left hip of Stockton on 1st down. Handoff right side. They run reverse. Trying to come around the corner. Outside the hash marks. Turned in is Arian Smith. And he doesn't make it back to the line of scrimmage. Another negative play for the Georgia offense. They're 4th on this first possession. Xavier Watts the stop.
And it's just so evident how defensive coordinator Al Golden has preached what Georgia wants to do. They want to get on the perimeter. They want misdirection. Everybody in the building knows they need to run the football, but it was Drake Bowen, the linebacker, backside that, again, didn't fall for the misdirection, didn't fall for the reverse, was sitting right there waiting for Arian Smith.
The Notre Dame team without Riley Mills, their standout defensive end. ETN back in on 2nd and long, 2nd and 15. Stockton keeps it himself right side outside the numbers and taken down at the original line of scrimmage. It's a gain of 5 on the play for Gunnar Stockton, who runs it for the first time. Another stop for Xavier Watson. This will leave Georgia 3rd and about 9.
And last time in this 3rd long situation, Al Golden, the defensive coordinator for Notre Dame, chose to give the illusion of pressure but not bring blitz and drop 7 guys into coverage. Let's see what he decides to do right now. Notre Dame stacking the line of scrimmage, acting like they're going to bring blitz. Let's see if they do it.
3rd down 9. Ball on the 38-yard line. Stockton, straight drop again, looking over the middle. Everybody's covered. One guy was tackled. He lost the ball on his way to the sideline, and it kicked out backwards and out of bounds with Jack Kaiser providing the pressure for Notre Dame.
So once again, Notre Dame stacks the line of scrimmage to show blitz, and they don't bring it. They drop back into coverage, and actually Jack Kaiser, the linebacker, is going to spy Gunnar Stockton. Gunnar tries to scramble to his right. Nobody open downfield, and Kaiser closed the distance there. Actually got his hand on the ball as Stockton was trying to throw it away, and it went backwards.
New punter for Georgia is Drew Miller. Another empty opening possession for the Bulldogs.
Incomplete. Forward pass is under further review.
They're looking at that last play, and the question is whether or not that was a forward pass will only be a question of yardage. But it will still be a punting situation for Georgia. It's either 4th and 9 or 4th and about 18.
Well, Marcus Freeman down here in the official's ear, Tom, making that motion of throwing the football, essentially saying what you're discussing right there. He wanted that to be called a fumble.
It'll be the first punt of the year for Miller. And so we step away for this timeout with 12:17 to go in the first quarter. Georgia nothing, Notre Dame nothing. You're listening to the College Football Playoff quarterfinal at the All-State Sugar Bowl on ESPN Radio and the ESPN app.
This is Seattle Sports.
We at 3 Tree Roofing understand that your home is your castle. That's why our certified technicians use state-of-the-art installation methods to deliver the highest warranties available. Check out our hundreds of online reviews and schedule a free estimate to see for yourself. 3 Tree Roofing, your Puget Sound roofing experts.
Your favorite Seattle sports show is available anywhere you go through the Seattle Sports app. Brought to you by Fred Hutchinson Cancer Center Proton Therapy. Full shows and interviews, exclusive video and articles from the home of the Seahawks and Mariners.
Where can you kick off the new year with big savings on gig speed? Only with Xfinity, now through January 16th. Get gig internet at home for $25 a month for 1 year when you add an unlimited mobile line, which connects you to gig speed Wi-Fi on the road. Act fast today and save more than $650 over AT&T and Verizon in your first year. Plus, hurry and take advantage because right now you can also get a free 5G phone with trade-in. So save big and stay connected to what you love with fast gig speed internet and mobile. From home to hotspots, this new year, it's all about gig speeds and big savings. Don't wait and get gig speed internet. Spend less green and switch to Xfinity. Go to Xfinity.com/gig savings to learn more. Requires paperless billing and autopay with stored bank account. Restrictions apply. Equipment, taxes, and fees extra. $40 internet discount applied to mobile bill. After promo, regular rates apply. Actual speeds vary. Savings compared to Verizon Fiber Gig Plus 1 Unlimited Welcome Line and AT&T Fiber Gig Plus 1 Unlimited Starter Line. Xfinity internet required. Reduced speeds after 30 gigabits of usage per line. Data thresholds and actual savings vary.
This is the college football quarterfinal at the All-State Sugar Bowl on ESPN Radio and the ESPN app.
Welcome back to New Orleans. Tom Hart alongside Jordan Rodgers and Cole Kubelik. After review, it was indeed ruled a fumble by Gunner Stockton, and instead of 4th and 9, Georgia will be looking at a 4th and 21. And they'll bring out their punter for the first time, Drew Miller, his first punt this year. The freshman is seeing his first action after Georgia's punter got injured last time. And Max Hurlman back to receive this one. He stands at the Notre Dame 32-yard line. An empty possession for Georgia. The only first down came on a penalty. They ran 5 plays, and the Notre Dame defense came up with 3 tackles behind the line of scrimmage. Bo Gardner is a long snapper. Last time Georgia lined up in punt formation in the SEC championship game, they faked it. And Bobo, the offensive coordinator's son, who's a personal protector, threw the ball. Snap goes all the way back. Georgia creamed the punter. Multiple flags on that one. Fair catch taken, falling down at the 38-yard line. And Notre Dame will gift another first down. If it's a personal foul, 4th and 21, it'd be a 15-yard penalty. And we'll see if it's automatic.
Well, just a huge mental mistake on special teams here for Notre Dame if it is indeed 15 yards. I think it might just be running into.
Bryce Young was a Notre Dame defender, came off the edge, going for the block. And right now, Michael Vandervelde, the referee for this one, and his Big 12 officiating crew, is asking Kirby Smart what he wants to do here. And if indeed it's a 15-yard penalty, it would still leave him
running
short.
Into the kicker, number 30 of the receiving team. 5-yard penalty, replay, 4th down.
So they'll go from 4th and 21, 4th and 16.
Yeah,
how'd you see it?
Well, it's the Notre Dame player's going to come in and he's going to jump. They're always taught, go for the ball off the foot, dive for the foot. He's going to jump, get a piece of the right leg of the punter, which usually is that 15-yard penalty. Not a huge.
He also got the plant leg when he came through.
That's what I'm watching it back on the replay. I think that probably deemed a 15-yard penalty, but Kirby Smart opting to re-punt after a bad punt on that one.
So only a 5-yard difference. And Miller kicking to Hurlman. No score, 11:53 to go in the first quarter. Notre Dame will get its first crack at it after this punt. The Notre Dame special teams have been very good. There's a lot of movement up front and stemming. Nobody down in a stance. And this one's nearly blocked again. And it's another flag. Hurlman takes the catch at the 32. Can't break free. He's bottled up at the 37-yard line. And once again for Notre Dame, it was Bryce Young who draws the flag. The freshman from Charlotte Christian High School in Charlotte, North Carolina, has 3 block kicks this season. And he's going for his 4th. This is a young Notre Dame team. And on this grand stage, Bryce Young commits the same foul on back-to-back plays.
I mean, almost exactly the same thing. Came off the right side. Nobody touched him.
Running into the kicker, number 30 of the receiving team. Penalties decline. First down, Notre Dame.
you know, right now Drew Miller is thinking, I didn't realize punting at the college level was a full contact situation.
I mean, I thought the first one should have been the full 15-yard penalty. I think this one, too. I mean, he's hitting the punter's leg as it's up at its highest point in the air, going almost full speed. Punter goes in at 360. And once again, just a 5-yard penalty. I don't agree with it.
It's 3 penalties against Notre Dame on that first Georgia possession. And here comes the offense led by Riley Leonard, senior from Fairhope, Alabama. Started his career at Duke. He is a run-first quarterback who completes 67% of his passes. Empty backfield for the Notre Dame captain, number 13, Riley Leonard. And now Jeremiah Love joins him in that backfield from the 35-yard line. No score. First quarter in New Orleans. Love steps closer. Leonard checks with his center, Pat Coogan. Out of the shotgun. First down, Notre Dame. Snap taken. Leonard looking over the middle of the right side and has to flush. Keeps it in his pocket and now throws right through the hands of Jeremiah Love. And we got flags down in the Notre Dame backfield. Head linesman threw that flag. Notre Dame want to go to the air on first down. Trying to break their tendencies a little bit, huh?
Yeah, trying to find Bo Collins on a curl route. Dalen Everett for Georgia was all over it, caused Riley Leonard to.
Illegal forward pass. The quarterback threw a second forward pass. That is a loss of down and a 5-yard penalty at the spot of the foul. Second down.
Leonard, when he was starting to throw, had it batted back right to him and then threw it again, hence the flag.
Yeah, can't do that. Catch your own pass. You just got to run with it.
Not even in the Canadian League.
Oh, no, they don't let you do that.
So that'll back up Notre Dame. 11:37 to go, first quarter, no score between Notre Dame and Georgia. Second and long, Jeremiah Love right behind Leonard in the pistol. It's 2nd and 23. Leonard takes a snap, hands off to Love, off right tackle, and he's able to pick up maybe 3 yards on that 2nd and long.
Yeah, this is going to be the story of the game. Notre Dame wants to run the football. That's what they're built doing, 222 yards per game. That's 11th in the FBS. But you have to tackle them. They're averaging almost 4 yards after contact, which is second best in the FBS. So when you hit these guys, you got to wrap up. You got to bring them down because they thrive off those second opportunities in the run game.
Nice. Williams now in at tailback, off to Leonard's left. 3rd and 19 for Notre Dame. 11 minutes to go, first quarter. Bo Collins, a man in motion, goes to the far side. Leonard takes a snap with a hop, looking go deep. Pressured, throws it incomplete. Got hit as he throws. Jalen Walker was all over him, the Butkus Award winner and first-team All-American.
Oh, great little design by defensive coordinator Glenn Schumann. Had 3 defensive linemen to the left of the center, to the left of Riley Leonard, and Jalen Walker all by himself working on right tackle. Got to Riley Leonard right as he was trying to throw that, made some contact, disrupted the ball, and Georgia's going to get off the field on 3rd down.
So Notre Dame punting it away on a 4th and 19 with the ball on its own 27-yard line. Anthony Evans back to receive. It's a good-looking punt from James Rendell. Evans asks for a fair catch at the 19-yard line. Pardon me, it's Starks with the fair catch. And that's where Georgia will have it for its second possession. They went backwards on their first possession. 1st and 10, Georgia at the 19. Still no score.
And Cole, what'd you see in the break as Georgia offense was on the sideline there with Gunnar Stockton? Who was he talking to? What was going on there?
He was on the phone for the majority of the time, but did go down, spend a little bit of time talking to his offensive linemen, talking to the running backs and the receivers. No panic. Didn't look like he was really overly concerned about anything. Showing good leadership by communicating with his guys.
Well, the Dogs had minus 13 yards on their opening drive, second fewest any drive over the last 4 seasons. Had a negative 21 drive against Texas in the SEC championship game in Atlanta last month. Etienne is the tailback. Handoff to him off the right side. Etienne behind a wave of red blockers and push the entire pile to the 25-yard line. Just past the 25-yard line. A gain of 6 on first down.
And I love that. No misdirection, nothing fancy. Just running right behind right guard Tate Ratledge, right tackle Xavier Truss. Great push on the right side there, and Etienne was able to fall forward there for 6 yards.
Ratledge is from North Georgia, at Rome, Georgia, the Darlington School. He's a first-team All-America, first-team All-SEC performer at right guard, battling through injuries this year. Etienne, the tailback, 2nd and 3 now. Pressure from the edge. Stockton stands tall, delivers a strike to the sideline. It is caught. Turning upfield to the 50-yard line is Dylan Bell, and he breaks free, then stumbles over the 40, and he's down after a big gain for Georgia. And Gunnar Stockton delivered a strike. They say he stepped out of bounds before that second surge, and I think it was right where the catch was made.
Oh, it was a great back shoulder throw by Gunnar Stockton, working on true freshman cornerback Leonard Moore for Notre Dame. They were even running along the sideline, and Stockton was able to throw that back shoulder.
Previous play of a completed pass is under further review.
And a great adjustment by Dylan Bell, and they're going to take a second look and see if the left foot for Dylan Bell stayed in bounds.
Well, the left foot was out of bounds, and if it stands, it's a gain of 12.
Yeah.
But the question is whether or not he had possession with the right foot down. So we've got 9:42 to go in the first quarter. Still no score between Georgia and Notre Dame. This is the college football playoff quarterfinal at the All-State Sugar Bowl on ESPN Radio and the ESPN app.
Some people just know they could save hundreds on car insurance by checking Allstate first. Like you know to check the propane tank on your grill first before hosting a tailgate.
Let's fire up. Here, let me try. Seriously? You didn't check the propane? Who wants chips?
Yeah, checking first is smart. So check Allstate first for a quote that could save you hundreds.
Salt and vinegar?
You're in good hands with Allstate.
Savings vary. Subject to terms, conditions, and availability. Allstate Fire and Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates, Northbrook, Illinois.
That's the ease at which you get information. You want it, you get it. Like that. Ask your phone. Group chat. Smartphone. You're always connected and informed in real time. No waiting. So if you're diabetic and still using finger sticks to read your blood sugar, what are you waiting for? Knowing your blood sugar levels instantly is important for managing diabetes. Call US Med at 888-665-0696. To learn more about continuous glucose monitors, a real-time instant method to track your blood glucose, US Med is an approved provider for Medicare and over 1,000 private insurers. And the best part? Call 888-665-0696 and we'll give you a free insurance benefits check today. So call 888-665-0696 today. That's 888-665-0696. And manage your diabetes as easy as...
You're listening to the College Football Playoff Quarterfinal at the Allstate Sugar Bowl on ESPN Radio and the ESPN app.
From the Allstate Sugar Bowl in New Orleans, Tom Hart alongside Jordan Rodgers and Cole Kublik. 9:42 to go in the first quarter. A game that was delayed about 21 hours due to the tragedy on Bourbon Street over New Year's Eve. And both teams and fan bases had a lot of time to sit around to get ready for this game. There's no score. Georgia looking at a 1st and 10 after review. They ruled it a completion on the catch by Dylan Bell that goes for 12 yards. Cole, you had a chance to talk with Georgia offensive coordinator Mike Bobo. Where does he want to attack this Notre Dame defense?
Well, he thinks they're going to have to do it on the perimeter first. This is probably going to be a 3-man rotation at defensive tackle for Notre Dame today. They want to try to wear that group down, screen game, quick throws. We saw the perimeter runs already, but I thought it was interesting that Coach Bobo told me when I said, what do you need to do with Gunnar Stockton early to calm him down? He said, I want to get him hit.
Well, he got himself hit on that first drive, run in the reverse. He got flattened trying to throw a block. Of those defensive linemen you mentioned, Howard Cross, we noticed pregame with a bit of a cast on his ankle. So he's playing banged up. Etienne, the running back, get ready to go. 1st and 10 from the Georgia 38. Etienne trying to go off tackle, cuts it back inside, and finds maybe a yard. That leaves 2nd and 9. Adon Schuler, second-year freshman out of New Jersey, with the stop for Notre Dame.
But I like the plan, running between the tackles. You mentioned Howard Cross being banged up. Remember, Riley Mills as well missed this game, missing the rest of the season after getting injured against Indiana. One of their best players on the interior there as well. They're light, they're thin. I expect Georgia to keep going at them between the tackles.
Front 7 for Notre Dame, average weight 269. There's the lightness. Nate Frazier in at running back. Plus and Lucky, the tight end, in motion. Stockton fires to the edge. Wide receiver screen. Dylan Bell looking for a block from Lucky. is only able to pick up a couple of yards. That'll leave third down. Another tackle for Schuler.
As Schuler came flying down from the secondary. That's one of those perimeter screens that Cole mentioned. Mike Bobo wants to get those big defensive linemen thin, because there's only a few of them running sideline to sideline and get Gunnar Stockton some easy throws. But now, once again, another third and long situation, third time already early in this game.
They lined up 5 wide. Etienne rejoins Stockton in the backfield. 3rd and 7 from the Georgia 41. No score. First quarter in New Orleans. Stockton barks out the signal, takes a low snap, drops straight back, fires on a slant. It is caught for the first down, right over the middle into the logo for Dylan Bell, a pickup of 9. And Gunnar Stockton trying to find some rhythm.
Yeah, and right now his comfort, his security blanket is Dylan Bell. Number 86, the wide receiver, kind of a gadget guy. He'll put him in the backfield at times, move him all around. Great job once again in man coverage against the true freshman Leonard Moore. For Notre Dame, second time they've targeted Bell when matched up against Moore.
And he just came limping off the field, guys, having a trainer look at his ankle right now.
An iconic Sugar Bowl trophy is the backdrop at midfield, the logo for All-State Sugar Bowl. The ball rests at the 50-yard line. Stockton fires again to the slant. That's complete. Gain of 10 on the completion of Dominic Lovett. They'll say gain of 9. He's just short of the first down. They'll leave 2nd and 1. Consecutive completions for Gunnar Stockton.
And right now, these corners for Notre Dame are allowing these receivers to get inside to run to free grass, and they're just taking advantage of it.
And off Nate Frazier right side. He battles for a 4-yard gain. First down run. Jack Kaiser the stop for Notre Dame. First down, Georgia, and a scoreless first quarter. Etienne coming off the, Frazier coming off the field now, and Etienne replaces him in this Georgia backfield that is trading a freshman for a junior. Frazier did a great job in Etienne's absence, missed 3 games with a rib injury. Stockton is 4 for 4 through the air for 32 yards. Etienne offset to his left out of the shotgun. Stockton starts the motion, fakes the handoff, rolls right. Man in his face, delivers to Etienne for a gain of 1.5. 2nd and 9 now. Tackled by Jaden Harrison.
Really good job. Another time just going play action. So faking the run to the left, getting Gunnar Stockton rolling out of the pocket to his right. They were actually trying to hit a corner right route a little further downfield, not there. So great quick decision from Gunnar Stockton just to check it down to Etienne in the flats and get a positive gain.
Dylan Bell in the tent on the left side 20-yard line for Georgia, still getting looked at. Etienne is the running back. 2nd and 8. Here's Etienne off the run. No, Stockton kept it, couldn't spin his way free, and maybe got back to the line of scrimmage, and that will leave him 3rd and 8 or a long 7.
That zone read there, and Stockton got fooled. He's got the opportunity to hand it to the running back. He's reading the backside defensive end.
Lined up in the neutral zone. It's a 5-yard penalty, 2nd down.
Bailed out by the 3rd penalty against freshman Bryce Young. Remember the 2 interferences against the punter, and this time number 30 for Notre Dame, Bryce Young, was lined up offside.
Yeah, and it was just the defensive end actually that Gunnar Stockton was reading, and I mentioned he got fooled. That's how Notre Dame's going to play the zone read. They're going to crash the end, and they're going to wrap a linebacker. So Drake Bowen was sitting right there as Gunnar Stockton saw the end crash down and kept it himself.
Georgia in scoring territory, 2nd and 3 from the Notre Dame 29-yard line. Stockton hands off to Frazier straight ahead, and Frazier able to pick up a couple of yards. That will leave 3rd and 1. Cole, what do you like behind this O-line on 3rd and 1?
I like that running back that's in right now, but Etienne, if you're going to try to go off tackle, I think that's where you need him. You're going to give him the football. But the zone read game that Jordan's been talking about is where I believe Georgia needs to make their mark. You have to force that defense to be wrong, and they're playing you a pretty aggressive way, trying to trick you a little bit. Those linebackers cheating up, running some stunts. See if you can catch them off guard.
Georgia brings Oscar Delpin at tight end, trying to get a little bit bigger with Frazier in the backfield. 3rd and 1, multiple flags and movement up front. Big 12 crew conversing at the 35-yard line. We have no score, 4:52 to go in the first quarter between Notre Dame and Georgia.
Number 69, offense, 5-yard penalty, 3rd down.
Hey, Cole, that's their veteran Tate Ratledge that moved.
And he's about 10-15% healthier than he was for the SEC championship game. Just gets a little bit of a quick start there. Jordan can attest to this. You have a new quarterback, new situations, the cadence, the verbiage. It can all just be a little bit different, and you're used to it being exactly the same with Carson Beck. So That has to be something that's fluid for this Georgia offense throughout this game.
So from 3rd and 1 to 3rd and 6, this will change a lot from a play calling perspective. Etienne off of the right hip of Gunnar Stockton, third-year sophomore from the North Georgia Mountains, making his first career start. That's out of Holler, doesn't get the snap yet. Fake to Clapp, and now claps and takes a snap. Handoff Etienne running left side. There was a gash, and he took it nearly to the 25-yard line, and the spot will be just good enough for a Georgia first down. Another stop by Jack Kaiser. 1st and 10, Georgia, the Notre Dame 26.
Yeah, this time running to the left. Nothing fancy there. Just big bodies, bigger bodies, as we spoke about earlier. This Notre Dame defensive front a little bit lighter. And Georgia runs behind Ernest Green on the left side, 320 pounds. Sorry, Monroe Freeling over there, actually, 315. Dylan Fairchild, 315.
Caught him in the stunt right there, too. And Al Golden told me before the game he's going to have to move up front defensively a lot in this game.
Stockton hands it off again, left side, and a huge hit right at the point of contact at the line of scrimmage. Turns into a 1-yard gain. And we'll leave 2nd and 9 for the Dogs. Gabriel Rubio with the stop for Notre Dame. No score, 3:44 and counting here in New Orleans.
Jalen Bell just came out of the tent, guys. Looked like he had one ankle retaped, but did not seem to be favoring one over the other.
Owns one catch today, one grab for 12 yards. Frazier back in a run back. Al Golden is the defensive coordinator for Notre Dame. An elite defense, but 40th against the rush. That is their lowest ranking. Stockton fakes a handoff, fires on the run far side. Catch made, Dominic Lovett. He runs into the stick as he gets thrown out of bounds, and Georgia will have 3rd and less than 1. 8-yard gain on the completion to Dominic Lovett.
And I love the design by Mike Bobo. Motion Dominic Lovett from the left side all the way across to the right side. Jordan Clark, the nickel, followed him. But the motion left him with a lot of space and a great accurate throw on the run by Stockton.
Dylan Bell returns. Gunnar Stockton has started this game 6 for 6 for 41 yards. No score between Georgia and Notre Dame. 2:52 and counting first quarter. Dogs with the ball on the Notre Dame 16-yard line. Etienne is the lone back. Stockton under center. Right hash, takes it, hands off Etienne. Hit, immediately ball comes out. Nothing but gold helmets, and Notre Dame with the takeaway. They fall on the loose ball inside the 10. Jaden Osbury, who grew up just an hour away in Baton Rouge, comes up with the biggest play of the afternoon for Notre Dame so far. Osbury with the fumble recovery. It was drilled, a helmet on the ball by Schuler to force it out of Etienne.
And with it being 3rd and short, everybody stacked on the line of scrimmage. Schuler actually blitzed off the right side, and nobody there to block him as he came from a little deeper, so wasn't accounted for in the initial run count for that Georgia offensive line. And his helmet right on the ball, as you mentioned, Tom.
Wow, what a turn of events. Georgia was threatening to drive on threatening to score on a 14-play drive. No score, 2:37 to go first quarter. Notre Dame and Georgia still scoreless in the college football playoff quarterfinal at the All-State Sugar Bowl on ESPN Radio and the ESPN app.
This college football moment is brought to you by ServPro.
College football teams have moments they recover from and made it like it never even happened. Like when Ohio State came back from a 21-6 deficit against #1 ranked Alabama in the 2015 Sugar Bowl. Down 15 points, the Buckeyes outscored the top-rated Crimson Tide 36-14 to secure the 42-35 victory in the college football playoff semifinal.
ServPro, like it never even happened.
Individuals and businesses with tax problems, listen carefully. Do you feel like you're losing control of your finances? If you owe over $10,000 in back taxes or have unfiled tax returns, we can help you take back control. The IRS is the largest and most aggressive collection agency in the world, and they can seize your bank accounts, garnish your paycheck, close your business, and file criminal charges. Take control of your tax problem now by calling the experts at U.S. Tax Shield and take advantage of the Fresh Start program and new laws that that may allow us to negotiate a settlement for the lowest amount possible. Our team of tax attorneys and enrolled agents can stop collections and get you protected so you can take control of your financial future. U.S. Tax Shield offers a price protection guaranteed quote to get you protected today. U.S. Tax Shield is A+ rated with the Better Business Bureau, so call now. 800-687-5192. That's 800-687-5192. U.S. Tax Shield. 800-687-5192.
This is the college football quarterfinal at the All-State Sugar Bowl on ESPN Radio and the ESPN app.
An empty 14-play drive for Georgia. Notre Dame with the ball in a scoreless Sugar Bowl at the 10-yard line. Tom Hart, Jordan Rodgers, Cole Kublik. Second possession for Riley Leonard and Notre Dame. They went 3 and out on their first. Pat Coogan is his center. Has a chat with him before going back. And a word with Jeremiah Love, the running back. Out of the pistol formation, Leonard takes a snap at the 5, hands off to Love, full head of steam, and lowers his head going into the big pile and picks up 2.5 yards on first down. Jeremiah Love, sophomore from St. Louis, can be a game breaker.
Yeah, he had the 98-yard touchdown run against Indiana in that first-round playoff game that really sparked this offense. They need some explosive plays from him because outside of that run, they actually really struggled to get the ground game going against Indiana, averaging just 2.8 yards per rush after that. So they thrive on having 1 or 2 explosive plays to get things going on the ground.
Mike Denbrock is a Notre Dame offensive coordinator, first year of his 3rd stint in South Bend. He was at LSU with Jane Daniels winning the Heisman last year. Out of the shotgun, Love in the backfield. Riley Leonard, the Notre Dame quarterback, takes a high snap, fires a quick strike slant that is complete to Jordan Faison. And Faison, the lacrosse star, takes it past the 25, 27-yard line, and a 14-yard gain for Notre Dame.
Yeah, Faison was just that slot receiver working on Daniel Harris, and he just got a quicker step to the inside, little slant route. Riley Leonard did a great job putting the ball right between the numbers for the catch and run.
Faison had 7 catches for 89 yards in the opening round win at home against Indiana. 1st and 10, the Notre Dame 27-yard line. No score, Irish and Bulldogs. Evans, the tight end, motions to the near side. Turn, a handoff to Jeremiah Love, off left tackle, takes it to the 30. Gain of 3 will leave 2nd and 7 for Notre Dame.
And you're really starting to see the game plan for this Georgia defense. They're playing man coverage on these receivers on the outside. They have 2 safeties that are playing a little bit lower, right around 10 yards or so, playing heavy on the run, trying to stack the box and force Riley Leonard to pass.
One of those safeties, Dan Jackson, great against the run, a veteran. Movement all over the place. Looked like the right side of the Notre Dame line. Rocco Spindler, the right guard, has been battling an injury, a right ankle.
False start, number 59. Offense, 5-yard penalty, 2nd down.
It's his teammate, Emil Wagner, 3rd-year sophomore out of Yellow Springs, Ohio, who got flagged for movement. Cole, what do you got on Notre Dame's O-line? We'll get back to Cole in a moment. 2nd and 12 for Notre Dame. Notre Dame 25-yard line. Love next to Leonard. Movement up front on the Georgia defensive line. And a fake handoff. Draw and the throw out to the tight end Mitchell Evans, who gets taken down immediately. Maybe picked up a yard. And that will leave 3rd and short for Notre Dame.
Yeah, Warren Brinson came through the left side of that Notre Dame offensive line and almost got to Riley Leonard as he was doing the play fake. They were trying to get something going downfield a little bit further off the play action, but Brinson disrupted the timing and forced it out of his hands early.
3rd and 11. Anais Williams, a freshman from Hannibal, Missouri, is the running back. And there is a timeout on the field.
That's the end of the first quarter.
That's the end of the
timeout
quarter.
on the field.
Sound and fury signifying nothing. All of that, we've got no score through 1 quarter of play between Notre Dame and Georgia. This is the college football playoff quarterfinal at the All-State Sugar Bowl on ESPN Radio and the ESPN app.
You're listening to the college football playoff quarterfinal at the All-State Sugar Bowl on ESPN Radio and the ESPN app.
Hear that? The sound of water being poured on 800-degree rocks. If you were here in this sauna, you'd be so hot you wouldn't have the energy to move. But you're not here. Because Because your self-care happens out on the road, riding your motorcycle protected by Progressive. Besides, after a long ride, a helmet sweat is way more satisfying. So if you ride, switch to Progressive, America's #1 motorcycle insurer, without even breaking a sweat. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates, not available in all states.
Are you ready to make a difference for the environment while helping the visually impaired at the same time? Then donate your vehicle to Heritage for the Blind today by calling 1-800-983-6530. Every donated vehicle will either be properly recycled in an eco-friendly manner or given a new life through reuse. Donating your vehicle is easy. Simply call 1-800-983-6530 and Heritage for the Blind will do the rest. They'll even arrange for your vehicle to be picked up at no cost to you. And for a limited time, when you donate your car, you'll receive a $200 restaurant voucher and a 2-night, 3-day hotel stay at one of 50 locations. Call 1-800-983-6530 right now to schedule your vehicle donation and make a positive impact on the environment while helping others. Heritage for the Blind, where every car donation counts and every person makes a difference. Call 1-800-983-6530 now. This advertisement is paid for by Heritage for the Blind.
Come on, Mufasa. Let's get in some trouble.
This holiday season, destiny awaits you. You can grab your friends and experience Mufasa the Lion King in 3D.
Everything the light touches belongs to me.
You'll have to take it. Don't miss the perfect family Christmas movie.
Now went swimmingly, if I say so myself.
Disney's Mufasa the Lion King.
Oh, yeah. That looks good.
Now playing only in theaters. Rated PG. Parental guidance suggested. Tickets on sale now.
You're listening to the College Football Playoff Quarterfinal at the All-State Sugar Bowl on ESPN Radio and the ESPN app.
Tom Hart, Jordan Rodgers, Coach Gilbert, no score after one quarter of the All-State Sugar Bowl. Both offenses stuck in the mud. Notre Dame has run 7 plays. They found 17 yards and 38 penalty yards. Meanwhile, Georgia dominating time of possession, but they had a 17-play drive. They came up empty. Pardon me, a 14-play drive after they turned it over in Notre Dame territory. Aeneas Williams is the running back for Riley Leonard. Notre Dame ball on the far right hash at the Notre Dame 26-yard line. 3rd down and 11 for Captain Riley Leonard. Brings a wide receiver in motion on the near side. Takes the shotgun snap. Straight drop. Flush to his left. Throws off balance across the middle. Caught at the 30. They're well short of the first down. A pickup of 4 to Jaden Harrison. Malachi Starks to stop for Georgia. And now Notre Dame will punt it away with James Rendell.
And once again, just disrupting the timing of that pass play. Damon Wilson came rushing off the left side, working on left tackle, true freshman Anthony Knapp. And beat him on the inside, which forced Riley Leonard to escape to his left. Just nothing going in this defensive front for Georgia, playing really well right now.
James Rendell went to high school at Royal Melbourne Institute of Technology. Got that one away, and it's a low knuckler. Takes a Notre Dame hop, and then finally checks up at the 22-yard line. And no return for Georgia. 14-14 left in the second quarter. Notre Dame nothing, Georgia nothing. Kind of felt like this would be a low-scoring game, and that's where we stand. Early second quarter in New Orleans. No score between Georgia and Notre Dame. You're listening to the College Football Playoff Quarterfinal at the All-State Sugar Bowl on ESPN Radio and the ESPN app.
This is Seattle Sports.
We at Three Tree Roofing understand that your home is your castle. That's why our certified technicians use state-of-the-art installation methods to deliver the highest warranties available. Check out our hundreds of online reviews and schedule a free estimate to see for yourself. Three Tree Roofing, your Puget Sound roofing experts.
Emerald Queen Casino, the entertainment capital of the Northwest. The best place to watch all your favorite sports. Featuring wall-to-wall viewing screens, 6 windows, and 30 kiosks. Be there at emeraldqueen.com. Emerald Queen Casino, the entertainment capital of the Northwest.
Where can you kick off the new year with big savings on gig speed? Only with Xfinity, now through January 16th. Get gig internet at home for $25 a month for 1 year when you add an unlimited mobile line, which connects you to gig speed Wi-Fi on the road. Act fast today and save more than $6 $650 over AT&T and Verizon in your first year. Plus, hurry and take advantage because right now you can also get a free 5G phone with trade-in. So save big and stay connected to what you love with fast gig speed internet and mobile. From home to hotspots, this new year, it's all about gig speeds and big savings. Don't wait and get gig speed internet. Spend less green and switch to Xfinity. Go to Xfinity.com/gig savings to learn more. Requires paperless billing and autopay with stored bank account. Restrictions apply. Equipment, taxes, and fees extra. $40 internet discount applied to mobile bill. After promo, regular rates apply. Actual speeds vary. Savings compared to Verizon Fiber Gig Plus 1 Unlimited Welcome Line and AT&T Fiber Gig Plus 1 Unlimited Starter Line. Xfinity internet required. Reduced speeds after 30 gigabits of usage per line. Data thresholds and actual savings vary.
This is the college football quarterfinal at the All-State Sugar Bowl on ESPN Radio and the ESPN app.
With Cole Kublik and Jordan Rodgers, I'm Tom Hart. A sloppy start to this game. Georgia has turned the ball over one time. Notre Dame has already been flagged for 6 penalties. What do you make of this slow start for both teams?
Well, you think about the time off that Georgia had, and traditionally so far in this college football playoff, teams that had the extra time off have been outscored in the first quarter 42-3. So starting fast has been an issue for these teams like Georgia that hasn't played since the SEC championship on December 7th. I like how they've moved the ball. I like the shots they've taken to the perimeter when they get man coverage. They just got to get Gunnar Stockton going a little bit more with his legs. I want to see them spread it out. I want to see them more designed runs, because the more they condense, the more they invite this Notre Dame defense into the box. That's been a win for Notre Dame defense. They've been disruptive up front so far.
Stockton has started this game 6 for 6 passing. Longest completion streak of his career is 8 straight. That came in mop-up duty in a blowout against Tennessee Tech earlier this season. 1st and 10 from the Georgia 22-yard line. And quarterback Gunnar Stockton. Jared Wilson is his center. Trevor Etienne is the running back. Play action, fake the handoff, looking to go deep down the near sideline. It is caught over the shoulder by Adrian Smith. Sprints down the sideline, finally taken down at the 11-yard line. Xavier Watts finally brought him down. It's a pickup of 67 yards.
Yeah, and that's their go-to guy downfield, Arian Smith. 6 foot 185. He's the fastest guy on the field, number 11, just beating Christian Gray in man coverage, and a perfect throw from Gunnar Stockton. Put a lot of air under it, and it ended up right over the shoulder of Arian Smith for the big game.
The crew has gotten together, have a discussion at the 11-yard line, and we'll see exactly where the spot is going to be.
Play is over. Sideline interference on the Georgia bench. That 15-yard penalty will be enforced. From the end of the play, it's 1st down Georgia.
Usually there's a sideline warning, but it was sideline interference, so somebody must have made contact with the official on that near side, and it cost Georgia 15 yards.
Yeah, a lot of times if a ref is running downfield and runs square into a coach, it's actually a player.
Yeah, it's a player that's not even in uniform, a jersey only, not in pads. In fact, number 39 not on the active Georgia roster. That is a major mistake for Georgia. Takes them all the way out to the 26-yard line instead of the 11.